Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and it's now episode 187. In this episode, we're going to recap Game 4 of the Finals, if Lakers fans should be excited about Darvin Ham, Hornets signing Kenny Atkinson, and potential landing spots for Donovan Mitchell and Deandre Ayton. A quick YouTube member and Patreon shout out to Phantom Wolf, Danko Hawkins, Matthew Jimenez, Tua is amazing, love you Drew, UK, J Love clears Zach W, Cole Larson, Darius Garland's next, Alexander, Nazir, Dwayne, Rivers a gorgeous man, Travis, Drew's the GOAT, Holmes, Nairi, your boy Nick, Jake the Snake, Corrupt, Kobe, Dylan, Afosa, Mason, Win in Silence and Make Them Think You're Losing, Gentile, Drew, Cade MVP, Mark, SP4Z Shot, Jordan Watt, Evan, Dylan, Joel is the GOAT, Mayo, Andre, Peter, Daniel, Ben, Ruthless Rootster, Kill Moves, Joel B, Eagle Dollar, Tizzy, Corey, Get Funkoed, Dylan, Playboy, Orlando, Big Chuck, Michael, Cole, Liam, T Grove 17, Tua Sucks on Ka, Ryan, Epic Linkiness, It's Black Ace, Anthony, BJ, PJs, Langston, Jazzy Juice, Johannes, Dave, Muffins, John, Sean, Burner Hoops, Court Cousins, P. Dot, Hakari, and Jay Aqua.
Good old Jay Aqua, man.
And
shout out to the Academy.
And saving the last shout out, JC making his return.
Yes,
episode 187. JC, it's good to have you back, man.
Thanks for having me back, yo. It's been a really rough 2 months, man. But as I've been gone, I've been keeping up with the podcast. The show's been lit. The debates have been hilarious. I see a couple people in the comment section showing love, want to be back. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for all the shout outs. And I'm going to be back on the podcast talking that big Brooklyn Nets talk. We going for the chip next year. We going all the way, man. But nah, seriously, thank you guys for having me back. Thanks for everybody asking about me, keeping me in their wishes. And I'm happy to be back, man.
Man, let's get right into the show because this is
Shout
going
out
to
to
be a
my
jam-packed show.
shout out to my academy.
Can you stop?
What
with
is
this,
that?
Bro? It's an
Oh,
Riv Academy, bro. You ain't heard
Riv
about that?
Academy?
So
I have not
Academy.
heard
in the Discord, they've set up academies, and it's my academy and Epic's academy. I've recruited all the young bulls in the Discord under my academy to follow suit and take over the sports world.
Name a couple of guys in the Riv Academy.
Dylan, Rico, of course, Serge, my young protege, I just recruited Nick, what I'm saying?
Tough.
I got a few other guys,
Your
Sakari.
boy Nick.
Yes.
Okay.
Big O, my boy Big O, I got a few guys in there.
All
I'm
right.
missing a few, J Kings. I got like 9 guys on my squad.
Off the top of your head, you know who's in Epics or you don't?
Epics,
keep
he got all the heavy hitters. He
Novel
got
is
Novel in there. He got Amari
So
in
why'd
there.
they all pick his side?
Because Dylan ruined everything.
No.
And he destroyed Celtics fans. So MKP, RJ, they all went to Epic. And I took all the young guys, and all the old guys hate the young guys. So they said they're not joining my academy because they hate the young guys. And they keep telling me to cut the young guys, but I'm not cutting the young guys.
That's real.
I don't give up on young talent.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it.
Okay.
You're in a rebuild right now.
Yeah, I clear all of them, though. So
So you're saying you're LeBron in 2018?
we're like, I'd say we're kind of like, I don't even
He's
know.
Will Chamberlain.
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm Will. Because Big O, your boy Nick, Corrupt.
You're Curry last year.
No, that's bad. God
That's
damn.
exactly my.
Nah, team ain't that bad. We're like
Okay.
Warriors this year,
I was just saying the young Bucks. It was a young
Yeah,
team
young
last
team,
season.
we got the young fighters right now.
Yeah, fact.
So,
And that's great. That's great promo for the Discord. So now you guys know
That's
that
a
you can
fact.
join Riv's Academy if you
Yeah,
join
I'm gonna
our Discord
make a
via
shirt
Patreon.
called Rivers Academy. I'm gonna
Very tough.
I'm gonna make that.
That's
have that
cool.
for the guys and whatnot.
That's what's up. I
That
like
is
that a
lit.
lot.
Hell yeah.
I like that a lot. Let's get on to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. The Warriors won 107-97. A lot of people last episode said it's not the same when Riv is not here talking about the Warriors. So you're gonna have the floor first. You're gonna have the panel first and give your thoughts. What did you see? Joel and Drew asked me a question last pod if I was worried if the Warriors are gonna lose this series. Do you have any worry, concern as of right now?
I have no worry. There has never been a worry in my mind. I always thought going down 2-1, I was just like, we got to split in Boston. I thought losing game 1 was huge because we could have been potentially up 2-0 going back to TD, but always thought if we can get one in TD, the series is back in our favor. And it took, a Steph Curry masterclass, Clay in the fourth. It took Andrew Wiggins being the best rebounder on the floor for us to get that W. But that's what the Warriors have been doing all year, fighting adversity, guys stepping up big. But I'm not worried. 2-2, going back to chase. I feel comfortable. They haven't been able to stop Steph yet. And it's the thing that they're doing, and I finally figured it out. It took me some couple times, but they've completely taken Draymond out the series. They took an emotion offense out the series. They got the Warriors playing in a way they don't like to play, which is the offense that they can guard well. ISO offense. They're trying to make us just a straight. We're going to give Steph and Clay, the greatest shooters on planet Earth, we're going to give them these shots, and it's either hit them or miss. And Steph has been lights out. Clay, he's got to go into game 3. Last game, he was a little bit off, but
defensively, he was crazy.
In the fourth, somebody finally stopped Jaylen Brown. Thank God. Jesus Christ. Somebody finally stopped him. But I think Game 5, going into Game 5, we need a lot from Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Clay. We just need everybody to step up. Defensively, we still need to be amazing.
I love how Kevon Looney was the first name you listed right there.
Man, Kevon Looney's fucking dope, man.
He's pretty cool, but come on. I think Clay, Jordan Poole, Wiggins,
This is a nice little character development from you because you weren't high on Kevon Looney.
I hated him, but he used to be a waste of space.
He's been huge this playoffs.
He's finally
gotten better.
He's been incredible, and I'm now a Looney fan.
You're a
club
stan?
guy. Yeah, I'm
that's lit.
I'm a
I
Kevon
respect
Looney
that.
stan. I'm a Wiggins stan. I know that.
Knew
But
that.
they haven't been able to stop Steph. They won't stop Steph. The only thing that's going to stop Steph is Steph. Jayson Tatum has been shit. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins. He's guarded him well. Jaylen Brown has been putting on the show. But I think Game 5, we're going to steal it, and we're going to get that W.
All right.
I'm very comfortable, and I
Okay.
am not at all. I tried to dog on Joel last episode because I wasn't here.
I didn't dog
but,
him.
Now I'm back. So now, what I'm saying? The Warriors guys, we're back because he's a Warriors guy right now. I'm going to pay my boy some homage. You didn't flip yet, right?
No.
All
He said was that
Okay.
slightly worried. That's all he said.
Word.
Nothing
No,
crazy.
I said worried that it's gonna go to 7.
Oh, but we're still here.
Yeah, it's still. I said worried that it's gonna
Yeah.
go to 7 games.
I don't know if that's what you said. You might have said that also, but I feel like there's a little concern. But you were.
Are
still,
you concerned?
No,
I'm Warriors
no.
in 6 for me.
I said Celtics in 7. Right, and regardless of that fact, I feel pretty okay with how the series has gone. The fact you were able to split and chase if you're Boston, that's huge. You take Game 1, which is a complete ripping of the heart, especially when they were
Ripping
down
of the
15.
heart?
They were down 15 and won by double digits. You split and chase. You weren't expecting to go 2-0. You take 1, that's fine. You win the first game at home, so there's no pressure on you. Game 4, you lose Game 4 in disappointing fashion because Steph Curry was absolutely all world. This was Steph Curry's greatest game in the finals to this date. I saw you tweet something about how people are trying to say that was his first signature moment in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, very bad take.
And that's not true because in 2015 the series was tied 2-2. Steph Curry put up 37 points to put
14
them up.
in the fourth.
Yeah, he was insane. But it's not his first moment. That's pretty disrespectful. But in my opinion, this was Steph Curry at his absolute best. 43 points, 10 rebounds, 14 of 26 from the field, 7 for 14 from 3. He was unbelievable. Now, some crazy stats. Joins Jerry West and Magic Johnson as the only point guards to record 40 and 10 in a finals game. At the age of 34 years old, 88 days, he is the second oldest player in NBA history to record a 40 and 10 game behind LeBron, who was 35. He was absolutely sensational. And a lot of credit to Klay Thompson down the stretch where he has been struggling to hit his shot. Defensively, he stepped up tremendously. JB was cooking basically the entire game. Down the stretch of the fourth quarter, Klay picked up. We saw JB struggle for I wouldn't say the first time because Game 2, Draymond had him in hell, but since then, JB has just been consistently dominant until that fourth quarter of Game 4. And another thing that I saw that I did not like was Jayson Tatum's lack of aggression in that fourth. Basically, the entire second half, he needed to assert himself more. Significantly more in that Game 4, and maybe the outcome's a little bit different. I saw them try and make the big shot instead of taking the smart shot, forcing a way to the line. They were trying to tie the game with threes, and it seemed as if every single possession they were coming up short. It looked like 6 threes in a row that they missed. They were just trying to tie the game, trying to have a three-point battle with the best three-point shooting team in the NBA. It's not going to win you ball games. They need to be smarter. They were turning the ball over way too much. Anytime they turn the ball over more than 15 times, they have lost. It's not a surprise, especially when you're playing a team like the Warriors that can just have any lead taken from you. Next game, the reason why I'm not worried is because they have shown where they have their moments of struggling, they bounce back. Next game is simple. You have to be smarter with the ball in your possession, and you need to be more aggressive. Tatum needs to be more aggressive. It gets to the point when you need the ball in your best player's hands, and Tatum needs to assert himself as such.
You mean Jaylen Brown?
Listen, I understand exactly what you're saying. Jaylen Brown has been the best player for sure, but Jayson Tatum needs to be the best player if they want to win an NBA Finals.
Is he like the only elite wing without a consistent mid-range jump shot?
Would you say it's not? I feel like a lot of his misses come from attacking the basket and missing.
Maybe.
I heard he's dealing with a shoulder injury.
He is dealing with a shoulder injury.
That's from what I.
And his 3-point shooting has been,
which is very
stellar.
weird. It's been like he's like 44% from the
He's
three-point
been
line, like
crazy
34
from
from the field. It's weird. I don't know.
Because he's attacking the basket and he's just missing. Really. Yeah, but really, I'm not. If I'm a Celtics fan,
look at the greats.
I should not be worried.
Kevin Durant. Don't see him doing that. LeBron, Kawhi, you know.
Don't see him in the finals either.
Tatum also isn't that. Like, he's not that.
Not what?
He's not LeBron. He's not KD. He's not Steph.
He's not
Kawhi right now for sure.
Okay. I just wanted to hear that.
We're talking peak Kawhi in Toronto.
I just wanted to hear that.
He's not that.
Yeah, I'm glad you admitted that.
It's his first finals, and he's averaging what, 23?
This is also Jaylen Brown's first finals.
Jaylen Brown is a beast.
Dog.
For sure, they're both very good at basketball.
I don't think Jaylen Brown's facing the same defensive pressure that Jayson Tatum gets from the Warriors.
No way.
In my opinion.
Draymond versus Wiggins, I think it's around the same.
No, because you said Andrew Wiggins is Jayson Tatum's primary defender.
And
but
Draymond
from what I see from the Warriors, they like to
player.
run a lot of traps on Jayson Tatum. I mean, game one, he had 13 assists. He had to give up the ball. He only had 12
Game one,
points.
they decided we're going to
I'm just saying
he's right,
the Warriors
100%.
they're more geared to try to stop Jayson Tatum, and he's their best player. I feel like Jaylen Brown's getting the luxury of one-on-one matchups more so than Jayson Tatum.
Green though, like I would understand you if it was one-on-one.
And it looks like he's
Klay
been
Thompson.
killing Draymond, but Draymond's actually defending him really well. So that was kind of a weird thing that I saw today. But takeaway, my fault. My takeaway from the game was obviously Steph Curry had a masterclass performance. He had 43 points. I wanted Boston. I was rooting for Boston hard. But, Steph Curry was hitting all these deep threes, and he was just – it seemed like every time Boston was going to make a run to cut the lead or go back into the game, Steph Curry hit him with a three. Those last 2 threes when they were up by 3, then hit another one to put them up by 6, that's when they closed the deal. But, in the fourth quarter, I agree. Klay Thompson, I was watching it personally, but I knew that there was going to be a highlight film highlighted around his defense on Jaylen Brown, and he looked like prime Klay on the defensive side of the ball. He got 3 big stops on Jaylen Brown, 2 on top of the key, stopped penetration, stopped them, and then the last one when he forced the turnover on the sidelines on Jaylen Brown. So I kind of agree with Drew. I feel like Jayson Tatum has to take over. I know he's dealing with a shoulder injury, but Jayson Tatum, for this team to win a championship, you have to be that guy. And I know the defensive coverage and pressure that he's getting from the Warriors is, they're playing great defense on him. But like we all say, every superstar has great defense presented to them, and it's never going to be easy. You just have to find a way to get your shot up. You have to find your way to be impactful. Game 1, Jayson Tatum had 12 points, but he had 13 big assists. I feel like outside of Game 1, Jayson Tatum hasn't really been passing the ball as much as he was before. And obviously, I agree with River as well. The mid-range jumper is not really there. Jaylen Brown's been having to carry, but I feel like the same problems elude the Warriors as well. Steph Curry, he's been amazing. He's been the best player all 4 of the games in these NBA Finals. He's been the leading scorer. He's the leading scorer in the Finals right now. But I feel like the same problems present with the Warriors. Klay Thompson has to be better. He was 7 for 17, 41%, 4 for 10 from the 3. Not ideal numbers. Jordan Poole gave you 14 inefficiently. We need more scoring output from these other guys for the Warriors as well. So I think the next game is what? Game 5. Game 5 is going to go back to Chase. I don't think the Warriors drop that game. I think they go up 3-2. And I think there's a possibility, to be honest with you, that the Celtics season is over at TD Garden, in my opinion. But, like I said, this next game is going to really decide whether it goes 6 or 7, because I do think if the Celtics do win, this series is definitely going to 7. But I think if the Warriors win, I think that they've been there enough times to close this series out in TD Garden.
Celtics, whenever they've lost, they've bounced back. But the same thing goes for Golden State. I think they defended a lot of the Celtics' actions well, specifically flare screens. They were very good at communicating that and stopping wide open threes, which they were giving a bunch of in Game 3 and Game 1, a bunch of wide open threes. Something about the Boston Celtics is that the last 12 seconds of the shot clock, the Celtics shoot 54% in wins and they shoot 35.7% in losses, which means that in games where they're struggling offensively, it's because their shot profile is inconsistent. And that's what I've been saying about the Celtics, is that they're an inconsistent offense because the shot diet is not always, they're not always taking the best shots. And that was the case last game. And they're also not a very good clutch team. They finished as the second worst clutch team in the NBA last season. This past season, they had a 5-point lead with 7.5 minutes left to go. They scored twice on the final 12 possessions and scoreless on all possessions that were counted as clutch possessions. So the Celtics were not able to generate any offense. We saw Klay Thompson step up defensively. I thought, he hit a big-time shot late, the big-time three that put him up also. And I really think this is a credit to Steve Kerr and his adjustments in taking Draymond Green out the game, because he's not being aggressive. He's not passing the ball because nobody's guarding him. Celtics defenders are closing out on him with the intention that he's already looking to make that extra pass. So they're already helping off of him as soon as he gets the ball. Taking him out and then putting in Kayvon Looney and having that lineup with Steph, Poole, Klay, and Wiggins, I think opened up the floor a lot, and it also offered some rim protection so Tatum and Brown didn't feel like they could just easily get to the rim and finish off of Looney. There was a bit of a risk there when he did put Draymond back in the game, but him and Kayvon Looney worked pretty well. I think Ime is going to make this next adjustment in Game 5. I think they're going to start trapping Steph Curry. They're not going to let him play one-on-one. They're not going to let him go ISO. This entire series, that's what they've been doing so far, and it's tied 2-2. So that tells me that if Ime makes that adjustment and they start trapping Steph and other guys can't capitalize, that can be the adjustment that potentially changes around this series and makes the Celtics the winner in this series. Curry is averaging 1.57 points per jumper right now. KD in the first round was at 0.83. Boston has held players to 0.97 on average. So right now, Steph Curry statistically is generating offense at an elite level, and this is one of the best defenses that we've seen in quite some time in the Boston Celtics. I don't feel like, one of the adjustments they can make is just stop playing as much drop coverage
100%.
and just going over the screens and blitzing Curry. Yeah. And that can be the adjustment that hopefully, changes around this series, but it is on other guys to step up. Wiggins, I think, did a great job as a rebounder and defending. He was consistent offensively. Klay, we're getting closer to that Game 6 where we know he's gonna have a 30-point explosion in that game. Draymond Green has to be more aggressive offensively, and defensively, I think he's okay right now. He's been playing okay, but it's just he's 6'5". He has a big wingspan, but I don't feel like anybody on the Celtics, whether that be Marcus Smart, Jayson Tatum, or Jaylen Brown, are not looking to attack the rim because Draymond is there. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're looking to attack him, especially given Draymond's tendency to irk other players. They definitely have that added chip that they want to attack him. And I feel like that's why it really comes down to Draymond's offensive consistency and aggression. And it also comes down to how the Warriors are going to handle these traps for Steph and how all these other guys are going to play off that. I don't think we're going to see the same type of Steph explosions these next couple of games.
But I say I definitely just to piggyback off what Joel said real quick. No, I don't know what that was. I definitely
tried to
agree.
get something out, but it's just like
I definitely agree with the trapping scheme on Steph Curry. I definitely agree with blitzing them. The Cavaliers in 2016, they don't have nearly the defensive identity that this Boston team does, but they showed you in that series blitzing Steph Curry, trapping them, picking up high off screens that played a major part in their defense and in their way of shutting them down. Not shutting them down, but he really struggled that series. A lot of people say it was due to injury, but I give credit to the Cavs defense. 2019, the same defensive scheme was ran. Obviously, Kevin Durant wasn't present. That too. Kevin Durant wasn't present in that series. When he was on the floor, couldn't really. You did blitz Steph Curry, but you had Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, elite snipers all over the floor. So it was a lose-lose situation. But like I said, I agree with you. You can't allow Steph Curry to just completely erupt on you because the series is 2-2. I get vibes of like when the Bucks were guarding Kevin Durant last year. They were literally guarding everybody else, and they're literally just letting Kevin Durant go to work. And it took him in overtime to do it in Game 7. I just think Steph Curry's too great of a player that you just really can't allow him to play one-on-one. You see his partners on the wing. Klay Thompson's not playing really well. Jordan Poole, they're all struggling. I think that's the smart defensive switch that you have to do. I think you have to blitz them and force everybody else who's been struggling this series to beat you. You just can't allow Steph Curry to beat you. He's too great.
The only time I've seen this type of defense is like when the Spurs had Tim Duncan and he physically just can't do anything else. And then when they played Enes Kanter in Portland. So it's like like I said, it's taking Draymond out the series. It's taking the motion offense out. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you start doing all the blitzing, the trapping. It's going to leave shooters open. But Klay, I've watched every Warrior. He's been like this. After Denver, Klay's due for one game, maybe two, and then he's like stinky for the rest. Jordan Poole, he's the one. Him and Wiggins have been consistent for the most part.
Wiggins has been good.
But like
Wiggins has been solid.
Yeah, Wiggins has honestly probably been the second best player in this series.
No, he's been the second best player
for the Warriors.
Undoubtedly,
for the Warriors.
He's been the second best player undoubtedly for the Warriors. But at the same time, like Wiggins, Poole, it's gonna be up to them. Wiggins, Poole, Looney. You can throw Klay in there, but I'm really like low on Klay because this has really been him for the past 3 series. Like, yo, we're gonna get one game, maybe
Game 6
two.
Klay coming up.
Yeah, Game 6 Klay is cool, but we gotta win. Game 5. Game 6 Klay can be cool if we win Game 6, but now Game 7, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, sure.
Play like shit. So now it's like, all right, this was a waste of time, So I think the other guys got to step up. But like you said, Kerr's adjustments. These two coaches are adjustment coaches. They make elite adjustments after a loss. So it's going to be interesting. It's been a pretty good chess match. It's going to be interesting to see what Ime does for Game 5. The Celtics won't win Game 5. I'm just going to let you know that very early. I would bet my life on it. That
you probably said the same shit at the Game 1.
I didn't say this. No, I said Game 2. We're not. There's no way in hell we're going to lose.
No, I agree.
But I really believe Game 4 was crazy. Game 5, we're going in thinking like, they're done.
Really?
We got them.
Steph Curry saved the season.
So if they try to take Steph Curry out of the game, which we haven't seen yet, you trust in Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson?
Whoa.
To carry the offense?
Keep going.
Oh,
Andrew
Wiggins, really?
Respect him.
Okay.
He's locked your boy
For
up.
sure. I've given me saying not saying his name was respect, actually, because he has actually been playing well. Jordan Poole and Klay have been inconsistent.
Well, I mean, Poole's been good the last 2 games.
He's been
okay.
Poole had 14
good?
last game, but it was like
He's okay.
I mean,
he had a nice little stretch in the
he gave them a spark.
He had a nice little stretch. Mm-hmm. Don't disrespect.
Bro, he's been mid.
Has he been mid in general? Yeah,
yes.
but the last 2 games he's been okay.
Gary Payton fake gave him a little spark too. He got 2 steals defensively.
I like him,
but you don't like Jordan Poole. You're a weird guy.
Nah, Jordan Poole just has a ridiculous amount of hype behind him. Like, if you're gonna have this hype, you better continue to perform.
So wait a minute. So your guys get this is their first finals, but
I didn't
Jordan
say
Poole
that.
doesn't get
Did
that
I
same
say that?
excuse.
Did I say that?
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I didn't say that.
No, but
because
you
did say it was
Tatum's
first
Tatum.
finals.
It's his first finals.
I said that maybe before the show. I didn't
you
say that
just-
on
no,
the
you
show.
said it on the show.
It's all good though.
Yeah,
But
you
Jayson
did.
Tatum, he faces way more defensive pressure
this
than.
whole
I know, we're
Hold
talking
on.
about
No,
a
it's
fourth
true though.
option.
No, it's a
Stop,
fact.
we're
That's
talking
a fact.
about
You
a
can't
fourth
deny
option.
that. You can't deny
I'm talking
that.
about a fourth option.
Wait, stop.
Nah,
This-
wait. You think
hold on.
Jordan Poole's the fourth option?
hold on.
definitely he's behind Draymond, Klay,
No,
Steph.
Klay, Steph,
he's
Wiggins, Poole.
He's not behind Wiggins. Never mind. That's not even.
You don't think he's
important.
behind Wiggins?
I don't even care.
I'm being all right. So I just
This
what I hit
whole
you with facts.
Tatum has faced this different defensive pressure.
No,
thing.
more.
This more defensive pressure thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. They're switching everything. He's seen Steph Curry in multiple one-on-one situations.
But
He's seen Jordan
but
Poole
did you notice
in
after he
multiple one-on-one
he
situations.
scored 2 buckets on Curry, they started sending the double? Did you notice that?
They don't listen when he gets the little ISO on the elbow. They don't send a double because 7 times out of 10 it's just him versus Wiggins. They've trusted Wiggins on him one-on-one.
Wiggins is a great defender.
This defensive pressure thing that you're talking about that he sees pressures on drives. Yes,
Of course, he loves to drive.
on a little guard. But when Green is on him, when Looney's on him, when Wiggins is on him, they don't send doubles or they let those 3 sit on the island with Tatum. So this whole defense, even when Jaylen Brown
I don't know about Looney.
attacks the
I
rack,
agree with
even
Green
when
and
Jaylen
Wiggins.
Brown attacks, they send help. It's whoever the little guards are guarding, they send help. So this whole he's seen this defensive no, bro.
So
that's
wait,
not
so
the case, bro.
so
He's just
so the
missing.
game. So the game he had 13 assists. The Warriors weren't guarding him and throwing everybody at him.
They were
No,
throwing.
game one,
they definitely
trying
were.
to take
That's what
Jayson
I'm
out of
saying.
the game.
When he was driving to the
so who's
basket,
had more
bro?
opportunities who's had more one-on-one opportunities this entire series? Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown? Who's had more opportunities for one-on-one?
The answer is Jaylen Brown.
It's Jaylen Brown,
I'll
bro.
probably say Jaylen Brown by
It
a
is.
little bit.
It's Jaylen Brown.
by a little bit.
Jaylen Brown.
Jayson Tatum only sees doubles or blitzes when he's a little guard is guarding, which you're supposed.
Of course.
Anybody
of course,
on
you
this
always
table,
thought-
you're good. But when he's seen Wiggins, even Looney,
Well, I would-
Bielitsa
no, but so-
guards him
also-
by
but-
himself,
but let's
and that's
be-
a fact.
but let's be-
Everybody's seen it.
Those
Bielitsa
two
guards
plays
him
he
by
guarded
himself.
well.
when
Like-
Those two plays, but he
guards
strapped
him.
Jaylen Brown too. Those
But
two
that's what I'm saying.
plays.
They don't send doubles when the bigs are. They don't send doubles.
when Curry
It's none of that.
switches onto JT, 9 times out of 10
When he
he's
goes to the
taking
right,
to
they
the
take
cup.
Nah,
to send a blitz.
but
Yeah,
Riv, you're not gonna send a double if it's Andrew Wiggins or Draymond Green guarding him, but everybody else you're sending a double for.
But that's
him.
what I'm saying with Jaylen Brown. It's not really more defense because Draymond Green's guarding Jaylen
So
Brown.
he
you're
starts
not
out the
gonna-
game guarding Jaylen Brown.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to send defensive pressure for Draymond Green. Same thing for Tatum. Wiggins is on him. You're not going to send a double team for that. You trust your best wing
No, we
defender.
get that, but when the
only when
Celtics
it's
call
go-
for the screen to get the guard on him, that's when you have to
but
send
that's
it.
when
That's
Jaylen
what
Brown,
we're trying to
Jaylen Brown
do.
does, the difference is Jaylen Brown doesn't call for a screen. He really doesn't do it.
He brushes it off.
But when he does call for it and he sees Poole or he sees Curry, then they send help. It's not nothing different. It's just they're two different games.
So
it's like
I mean,
the
I get
defensive
what you're
pressure-
saying. I just feel like Jayson
But
Tatum
we're
just
also
gets
talking
more
about a number
defensive
one
pressure,
option
bro.
as opposed to, again, like I was saying, the number 4 option. Just the looks they're seeing.
talking
are
about
No, we're not
completely-
comparing them. It's
No,
quiet.
that was my initial thing, which is what my
Poole is
point.
like the number
Because
3
he was
option,
like, bro, you're gonna be like this for Poole, but when I mentioned Jayson
No,
Tatum,
this is
it's
his
a
first
difference.
finals, bro. Pay my son some slack.
I am, but at the same time, like there's some hype behind you. You got to be consistent. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, Tatum
for.
has to be consistent.
I-
Too,
and-
because there is a
and
lot of
I
hype behind it, too.
emphasize that
I think
for
you
sure.
called him like a top 5 player if he wins the ring.
Yeah.
I think you did say some nonsense.
He
like
wins
that.
Finals MVP and the championship.
won't
Better
win
than
it.
Kawhi.
He's not
Joe.
on pace
he
to
won't
win
win
Finals
it.
MVP
He
right
won't
now.
win it. I just want to let you
I
know
mean,
that.
there's 3
Wait,
more
if they
games
win,
left.
he won't win it.
No, he won't win.
There's
So what if he
3
goes
more
crazy?
games.
Wait, so if Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP, where does he go? If Tatum wins the top 5, where are we putting him?
Nah,
Jaylen
JB,
Brown,
nah.
he should be top 25 as is.
Right?
He wins
I think
Finals
he's there right
MVP,
now.
Still top 25.
I've seen people say he's top 15.
Really?
Jesus.
That's strong. That's strong. I love Jaylen Brown. We know this.
Top 15
Top
is
15 is
crazy.
crazy.
He's not top 15 at all.
No. Top,
Not even close.
Like the only thing
he better than
the
SGA?
only thing you can argue is top 20. I probably
same
I
tier.
feel like that's
They
the
are in the
line that
same
you cross
tier.
it. Like if is he better than SGA or he's not? Because if he's not better than SGA, then he's nowhere near the 15.
The top 10 is locked. I don't even feel like I need to name
Nah, you
those
don't need to do
names.
that.
But the 11 through 15 are guys like
Really
Paul
good-
George,
yes.
Kyrie,
are guys like Kyrie,
Trey Young,
Trey Young,
Jimmy
Devin
Butler,
Booker,
those guys.
Jimmy Butler,
Jimmy Butler. I would say Jimmy Butler
He's
closer to
fringe
the
top
top
Well,
10.
he's like 10
Yeah,
twins.
yeah. Damian Lillard.
Healthy, healthy
so
Dame.
Jaylen Brown is
Anthony Davis.
Oh, I'm not gonna acknowledge that.
Oh, really? Anthony Davis
Nah,
is in top 20?
Anthony Davis is better than
he's
Jaylen
top
Brown,
20
bro.
player. That's cool.
He hasn't touched the basketball since April.
All right, so Anthony Davis or Jaylen Brown?
Why am I gonna
Anthony Davis or
Anthony
Jaylen
Davis,
Brown?
bro.
right now? I'm taking Jaylen Brown
Oh nah.
over AD. I'm
Really?
taking Jaylen Brown over AD.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But it's not.
So
a bad
wait,
take.
we all
It's
agree.
not a bad
Yo,
take.
we all
Not
agree.
a bad take.
Not a bad
Yo, Red,
take.
we all
you just
agree.
called him the best Robin in the league.
I love him, for sure.
Hey,
Wait,
he's a
did you
damn
say you
Robin.
said he's the best Robin?
Yes,
He
yes.
is a Robin.
AD's a Robin.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying essentially Jaylen Brown's better than
Nah, but it's different levels of being a
Nah, it
Robin.
ain't-
It's
that's
different
what
levels
what
of
do you
being
mean?
Robin.
It's the same Robin.
Nah, but AD, like,
Robin
he
is the
averages
tw- is the-
28. Like, come on.
We're not talking about the bubble.
He's amazing.
Nah, I get what you're saying. You think AD is more?
It's
I mean,
he's a-
he was not now, but he was before of a superstar echelon. Jaylen Brown's not there.
So
Before though,
is
not now.
Jaylen Brown better than Pascal Siakam?
Yes.
You think easily?
I think not easily, but I think he's better than him.
Pascal.
What about
I think
Beal?
they're in the same tier.
Beal. I've always said Jaylen Brown's better than Beal.
I don't know.
like
Like
Beal.
the two-way ability of Jaylen
Please don't
Brown
ask me
makes
about
me.
Brown.
I think
intrigued.
Jaylen Brown, if he wins Finals MVP, he's like 16 to 18 range. Maybe.
That's
Nah,
still
more
pushing it.
more
I
so
was
like
gonna
16,
I was gonna
20
say
range.
top 20 if he wins the Finals
So
MVP.
wait,
20
so
first.
so we
Because
all
we're
agree
forgetting about Brandon
SGA.
Ingram too.
We all
So
agree
Brandon
SGA
Ingram's
is
there
better
too.
than him, right? SGA is better than him.
I would lean Jaylen Brown.
SGA.
I think SGA,
Better.
if he's in
You know
as
what? You can't ask me. a
I love
question like
SGA.
that. Me too.
I like him a lot too.
It's
Nah,
just
like,
he hasn't,
let's try
he
to put the
hasn't
bias
accomplished
aside.
any
He play-
better.
No,
It's
it's,
true.
it's hard to
'Cause
compare because he plays on a shit ass team.
Yeah.
So it's like they're in the same tier. For
Anthony
me.
Edwards.
Same tier.
Wow.
Yeah, they're the same.
Before
tier.
I ask this question, I want to ask you, JC, if you can stand up and turn off the AC, just because
Yeah, it's loud.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
loud.
It is pretty loud. But I'm just gonna go off and say this. So we talked about Game 5 of the Finals and whether the adjustments that both teams need to make. So what are all your predictions? You're still sticking Warriors in 6. You're going with Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7.
JC, I have Warriors in 7.
This guy
now.
just said
like-
Warriors in 6 in his monologue.
No. I said I feel like if the Warriors win the next game, I think they win it in 6. If the Celtics win the next game,
So you're going to whoever
7.
wins this game.
Yeah, but I've been saying Celtics, so I'm gonna go Celtics in 7.
That's interesting.
Celtics
The team
in
that
7.
swept you. You're picking them to win.
They whooped our ass.
Yeah,
what could I
your boys are
say?
good.
You know, what
Do
could I
you
say?
He
think-
learned. He learned.
Yeah, we didn't learn.
Next year, it's gonna be different.
Do you think?
I feel like I've been saying that forever.
No, you have.
Do you think the Jayson Tatum superstar game is coming next game?
It's inevitable. Why are you laughing, bro? I would be
He's
fearing
due
that
for
if I
one,
was you.
Rib.
It's inevitable.
Remember the game 6 against Milwaukee?
I don't.
He's 46 points. He's
I
due for
don't.
one.
Well, he had game 4, game 5, and game 6.
He's due for one, bro.
don't.
Jason
He's due.
Tatum's not gonna
It's
throw a
inevitable.
dud for an entire series.
So you don't think he goes off for 30 in the next 2 games?
30 is probably substantial.
Jason
He's
Tatum
close
low
to
key could
30,
erupt for
2
50,
games.
bro. He has that ability.
Yeah,
I'm not
20
saying he's gonna do it. He
Yeah,
has the ability to erupt for 50 though. I've seen it, bro.
He has the ability to go for
50?
40.
You don't think got the you think he got the ability to go for 50? Yo, one
not
game.
this series.
Dude, I don't know. All right, bro. I was
bro,
saying
I'ma
the
keep it
same thing. I
100
was saying the same thing a lot. I've seen him go crazy.
Nobody's giving. He's not giving Wiggins 50 points. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Nah, but I
50
mean, he's
is
gonna get the
really-
switch. It's not a whole possession
Nah,
of
but
Wiggins
like
guarding him the
50
entire
is
game.
ridiculous.
No, listen. I didn't say he
is a
kept,
lot.
but I said
He can wait. Hold on.
he's
Wait, hold on.
capable of it though.
He's capable.
No. I'm
course.
done. I'm done with you acting
He has
like
the most
Wiggins
50
is
points.
this.
No, he's
Jayson
talking about him
Tatum
like he's
stopper.
Kawhi or something.
Bro,
Tatum
Jayson
can
has the most-
easily get the better of
Tatum
Wiggins.
has the most 50-point games in the last
Hold on,
2 years.
Hold on.
Let's stop acting like Wiggins.
So
is,
why
is-
hasn't he?
It just hasn't happened yet.
Why hasn't he?
It hasn't happened
If he
yet.
can-
Bro,
wait,
it's
no,
But
hold on.
for you to
But
act
Drew,
like it's
you know
set in
what's-
stone
He
is
had
ridiculous.
26 game
But
3.
you
Like,
know
we're
what's the
forgetting about
difference?
that.
You know what's the difference? You're respectful.
Yeah.
He said he can easily.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
trying to
know.
figure out
I
if he
know.
can
I
easily
know.
Wait,
do
wait,
it.
wait.
Why hasn't he
That's
done it?
Jason
Bro, he had
Tatum.
20. He had 26 game 3.
You said he's Jason Tatum.
That's Jason
Nah,
Tatum.
for real, it's really Jason
let's
Tatum.
listen,
not
I'm
act like-
wait.
I've seen Jason Tatum kill
No,
like
listen,
crazy
I'm
defenders.
not-
He was kicking. He was killing Jimmy.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was.
Who's a better defender, Wiggins or Jimmy?
Who
is
has
a better
more
defender?
responsibilities, Wiggins or Jimmy? Jimmy has more.
Jimmy.
He's not gonna. All that
understand,
energy on
I understand.
offense.
What
Wiggins
What about
has all the
wait?
energy
Hold up.
for
Who's a better
defense.
defender, Wiggins or PJ Tucker? It's PJ. You know it's PJ.
The answer's PJ.
Wait,
You know it's
is
PJ.
it though?
I don't think it's PJ.
I think Wiggins is
Why- I don't know why you laughed though.
because
Wiggins is super.
Like, it's not a-
literally
you're-
embarrassed.
even if you
PJ.
think it's
That's why I
Wiggins,
laughed.
even
I
if
laughed
you think
because of that.
even if you think it's Wiggins, it's a
But
close call.
you've
but
acknowledged
no.
that Wiggins has done a good defensive job on
Nah, he-
Luka Doncic. He's
No,
done
yeah,
a good job
he's
on
done-
Jason.
my
Tatum.
thing
These
is
are
this
big
If
names,
Luka
bro.
didn't give him 50, I don't think Tatum is going to give him 50. That's just how I look at it.
We're not. I'm not talking about
No,
50.
I'm not
He
saying.
said 50.
No, I said there's a
50 is an
possibility.
That's the one where I was
Yeah,
I'm
like,
it's
talking
not an
about
exaggeration,
Tatum.
but he could
Tatum
do
next
it.
game can go for
You said 30. I
36,
said-
He could
38.
go for 40.
He could.
I don't know if he can.
He could go for 40,
Dude,
bro.
it's Jason Tatum.
He's not
Like,
giving-
come
he's
on.
Bro,
I'm
he went into Milwaukee and scored
giving-
46 in a must-win game.
No, that was-
Milwaukee's
that was
not the
great.
Warriors,
No,
but
that's-
he's
that's-
done
that
it.
was
He's
That was his
capable.
capable.
signature game.
Hell yeah, it was, bro.
He cooked the Bucks. I ain't gonna lie. He volleyed.
Who was guarding him that game?
I
It was
agree with
Drew
you.
and Wesley.
Drew was
The
guarding
great
him.
defenders.
Drew also
Drew
had
and
to-
Wesley.
Drew also
That's
had
who
to
you
go
told-
on offense.
but that's who you
and
told
put in
me.
hella
Bro,
work.
but that's
He
who you
did.
you told
He
me.
did.
Slay.
Wiggins had- Wiggins, bro.
You
Happens.
told me Drew Holiday was going to put him in hell. You told me that.
Drew-
You
Whoa,
looked me
he
in
said
the
you
eyes
said
and told me that Drew Holiday was
but
going to
listen,
put
put him
Jason
in
Tatum in
hell.
hell?
But wait, y'all not. What y'all not
Never, bro. He
understanding
can't
is-
guard
what
Jason
y'all
Tatum,
not
bro.
Understanding is, look at all the amount of work these guys have to do
See,
on
this
offense.
guy's
Wiggins-
excuse.
No,
It's a good
fact.
excuse. It's a
fact.
good
Wiggins
excuse.
doesn't have to
It's
put
a good
It's hard to be a
offense.
two-way player, right?
It is hard to be a two-way.
yeah.
But
That's why
hasn't
not
even-
only the elites
But
do
can I
it.
ask you a question? Isn't Wiggins averaging the second most points for the Golden State Warriors right now?
Yeah, but he also.
So
most
you're
of his-
you're telling me right now
most
that
of his
Wiggins has to
backdoor
be
cuts and
the
open
Warriors'
shots. Fact.
second best offensive
Wiggins has
scorer
the
and his best
Wiggins
and
has
the best
highest
defender.
percentage of open shots on the Warriors.
And the best rebounder too, low
No,
key.
right. So he has to be the best rebounder. He needs to be the best defender, and he needs to be the Warriors' second
He
best.
has the
Warriors
highest
scorer.
percentage of open shots on the Warriors. You know what that means? Everything is wide open. So you know what it is? Easy for him.
So
he's wide open.
he actually makes his shots as opposed to Jordan Poole and Clay, who inconsistently make them.
I don't even know what you're saying.
My point being is,
Because
listen, I'm
Wiggins
giving
shoots
credit.
low-
I'm giving credit to
Wiggins doesn't
Wiggins
shoot
for
a
sure.
good percentage
Wiggins-
right now.
but
So
these-
what are you saying to me?
No one really, as outside of
But
Steph
he's
Curry.
the one guy that's wide open. You're not
I mean,
understanding.
the rest
that.
of
He's
these
the
guys
wide
are-
open guy.
Well,
pretty wide
is
open.
Jason Tatum next 2 games? Are you taking him 30+ points each game?
Each game,
I am.
I'm just saying. You
I
said
am.
it was easily going to happen. It hasn't happened.
No, I didn't
I'm
say
saying-
easily.
You did
I
say-
said it can
you
easily
did.
happen.
That's what you said. And I said
You
it-
said
and I-
easily.
and I asked you.
I'm gonna say-
why hasn't
I'm gonna
happened?
say
You
tw-
said easily happened.
30,
I said happened.
30's a lot for both games. I'm saying 25 plus lock both.
What's
Okay.
the efficiency? He was just like 8 for
not good.
25.
It's not
He's
good.
shooting 33% in the series.
Oh my
It's not good.
God.
Yo, Jason
stinky.
Tatum 40-point masterclass.
That's why I think
feel
is
it.
Jason
it's
Tatum is due
inevitable.
for a big time game.
Can you not agree that it's inevitable?
It's not inevitable.
That
It
he's
won't
gonna
happen.
Oh my
Wow.
God, 5, bro.
He won't get
And I'm just,
crazy.
I'm also saying that if Ime traps Steph, they force the ball out of his hands, and we get a Jayson Tatum masterclass.
Warriors in 6. I mean, excuse me, Celtics in 6. No cap. Celtics in 6.
They could steal Game 5.
Celtics
They
in
won't.
6.
I don't think they're gonna.
And they're
steal
great
Game
on the
5.
road too.
They are
It's
great.
not.
They're road warriors.
They're the
They're
best
actually better.
road team.
They're better on the
You know
road
what?
at home.
You know
Thanks,
what's
bro.
you know
I
what's
needed
hilarious?
They're better on the road at home than
no,
home.
Celtics in
It's
6.
funny because
Stamp.
they're great road team.
They're road
We're a great
warriors.
home team. We both just split. at home and on the road. It doesn't really matter.
All right,
It's been opposite of that.
I'm changing my
this whole
opinion.
time.
Next game
So
is
all
going to
that-
be so good, bro.
At this point,
Hey.
it's 50-50 right now.
all right.
But no, Tatum will not have a masterclass. I'm sorry.
Wait,
he had
the
one.
masterclass next game or for the rest of the
For the
series
rest,
being?
he won't have
Bro,
a masterclass.
all I'm gonna say is
sorry. I'm sorry it happened to Jimmy Butler.
here's why I'm
sorry
changing
it
my
happened to the
opinion.
Bucks. I'm sorry it
I want
happened to
you to
Kevin
know.
Durant and them boys.
All right.
It just won't happen to Wiggins. I'm sorry.
It's
It's
fine.
not gonna happen.
I'm happy he said this, and
won't.
it allowed me to
If
have.
it does, I can say I'm wrong.
It allowed me to
But
have-
I don't think I'm gonna be wrong.
Are you gonna shut it? Jesus, you're rambling here.
Sorry, bro.
I'm glad
shut
you're
it?
saying everything that you're saying because it allowed me to have this epiphany of each series that you've consistently not only doubted Jayson Tatum and his abilities,
he wasn't gonna have
but
a
the
masterclass
Boston Celtics as
the
a
Heat?
whole. So now that you say this,
I knew he was
I
gonna kill
really am
PJ. People
glad
kill PJ
because
all
you
the
know what?
time.
Celtics
Who?
in 6.
KD?
Stamp it. Celtics in 6. And Jayson Tatum is going to dog.
Masterclass?
For sure. Do one at
Y'all
least.
bug out laughing if he
I
scores
mean, if he
40
doesn't,
and they win,
you know
bro.
I'm wrong, but
really start
I
crying.
really don't think he's gonna get
Y'all
40.
lose
Bro,
game
that's
5.
Jayson Tatum, bro.
Y'all lose game 5, it's done in 6.
Wow, you think that? Oh, they can close it at home?
For sure.
Well, if we win Game 5, we're gonna literally hold the trophy up at TD, and that's embarrassing.
That's what I
don't
think.
disagree.
I think if you guys win the next game, you close it in 6.
Because my boy already had his masterclass, Mr. DPOY candidate, all that. Please
You're
take the
not.
trophy
I don't think
away.
you're winning.
He's fake had
no,
master
I
class almost
disagree.
every game.
I disagree with that
Low-key.
statement.
No,
You're
yeah,
not.
he's
You're not
had-
holding the
he has.
trophy in
Low
TD.
key.
If y'all are winning the series, it's in 7.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm not that good, bro. I don't know why you
Defensively,
be
what are you
talking
talking? Y'all
Defensively,
really aren't
what?
that good. It's Steph
2-2.
Curry and who?
It's 2-2.
Because
You're
Steph
losing
Curry.
to, you're 2-2 with one guy.
Because Steph Curry's an all-time
2-2
great.
with one guy.
Because Steph Curry's an
You
all-time
have
great.
the DPOI. You have like 3 guys on the all defensive team.
speaks to how
and you
great-
cannot stop one
how
guy.
great is Steph
I'm sorry.
Curry?
You've called Tatum a 2-way all year. He's top 5 2-way. He's elite.
He has
this,
been
that,
playing
third.
really good
okay,
defense.
he's not guarding anybody, but cool, fine. You've called Jaylen Brown this 2-way.
He's been
he
amazing.
Can't guard Curry. You've called Marcus Smart's DPOI. He can't fight over a simple freaking screen.
A simple screen?
It's
Come on, we're
one
talking about the
It's
best
one
screening
screen.
team
He
in-
lets
in
his big
arguably
man
NBA
switch.
history.
He lets
Stop
his big
it.
man switch. He's cooked Al Horford. He's cooked Rob Will. Mr.
Oh wow,
I can
is that
guard
hard?
guards.
Well, they're guarding
Is that
him in
hard?
drop coverage,
Can you
though.
stop? Stop. That's not.
That's a
something
recipe
cheer
to get
about.
killed by Steph Curry, the way they're guarding him.
He averages 35.
No, that's something to cheer about. Yes, but Steph Curry excelling on screens. Oh wow, shock! He's
Every
done
time
that
he
his
sees Tatum in
entire
the switch,
career.
he's killed him. Every time
Has
he sees
he-
Brown on the
every
screen, he took him
time?
to the rack. It's, the only person that's statistically been good
Marcus
one-on-one
Smart.
has been Marcus
Marcus
Smart.
Smart.
Everybody else is food. Like good food. Like a steak. What are you talking
give you that
about?
for the
Yeah,
laughs.
it's like,
That was
come on,
good.
man.
That was
Like,
good.
it's Tatum 2-way. Stupid ass take, man.
All I know is that Tatum, in order to repair the damage that he's done
He needs to
to,
tweak.
He has
to
go
his
crazy.
resume,
He needs to tweak.
he has to have great games.
think his
Jesus,
resume is-
it's tainted. Come on, bro.
I think this finals is.
His
I mean,
first- like-
because of his performance, people are now saying Jaylen Brown's better.
That is a
That was
fact.
never true. I just
Jason
wanna
Tatum
throw that
has
out
been
there.
the best player for the Celtics in every series.
Jaylen Brown was
In
on
every
par
series.
in the ECF.
That was
He was
never
on
no,
par.
but
I
that
don't-
whole
I don't
Jaylen
hate
Brown
that.
being better than Tatum, that was
But-
never
but-
true, bro.
But
Jason
Bucks-
Tatum was
never
just
true.
the
Tatum was better in the
for
Bucks.
sure in the Nets. I mean, it
Who
was a
cares
sweep.
about the Nets? They
I
were
know, I'm
ass.
sorry,
But
bro.
the ones that mattered,
Ass.
ECF in the finals, Jaylen Brown's been better.
I mean, why wasn't Jaylen Brown conference finals MVP
I don't
then?
know. He could have won it.
Because
though.
Jason Tatum
No,
was better.
Tatum was the better player.
Because
in the
Jason Tatum was
conference
better.
He was
He's been
on
the
par.
best player in every series up until now
Maybe.
He fake out. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, for the Celtics,
for the Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he not.
he hasn't been outside of the Nets series. He hasn't been the best player in any of those series.
Oh,
You could debate that he was still the best player in the Heat series.
How about the
No,
Bucks?
I think Jimmy was significantly
He had
better.
higher, significantly he's better.
Oh,
He had-
no,
he had
no,
a
no.
five
Jimmy
total.
did have
with
three
everybody.
stinkers,
He had a
though, like
5-point game.
Nah, but Jimmy
He
went
had-
crazy.
Jimmy
the last
had
three,
two
though.
stinkers.
He had higher
No,
highs.
Jimmy went crazy last
For
three,
sure.
though.
I'm with you. I'm
Definitely
with you.
better.
Jimmy had higher highs, but in
Jimmy was also hurt
in the
too.
final moments of
Whoa.
Game 7, who was the better player?
thought he
Jason
had three
Tatum.
stinkers.
No. Jimmy had 41 game 1, right?
He had 2 40 balls and a 30 ball, and I think he had like 3.
Nah,
stinkers.
Jimmy was slightly better that series.
He had higher
in my
rounds, but I
opinion.
think Tatum was probably
But
more
Tatum,
consistent.
Tatum won it when it mattered more, though.
And
He
he
made
was
more plays.
clutch.
But even in Game 7, Jimmy Butler was better, though. I ain't
Well, the
gonna lie.
past three series, it's
You don't
been
think so? Jimmy
Giannis,
had
Jimmy Butler,
35.
and
He had a
Curry.
great performance, but down the stretch, Jason Tatum was
Yo,
clutch.
Jimmy had 35 in Game 7, right?
Something like
He had a good ass game. He had a good ass game.
Imagine he hit that shot.
Down the stretch, though, they went on a 12-0 run to
No,
beat
for
down
sure.
too.
But Jason Tatum was one of the sparks for them to go up 13.
Yeah, but then they almost blew the game.
Game 6 was Tatum was the reason they lost. They put him in a game, and he started folding.
You were the
after
person that on this show said when Jimmy Butler let go of that shot, you said Celtics lost.
I did. I did think that.
Yo, it looked good, though.
It did look good.
That's
Yo,
why.
it did look
That's
good,
why.
though.
Now,
I was
I'm
like,
just
oh my
saying, like,
God.
I think Butler played better than Tatum.
Nah,
in the
Butler had a
conference
better
finals.
series for sure.
On to the next topic. Darvin Ham Ham had his introductory press conference for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, how excited do you think Lakers fans should be that Darvin Ham is now the next head coach for the LA Lakers. Drew, I'm going to start with you because you're the Lakers fan here.
I love
Although
that.
you're rooting for Boston.
I'm not rooting for them.
Yeah,
I chose Boston.
You're
Simple.
rooting for them.
If that's how you want to see it,
You're
sure.
literally rooting for them to win the finals.
I'm
what
not
are we
really.
doing here?
I'm choosing the Celtics to win because I believe the Celtics are the better team.
You have tweeted, you have texted us, and you're excited about them winning. That's rooting for them.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Have I texted, yay, let's go Celtics? No.
You say, put respect on my Celtics.
No, I say put respect on
that sounds like she would say that. I lied there, though.
Thank you. Because come
Some
on, bro.
respect on
I
my
believe that.
Come on. You believe that?
because he's good at selling lies,
Come
bro.
on, bro.
It does sound like some
No,
text
it
you
does
would make,
not.
though.
No, put some respect for
funny,
sure.
bro.
Yeah, that's
but
why,
it would
that's
be
real
followed
funny.
by Jaylen Brown, if anything. Because that's
You're a
actually
Jaylen
the guy.
Brown stan.
Al Horford, too. You like Al
fuck with him.
Horford, right?
Oh,
I mean, you have a lot of Celtics agendas for a Lakers fan.
You do.
I
Like,
guess.
yeah.
I mean, it's for
Jaylen
the season
Brown.
because up until this
Jayson
point,
Tatum
they've
top
proven me
5,
right.
Jaylen Brown best Robin, Al Horford
That
top
aged
5
amazing.
player in the playoffs.
That was obviously
that was
that was
insane.
excessive. I just did that for agenda purposes for sure. And I knew that it would get a rouse out of you guys, which it did. So to Darvin Ham. I want to run through a brick wall right now. Bro's got me fired up. He's got me fired up.
Really?
That press conference was awesome, and he said a lot of things
Word.
that is 100% sound. We spoke about it a little bit before the show. He wants to predicate this team off Anthony Davis because if Anthony Davis...
And Westbrook.
Yes, but it was more so Anthony Davis. We know this. Come on, bro. You don't have to throw that cheap shot in there, you bastard. But he said it perfectly. If Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis and he is the motor that gets us going, we will win games. It's 100% a fact. When Anthony Davis is being aggressive, when he's asserting himself into the offense, when he's posting up, when he's hitting his mid-range jump shots. I'm not going to go as far to say hitting his three-point jump shots because it's been 2 seasons and he's really struggled with that. He needs to find that again, and we'll really be back into some strong conversation. But defensively, we need him to be our anchor as well. We need him to assert himself as the best rim protector in the league again. We need to see him assert himself as being the best floor general at the center position. We need to see him be the best big defender in the NBA. We haven't seen that. We didn't see that this past season. We need to see him be durable. It all begins and ends with Anthony Davis, and Darvin Ham's 100% right. I'm super excited because we need someone to motivate Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis doesn't seem motivated right now, and I'm going to talk about it later in my This Week in the NBA. But Anthony Davis needs to hit the gym. He needs to start working on his game. He needs to be in a different mindset because LeBron's been working out since the season's ended.
You know his sons.
You know LeBron's going to put the work in. You never have to question that. But suddenly, all of a sudden, I have to worry about Anthony Davis and his dedication to the game. It's something that you shouldn't do, especially when you're a top 75 player all time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I want to see Darvin Ham get the best out of his players, the most out of his players, and I think that he will for sure. But it's definitely something to look forward to.
Fraudulent top 75 player. That's a nice shirt. I really do.
This
like
one?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks,
it's
bro.
pretty
Shout
dope.
out to my Gales. Gale Force. You know the
Nice
vibe.
shirt. Shout out to Rick and whatnot.
Facts, man.
You said a lot of good stuff.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate
No,
that.
you did. And Ham, he said a lot of things that we all kind of understood for the past 2-3 seasons. You know, this is going to be AD's team eventually. It needs to run through AD. AD needs to be that guy for them to be successful. That didn't really move me, though. You know, stuff like that doesn't
Bro,
really
he
move
said
me.
he said that Darvin Ham saying that I've been
How you
shot.
gonna cut me
Nah,
off
bro,
like
because
that?
it was
It's
grimy.
insane to
It was
me.
grimy.
Go ahead,
He's
bro.
like, yeah, bro, because Darvin Ham saying that he got shot in the head, nothing scares me. That didn't move him. I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? Like that, bro. That's something to move me. That's why I said I'm ready to
You
run
didn't
through.
even say that in your monologue, but now it moves you. That's crazy to me.
Because I knew you were gonna mention that.
No,
That's why you said it didn't move
That's
me.
actually not what I was talking about. The AD thing didn't move me because that's something we obviously understand. I think we all expect that. What moved me was the Westbrook talk. That's what moved me. I think that's the stuff that I really think we need to dive in with. Like he wants Westbrook to get back to defending. He feels like Westbrook still has a lot left in the tank. Westbrook can still be saved. Like it's a lot of things that like that's where the motivation should be for Lakers fans. Him feeling like he can fix Westbrook.
Can I tell you why I avoided that? Because I knew if I was the one saying this, I'm having 1, 2, 3 people laugh at me at once. So I'm glad that you're the one saying it. Because I want to 100% stamp everything he's saying.
Yeah, no, it's you want a coach that can come in and try to fix Westbrook because let's be realistic, you're not going to find a trade from. He's going to be a Laker this year. I think we've all understood that. We've all come to that conclusion.
You never know.
Now you have to build the team. That's what really is going to like this. He feels like he can fix Westbrook. That's cool. Okay, now what's the next steps? You got to build the roster around him. He wants to see Westbrook turn into a cutter. Defending. Westbrook was a good defender in the early OKC days. He wants to see him get back to that. All right, so let's see now how he's going to do it. I think that's what's really going to move. Now, I don't believe him, but I do think that, that's something that would
Why are
definitely,
you so rude
as a
to
Lakers
Westbrook,
fan,
bro?
that's something that would move me because he's coming in. It's like he understands the problem. He realized what the problem was last year, and he realized what he has to do. AD was him being in and out of the lineup, him not being 100%, him not being Mr. Bubble AD. That was a problem.
You gotta
And then
stop.
him, Westbrook not being that same guy and just being a drop off. He understood that problem. He felt like he's gonna fix it.
Am I
So,
this rude to the Bulls, bro?
You're a Zach LaVine fan, so you can't be.
I love him.
Yeah, so but that's what moved me. As a Lakers fan, if I was a Lakers fan, I would feel moved about that. But me as a regular general NBA fan as I am, and me being unbiased as I can be, I don't care.
Unbiased? You're the most biased person I know.
Okay. I don't care because at the end of the day, the roster is still terrible. Westbrook, I still want to see it.
For now.
AD,
They're gonna
I
tweak
still
it.
want to see it. I still feel like there's stuff they got to get. There's guys they have to get, but there's a lot of teams that players want to go play for before the Lakers at this point. LeBron, we know what he's going to do. He's going to come in, probably average 30 again.
Don't be heartbroken
Still
when
that guy.
Levine leaves the Bulls for us.
We'll-
Don't be heartbroken.
For Westbrook?
Maybe.
Darvin Ham just said he's one of the greatest he's ever seen.
He didn't lie. He's a top 75 player all time.
It's fair.
Top 50.
First person to average a triple-double since Oscar Robinson.
That's a good
The
stat.
most triple doubles ever.
That's a great stat.
He is one of the greatest players to ever play.
He
the game,
is,
though.
but not this Westbrook. Not this guy. This guy's a fraud.
The thing about defense is his on ball is really good. His off ball is painfully bad
His
to
off ball
watch.
His
sucks.
on ball sucks.
Nah, his
too.
off
No,
ball's
no,
way
no,
worse.
no.
though.
No, his off ball is.
No,
His
his
off ball's
off-ball-
putrid.
his off-ball is
really
he's
bad,
not
bro.
a good
believe that.
on ball defender. Just
No, he
because
is.
he plucks a few guys here and there does not make him a good on ball.
He's a decent on ball defender at worst.
He's a better
He's a
on ball
minus
defender than all.
defender.
He's
That's not
horrendously.
saying
No, but he's
much.
horrendously bad off
Bro,
ball. though.
off
It's
ball
really
is
bad.
so bad.
It's horrible.
So bad.
That's your point of attack guy.
Go ahead, JC.
So I mean, I saw his press conference. I agree with you. I think adding extra motivation to Anthony Davis, who seems completely unmotivated, is something that's really good. One thing that I got from his interview that was really interesting to me, and I think that he's gonna instill this, is he says that he wants to cut down on LeBron James's minutes.
Good.
LeBron James is gonna be 38 years old. I think he's at the point of his career. I know he just averaged 30, but in his Lakers stint, he's been getting hurt, he's missing more games. He's getting older. He's physically not what he once was. He's still great, but the injuries, the wear and tear is gonna catch up with him. So I really applaud that. I don't know how they're gonna make it work because this team is really horrendous without him. But another thing that he said is this offseason, obviously, he wants to try to add more 3-and-D wings, and he wants to add a stretch 5 to the roster. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I've been one saying this for a while. I think if the Lakers added better shooting and better defending along with those 3 players, who, like, let's say they at least Anthony Davis gives you 60, 65 games a year, I think the Lakers are going to be a really, really good basketball team. But, like I said, I'm really interested to see how he's going to make that LeBron James thing work. I think this is going to be the first time in LeBron's career where I feel like Darvin Ham might have him on not minutes restriction, but I think LeBron coming into this season being 38 years old, I don't think that it's smart to play LeBron 35 minutes a game.
No, you're right.
I think we might even see, I know LeBron's not opposed to this, but maybe there might be some games where LeBron takes off against weaker opponents just to, save them for the postseason.
Bro,
But-
I saw us lose to some trash teams this year.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know if
saying.
we can afford it.
So I like the added motivation, Anthony Davis. Then again, I'm looking for the Lakers to add more 3-and-D wings. If they can add a couple 3-and-D players to the roster and the stretch big, and Anthony Davis could come into the season playing motivated basketball. I know that's kind of far stretched right now because the last 2 years he's kind of really been underwhelming. But if Anthony Davis can find that spark, if Russell Westbrook, this is the big if, but if Russell Westbrook could cut down his turnovers and everything, and LeBron could go into minutes restriction, I'm really talking like this is going to be like the best case scenario. Then the Lakers will be a good team. But from what I see, the current roster that they have now, I think they're just going to have the same problems that they did this year.
Before you go, can I just ask a question with you two? You guys keep talking about he's gonna motivate Anthony Davis. Let me ask you.
No, I didn't say he. I said he should try to motivate him.
So this man has made the top 75 team. He went through the whole process. Being there with the greats, legendary stuff.
Chip.
He has a ring. What else? What could Ham possibly do that could motivate him if that stuff
You
did?
could say that he's
Even LeBron's there too.
he's
He hasn't really-
Giannis' son. That's what you could say.
We think that really he cares about that?
Should.
I think Darvin Ham could deadass look at him and say, "Yo, you could be one of the greatest players to ever play this game." I don't know how
Or you
Anthony
can-
Davis is
or
going
you
to take that.
or you can look at him
I
and
don't
say,
know.
"Yo, you are
He's
soft."
got to play better, though. I mean, the agreement between LeBron and Anthony Davis, well,
You can
what
be
should have
one-
been the agreement is,
You can be one of the greatest players to ever.
I mean, I don't think he can.
I mean,
but
he already
that's
is.
something-
No, he already is.
He's a top
Top
75.
75.
No, but the real agreement
fair.
was Anthony Davis after the first
is Dave
championship was
Bing.
supposed to take over this team. This was supposed to be Anthony Davis's team. I think Darvin Ham has to remind him, like, yo, you signed off on this. LeBron's getting older. This is supposed to be your team. You made an agreement after LeBron won the first chip that you were going to take us or you were going to try to take us to the promised land. I mean, it's kind of hard because, like we said, he just said he hasn't picked up a basketball since, what,
April
April
5th.
15th?
Well,
So it's just,
that's all right.
I don't know, bro.
Find another one quickly.
I know, you bastards. I was trying to save it the
don't
whole
know.
time.
Quickly.
You can still bring that up 'cause
I
that's
have
crazy.
it. I have it.
That's crazy.
Hello.
The Lakers bore me. The reason they bore me,
Yo, bro, you kill me, man. You kill me. You kill me. I'll tell you why later.
the Lakers bore me because I feel like in order for this to work, everything has to go right.
Yeah.
I know that Darvin Ham wants to instill this defensive culture and this new identity to the team. But in last season, not the one that just happened, but the previous one where they lost in the first round to the Phoenix Suns, Vogel had the Lakers second in opponents' points per game, first in defensive rating. That great defensive team didn't help them get past the Suns in the first round. They lost in the first round. I know that injuries had a large part to do with it. The bottom line is that the Lakers have no cap space. It's Russell Westbrook, AD, and LeBron taking up 80% of the cap space. And currently, their starters would be Russell Westbrook, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Stanley Johnson, and Anthony Davis. They can try and find some players in the open market in free agency in the offseason, sign some 3-and-D wings. Like some names
Green?
out there are Nicholas Batum,
Wesley.
Otto Porter, Wes Matthews, who they had, and then
Dropped them.
let him go.
Batum said he's staying with the Clippers.
Yeah, Gary Harris could be one of them. Joe Ingles, T.J. Warren,
Garrett
Jeff
Temple.
Green.
Joe Ingles would be lit.
Like there are
But we
some
need defenders. We
there
need
are
wing
some
defenders.
players that could
Daniel
fit
House.
this Lakers team,
Garrett Temple.
but a lot of these are
Is PJ
far-fetched.
Is PJ under contract
For one more year.
He's
He
not
is.
going to the
I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to get a gauge.
You're trying to get him. I know.
I would love that. Oh my
So a lot of these guys I don't feel like are going to happen. They're unrealistic unless they can convince, like maybe best case scenario, they convince TJ Warren, hey, come on a prove it deal.
plays
You've been
ball.
hurt. Come to the Lakers, and maybe they can convince Colin Sexton to come over too. And now you have Sexton and TJ Warren, which
That
is
would be
highly
I need
unlikely.
Levine. I need Levine.
You're
That's-
not getting him, bro. I'm sorry.
But that's
for your-
best case
you know what,
scenario.
If he stays, I'm happy. He comes over. I'm
With
geeked.
this current roster right now, it doesn't matter how great of a coach Darvin Ham is, they're gonna lose games. The West is tougher.
roster's terrible.
The West is getting healthy. The Clippers getting healthy. The Nuggets are getting healthy. LeBron's getting older. LeBron has only been healthy for 1 year in his Lakers tenure.
Yeah.
He's been hurt every other year outside of that. Anthony Davis is always hurt. Russell Westbrook is 18-7-7 on horrible splits every single night and turning the ball over at a high
And
rate.
can't guard.
Oh, what really, the only way the Lakers can have success is all three of these guys are healthy the entire year. Russell Westbrook, for all the bad people want to mention about him, at least I know he's going to stay healthy. He's the one guy that I know is going to play the
That's not a
full
good-
Can you
season.
not say this? Like, knock on wood or something.
He's
God
the one
forbid.
guy that I know is most likely going to stay healthy the entire season. LeBron and AD, I count on both missing 20-plus games.
Okay.
I think
Westbrook
AD
being
can-
healthy, huh?
Listen, man. This slander towards LA is warranted.
It's not slander, it's
warranted.
realistic.
No,
It's realistic.
it's slander. Like,
He named a bunch of
It
guys
mean-
that he don't believe
like
would go to your
truths
team.
can be slander.
A lot of the issues, obviously with the Lakers, was just poor roster construction. I think they constructed a bad roster around those three guys. You can't have Stanley Johnson and the other non-shooters who don't offer any offense around that three.
We traded our good role players for
Anthony
Russ.
Davis' jump shot is broken. So is
Who
Westbrook.
wanted Russ?
Like outside of us.
No, did LeBron co-sign that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, LeBron's the one.
But the main
Buddy
They were
Hield wouldn't
suppo-
have been really any better.
They
I
were
agree.
supposed to
the
get
main
DeMar.
target was DeMar, but they didn't want to give him the money. And
So they just
and then
went
they
to go get
landed.
Westbrook's
They
money.
landed
LeBron's like,
on-
get Westbrook. Yeah, that's
get Westbrook's
realistically
money.
what happened. That was like the worst.
because you're off Russell's contract next season. DeMar, you would have signed them for
LeBron will be
3-4
39
years.
next year.
I know.
So I have a question for you guys. So Russ has to accept his player option,
No, he will.
47 mil. I know he will. What if the Lakers go to him and say, you know what? We want you to be here for 2-3 more seasons. Take half of what you're currently getting. Let's restructure your deal so we can go get some key free agents this offseason. But you have to
I would
keep
geek.
Westbrook for 2-3
I would
more
geek.
years.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Give me a little bit more cap space. Fill this roster out.
No, that's not a bad
Sign
idea.
me up.
Although Russell
That's not a bad
Westbrook would
idea.
be on the team for at least
I'm
2-3
fine with
years.
that.
I'm good off that.
Okay, if that's fine. But you're telling me we have
I
a little bit
refuse
more.
to see
We have
Westbrook
more
for the
cap
next 2
space.
seasons.
We can get better role players because right now that's our issue.
Role
Like,
players
yes,
are the biggest issue
Role
outside of
players are
injuries.
not your only issue.
No,
Westbrook
no.
is your issue.
I don't disagree,
Yo,
but we have a bunch of guys outside
AD's
of.
an issue too, bro. It's not just Westbrook.
we don't have guys that
AD's
fit
an
their
issue also,
game.
but
He's a
that's
big
what-
issue.
we
that's-
have
but y'all keep
we
talking
have
about role
but
players
we
gonna
have
fix
okay,
everything.
No, but
our
are their role players
can't-
good?
We can't shoot.
No.
Their
Our
role
role
players
players
suck.
cannot shoot.
can't shoot
and
at
they
all.
cannot defend.
Outside of LeBron, who was
They
really
were the
good?
27th ranked 3-point shooting team.
Yeah,
bro.
but outside of LeBron, who was really good?
No,
That's
no.
what. That's why
I mean,
we have to make an emphasis to surround them around good 3-point shooting role
Yeah,
players. Because
role
Anthony
players
Davis'
role
3-point shot
players
has
is
been.
cool until your star doesn't play and your third star isn't good. Then your role players become them. Then they look not good again.
All right, so let me ask you a
Because now
question.
you're now that
confused.
if
How
you-
many games
you
did
get-
AD miss this
Your
year?
role players
He missed
come
a
in.
few. I
Your
think
role
he
players
only
come in.
played like 40, 30
AD
games.
gets
40
hurt, and now
games?
they have to
I think.
heighten up, bro. It's
So wait,
simple.
so do you think if he said he missed 40, you think if Anthony Davis was there for 30, 35 games, you think they finished this bad and not make the plan?
yeah,
I think a lot of the
still
Lakers'
think they don't make the
issues,
plan.
you guys can say Westbrook's a scapegoat, and yes, he's not that good, but I think majority of the Lakers' issues really come from Anthony Davis not being available. That's what I think.
When AD
Because
came
when
back, but
AD and LeBron
but wait,
really-
I think
won a
I also
chip.
think what you're not taking into account is that
AD came back at the end of the year. They still were losing games.
No, but I'm saying the chunk that he was out, they were terrible. And there
what
was
you're
things
not
him and LeBron
what
missed,
you're
it
not
was
taking
hell.
into account is that Russell Westbrook
funny picture.
restructuring his contract to now maybe receive half of what he would get in this 1 year also means that his contract is more tradable too.
Definitely.
Which means somebody still has to want him.
Yeah, but right
A
now,
rebuilding
I
team.
think the biggest reason teams don't want him right now is
40
because
flat.
it's 47
40
million now
games?
they have
Yeah,
to give
bro.
him.
I think if Anthony Davis plays
If
20
Russell
more
Westbrook,
games,
let's
it's
say, is
different.
getting 23, 24 mil, you think every team is totally disengaged on that?
No, I think a
Well, how many
rebuilding
teams
team.
are really locked in though? Houston.
What,
then
like,
we're
you talking
doing
about
him dirty.
rebuilding?
We're doing him dirty. We're saying,
Honestly,
hey,
you
Russ,
shouldn't
we
care
want
about
you
that.
to. No, but we're doing him slime.
That's the
man.
business,
But
though.
no, I don't disagree. But then Russell's not going to agree to that.
Does he have a no trade clause?
No.
Oh, then you could trade him.
No,
It's
I
quiet.
agree. But right now, no one wants to trade him because he's getting 40, 45 million.
But yeah.
I
They just
understand.
want to attack. They
My
just want
point
the
being-
Lakers to attach first round.
So basically, you're gonna trade Westbrook, get role players, and then hope AD's healthy.
No, and free up cap. No, you trade Westbrook to free up cap.
But you're bringing in more players.
Yes,
but
but
then
you-
you're still hoping
But
that
you,
Anthony Davis
but you
is
still
healthy.
have money to go.
well,
get a
my
star.
my thing would restructure Westbrook's deal. Let's say instead of 47 mil, you get
like 23.
30,
Okay.
28 to 30 mil for the next 2-3 seasons or for the next 2 seasons, and use that 17 mil to go get those guys.
So
To go get an Otto Porter, to go get an Ingles, to go get a stretch five
Chris
like
Boucher.
a Dwayne Dedman or something.
Chris Boucher.
Chris Boucher had a body, bro. He'd be good.
that screams first round exit.
If they're all healthy, I don't look. If
LeBron and
if
AD,
AD,
is-
Russ,
just
and
need them healthy
LeBron
for
are
the
healthy,
playoffs.
You know,
they
it's
can do something.
It's so many ifs. Like the Lakers.
Well,
have
no,
so
see,
many
well,
ifs.
nothing's really ever gonna be nothing's in a perfect world in the NBA.
It's not
you
even
know
a
what I mean?
perfect. Like, can
You know what you're signing up for
Nah,
with AD
it's
and
not
LeBron.
even like perfect. Like even if all of them play, we still have to see if they can work. Like when they all were playing, they weren't good. It's
I mean,
not
at the
like, it's not
minimum,
like they were good.
At the minimum, AD and LeBron are going into
no,
year,
AD
year
and LeBron
4
are going to be
together.
fine if they're healthy. If AD finally,
I know.
gets back into
Buckles
his bag.
down.
Yeah, he gets back into his bag. When he was playing defensively, he dropped off. His jump shot was gone. He was one of the worst mid-range
His
shooters in the
defense
league.
wasn't
His free throw
horrible.
percentage.
They played
went
less
down.
than 100 minutes together though.
That's true.
What the entire year?
But AD individually dropped off as a basketball player. Not saying he can't get
His
back to
jump
that level.
shot's just not
but he
it. That's
dropped
what
off
it
as a
is.
basketball
Wait,
player.
wait. Before Westbrook came, the second year coming off the championship, before AD and LeBron went down, what seed were they?
I think we were the second seed. Might have been the first when before they went down. He's saying
I say that because statistics.
You were not second seed.
we were high.
You weren't second.
I think you were
High.
top 4.
I don't even think they were.
You can
top
look it up.
4. They were like 5,
4 or 5.
something like that. Then they dropped to 7. It's not really a big drop off.
A team that also made a coaching change was the Charlotte Hornets. They hired Kenny Atkinson to be the new coach, 4-year deal to become the new head coach. He had a 118 and 190 record as the Brooklyn Nets head coach. He was recently the Clippers assistant and Warriors assistant. Now, JC, this is your former coach, Kenny Atkinson, used to coach the Nets.
Stinks.
You went through those
We were bad the
rebuilds.
first 2 years, super bad.
So what do you think about Kenny Atkinson getting his shot with the Hornets, and you think it was the right move to hire him over D'Antoni?
Well, D'Antoni's obviously the better coach in my opinion, but obviously the Hornets wanted to go in a different direction. But I mean, I'm really familiar with obviously Kenny Atkinson, who's the coach of my team. Very good player development coach. Helped develop D'Angelo Russell. Who else? Karis LeVert took a lead. Spencer Dinwiddie.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
No.
Jared Allen.
A lot. Just a side fact. A lot of people don't know this, but Brook Lopez developed his 3-point shot under Kenny Atkinson for the 1 year that he was there in Brooklyn. So he essentially turned him into a stretch five. So
Congratulations.
I look
Talking about his all-time leading scorer, bro. Unless Katie broke that already.
Nah, I don't know. He doesn't play enough games.
Brooke got like 8 years in there.
Oh, and Jared Allen also helped develop Jared Allen as well. He's a really analytically based coach. He just believes in 3-point shooting and getting to the basket. He hates mid-range shots. It's funny because the year D'Angelo Russell broke out, he allowed him to shoot mid-range shots. But I look at this Hornets roster construction. I mean, it has LaMelo, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, Kelly Oubre. This is a team that was number 6 in the NBA in 3-point attempts. I think that Kenny Atkinson can flirt around and make him a top 3, even the second most 3-point shooting team in the NBA. I mean, LaMelo Ball was a 39% 3-point shooter on 8 attempts. Terry Rozier 37, P.J. Washington 36, Kelly Oubre 35, and Miles Bridges was at 35%, so his jump shot improved. The only thing that's worrying me about this team and about Kenny Atkinson's style as a coach is he's not much of a defensive-minded coach at all. He leaves that more so to the assistants, but the assistants that I don't know what assistants he's going to bring if Charlotte's going to allow him to bring his own group of assistants. But the assistants that he did bring to Brooklyn, they were managing the defensive side of the ball. Jock Bond, Jordan Ott, those guys were all, they took care of the defensive side of the ball. But you asked if I think they can make the playoffs. I don't think that they can make the playoffs. They were one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA last year. I think they were bottom 5.
They were horrible.
Going into this season with the same players, the same scheme, I don't think they're going to be a good defensive team. And then just to list off teams in the East, I mean, you got the Nets who are going to be good next year, Celtics, Bulls, Heat, all these other teams. I think there's I don't want to say there's a lock 8 teams, but there's a good 8 teams that are better than them. And then you have to worry about obviously Cleveland. I think that they're more in tune to make a playoff push this year as well. The only thing that I think that can save the Hornets is if LaMelo Ball takes another leap and becomes a real superstar. I don't know how likely that is. I'm not saying he doesn't have the skill set for it. Obviously, he's gonna have to. The offense is gonna be completely different under Kenny Atkinson. So we'll see how it goes. I think this is a good move for a young team like Charlotte. I think if not this year, maybe next year they'll be more in tune to make the playoffs. But I think this is a perfect signing for them.
You want to go or you want me to go?
Oh, you're right there.
All right, man. So I think they definitely can make the playoffs.
No, they can.
The last 2 seasons, they've been a play-in team. Yes, they've gotten smoked in both those play-in games, and they definitely got overmatched and looked like they didn't belong there.
That would never happen to Anthony Edwards. Have you seen the new movie Hustle?
I watched bits and pieces of it. It was really good. His part for sure I saw it was really lit.
Anthony Edwards is a born actor.
Now,
he's just great at anything he does, honestly.
Hernan Gomez was excellent. He was excellent.
I wonder why they did the story on him.
No, it's not about him. It's about
Bo
Cruz.
Made him the main actor.
I'm about to watch that soon.
I don't know. I just think that
I didn't watch it yet. I'll watch it later.
He's probably just a good actor.
Was he
and so back to Kenny Atkinson, he, as JC mentioned already, is great in player development. And with a young team like the Charlotte Hornets, you bring in a guy that's going to try and emphasize the fundamentals of the game for them. Guys that clearly need motivation on the defensive side of the ball.
Buck Knight might get more.
James Buck Knight, he showed flashes down the stretch of the season for sure, but you add Buck Knight to that rotation of consistently getting him the ball and trying to make him more of a scorer for you guys. But a lot of it, for me, really emphasizes on how he alluded to LaMelo Ball. Now, LaMelo Ball already has solidified himself as one of the better players in the NBA for sure. I'm not saying he's one of the best players at Riv, so stop with the eye roll. But what Kenny can do is force LaMelo to become more of a locker room presence. Where LaMelo right now is still young, he's still slightly immature. He shows still I want, while Kenny's his head coach, still be flashy, still have fun playing the game. But when it comes to being a true leader, when it comes to maturing, I want to see Kenny really emphasize that with LaMelo, because we know LaMelo's ceiling is a potential top 10 player in the NBA. LaMelo has all the tools to be that. Now, he needs someone to come in and really change his mindset, his approach towards carrying himself towards the game. If Kenny can do that and try to make LaMelo more of a presence in the locker room, then things get exciting for Charlotte and the organization as a whole, because then you have your one cornerstone that you can trust, you can rely on, and more than just physical capabilities. Then you go and you add different role players. You already have Miles Bridges. You go and you potentially get a player that we're going to talk about later, like a Deandre Ayton. Start to fill out this roster a little bit more with,
That'll be good.
with maybe a little bit more defensive presence. You have that superstar already, that potential superstar. Let me correct myself. This is very exciting if I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan.
Real quick, if they do get Deandre in, don't be surprised if Kenny Atkinson helps them develop a 3-point shot sometime down the road. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
This is a good hire. I like this hire. Very strong hire. I think Charlotte.
This guy is funny as hell.
All jokes aside, I like this hire. You guys said it all. Kenny Atkinson, he's a great player development coach. They got a lot of young talent in Charlotte. I think Michael Jordan and that, those owners, they've been doing a good job the last couple of years getting their franchise player. They picked up Terry Rozier. He was good for them for the time being. Gordon Hayward was good that 1 year with them. He's been hurt a little bit, but Miles Bridges, he's developed into a really good player.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly Oubre, he was good off the bench
Really
for them.
good
He was
last
really solid off the bench for them. So I think they got a lot of good. They don't have a center and they don't play defense. Like, they virtually just don't want to play
Running
defense. So they're like a running gun, heavy, high-powered offense. Kenny Atkinson's good with that. You can see a lot of that net system kind of being implemented with this Charlotte Hornets team. The 3-guard system and stuff like that. So I think, can they make the playoffs?
Tough.
East is tough, man. Atlanta's still going to be around. The Knicks, maybe they can sneak into a
Cavaliers.
play-in. You got the Cavs.
Being generous.
I'm just naming teams that could just run it down. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Bucks are going to be there.
Chicago.
Chicago's going to be around. Detroit can make a move or two, and they're in
draft.
it.
Oh,
Toronto's going to be around. The Nets, maybe they'll be around.
I'm telling you, I laughed at me, man.
Because you said them first, and it was so funny. The
You had
Heat,
to know.
obviously. So it's Philly.
You
It's a
had
lot
to.
of teams. So I think playing to make the playoffs, I think that's a stretch to say yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
But I think they're going to be competitive. I think they'll definitely be in a play-in hunt. But the playoffs, it's too early for me to say. I still think there's a couple moves they need to
They've
make.
been playing teams 2 years in a row,
Yeah, but the East is getting better, and they got smoked
much better.
twice.
but they're gonna get better.
With the same players? Really?
Not necessarily.
Well,
the same
LaMelo
players.
Ball
We
could
don't
take a
know.
They
leap.
need a center.
LaMelo Ball could take a lead.
LaMelo's a player that is gonna attract people to want to come play with him.
In Charlotte?
I think so.
You think so?
LaMelo
You
is
believe
that
that?
kind of guy. Yeah,
Really?
Yo, honestly,
How
I
you
wouldn't be
figure?
surprised if he leaves either.
I wouldn't be surprised at that either. But
That
if
kinda suck if he
while
leaves.
you still have him on his rookie contract, it'll definitely be a.
You think they make the playoffs if they get Ayton? DeAndre Ayton?
Yes.
Who do we think this guy is?
Who, LaMelo or?
Well, you said they
DeAndre
need a
Ayton.
center, and he can
No,
definitely
but
fill
like,
that
I
void.
gotta see.
I agree.
He's
I
definitely way better than what they have.
DeAndre
like,
Ayton's
no,
not
way
a
better
bust.
than-
I don't
No,
think any
we
player
can't-
saying I'm gonna go to Charlotte because I want to play with LaMelo.
Yeah, is he
That's
better than
kinda
Mason
crazy to say.
Plumlee?
I just I don't
1,000%.
see it happen.
That's
Does
Or
he
Montrezl
change their
Harrell?
defense from the worst defense to a mid? No.
They could.
No. What?
He could. No, you
How's
can't.
Buck Night breakout year?
I'm in.
He's
Their
gonna get-
defense
he's gonna
was
get more
25th in
minutes.
the NBA.
Yeah,
gonna
Aiden
get
doesn't
more
put that to 15.
I think he does. He can.
He's a good defender, bro.
That's the thing. I was
He's a
literally
good
about to
rim
say this.
protector, too.
We can't just automatically take Ayton because we
Aiden
last saw him where he
bumps them
wasn't.
10 spots.
Your recency
There's a
bias with
possibility.
Ayton. Your recency
10
bias with
spots.
Ayton is really is
I
strong.
don't think. No, he's a good defender individually. I don't think he bumps them 10 spots.
Yeah, I don't know about
think
that
he-
either.
I don't think he does that.
I think he helps
ain't
them,
Rudy
but no.
Gobert? Come on.
Yeah, no.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, come on. That's
Well, Rudy Gobert bumps a team like this to first.
Correct. To a degree.
25 to
He's
1.
gassing it. He's gassing it, but
crazy.
I
I think
understand.
top 10. I think
All
he
right,
bumps
stop-
top
stop-
10.
The
stop taking-
the Jazz with
Don't-
Gobert and without Gobert, that's literally the
Correct.
discrepancy.
Yeah, don't take him
and
so
That's a
small
fact.
sample size.
No, it's
what
a
do you
pretty
mean?
significant
Bro,
sample
it
size.
was
What's the
a whole
sample
sample, a
What's
whole
the big
season,
sample
a
size?
whole
I'm
season,
asking, what's the sample size?
a whole season.
It's more than like 50 games, bro.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. So you think he bumps him
But
to
you've
one?
argued that too.
What?
That nobody on Utah can guard the perimeter and Rudy Gobert saves
Yeah, but I
everybody.
think Charlotte
And
is
also
worse.
the sample size thing
think they're
doesn't
worse?
really hold much weight because it's about on-off minutes as well. Like the on-off
So
minutes they
Aiden bumps him
measure.
up 10 spots.
I think there's a chance he
you
can.
said JaVale McGee was the better guy in that lineup.
You play-
He makes some better defense.
No, that's not what he said.
Stop.
No, it's not what he said. He said that
He said
the
he just
drop
said-
off.
no, he said
no,
he- yeah.
the drop
If the
off
drop
from
off
JaVale
Aiden to McGee.
because of the Suns system, really.
You have
What's
to
the-
play.
what's the
You
Charlotte
can
system?
you can defend
DeAndre
differently.
Ayton will be more prominent part of that team, though.
But I think if they don't
might
guard,
be their second
if they
go-to
don't
scorer.
guard at the top of the key, it don't matter.
Probably.
You can defend differently
Think
when
so?
you
Like
know
Terry gets
somebody's
more touches
behind
than
you.
him?
Miles.
Yeah, I understand that, but Aiden ain't. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like Aiden
if,
more,
if the
though.
guards at the
I
top
think
ain't
Aiden's a
gonna
better
guard,
player,
then it
but
don't matter what your
Miles
big can do.
Bridges
Unless
is
it's
good
like
too,
Rudy
though.
Gobert.
Say it again.
Bam Adebayo. If your guards don't want to guard, it's like DeAndre Ayton is not an elite rim protector.
See, but the thing is, I
He's
feel
a good
like
one,
they
though.
don't want
He's
to.
good, but he's not elite.
A lot of defense, you mentioned it earlier, is that defense is effort. A lot of these guys are more fixated on scoring than they are on playing defense. If you have a coach that's going to emphasize defensive effort, we just saw it with Dallas.
Not going to do that.
No, he's not a defensive-minded coach.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, listen,
fair enough. I don't disagree.
My thoughts on this move are that I think it's a higher contrasting styles. I don't really view Kenny Atkinson as the perfect coach for Charlotte. I understand why they hired him. They wanted a different voice. They wanted somebody who can instill a culture, and Atkinson has deserved the job in this, from what he did with Brooklyn. But a guy who I think would be better if the Hornets want to go from bad defense to now good defense, I thought Mike Brown would have been a better hire for that, to really instill that culture. And if they really want to go all in on this offensive approach, I would have thought Mike D'Antoni would have been the best hire. And D'Antoni has shown in the past that the assistants he hires are capable of generating top of the end defenses in the league as well. This is why the Kenny Atkinson move is kind of a head scratcher to me. I know he's a good coach. I hope he has success. This is the most talented team that he's ever coached. I think this team is more talented
than Kyrie.
Well, I don't really count them. I don't really count that because it's not a full season. I'm talking about this is more talented than D'Lo, Dinwiddie, all those other guys. But the biggest decision looming for the Hornets is what are they going to bring back Miles Bridges? Is a team going to give Bridges an offer that the Hornets want to potentially match? That's the biggest thing this offseason for them. You say they have to, but if a team out there is offering Miles Bridges $30 million, are you going to give that to him?
No. Can a team actually offer him $30 million?
They can offer him that.
Of course.
Damn.
Otto Porter was offered a max contract when he left Washington. He was offered it by the Nets, and they matched it.
Is there
that
much
was a different max, though? Was it not?
That was a max for him. You can still get that amount of money, though.
Who matched it? Who matched it?
Wizards. They matched
Thank God you didn't give him the
Miles
max.
get 30? Don't you got to get like an all-star game or all-NBA team to get 30?
No, that's to get the supermax, like 40
No,
mil.
the
Mitchell's
Supermax
not on the
is
Or
first
the
team
max
All-NBA.
contract is like 30 mil.
40 mil for him is crazy, though. I'm not paying him.
Because isn't Donovan Mitchell on a $30 million deal? And that's not a super max.
Did Donovan make a first team?
No, he made an all-NBA team.
Did he make an? I don't think he's made an
all-star
All-NBA
game, though.
That's it. He hasn't made an All-NBA team, which is why he didn't get the Supermax. Rudy Gobert's made one, which is why he got 200.
If the Bridges
trash,
contract is
bro.
$30 million, he got to go.
There's no way you bring him
You
back.
just go with I'd rather just
he's a
ride out
really
with
good
Gordon
scorer,
Hayward.
no
He ain't
doubt.
30
He's a
mil.
really
He
good
ain't
scorer,
30 mil.
but he
That's
benefits from playing with LaMelo because he knows how to feed him in trans.
So basically, before the season started, Miles Bridges turned down a 4-year, $60 million deal, which would be $15 million a year.
He turned.
I
down
would
15.
turn that down, too. That's
Yeah.
disrespectful.
We
as
saw
shit.
Duncan Robinson get 18. I'm turning that shit down.
Joe Harris
easy.
has 20.
That weak-ass contract.
But Joe Harris, bro,
Bertans got
he's a sniper.
17
he is
mil.
one of the
Yeah,
better.
sniper.
Yeah,
three-point
Bertans
shooters.
gets paid more than me. That's disrespectful. Fuck that contract.
How much is?
I think he's
Bertans?
like
Years.
I think 20
Stinky ass.
22
But the thing
mil
is, let's
the
be
most
real.
for him,
Bro. I
bro.
mean, he
Yeah, so if he asks him for 30,
Okay,
he's
and right
violating.
now he's expected to land a $173 million contract.
What's that, like 30?
Yo, that's nuts. Yes, that's Julius
about-
Randle money.
Nah, bro, I'm not giving him that. He could
Yeah,
walk.
nah, he could walk.
It's quiet.
Respectfully. You nice, but you ain't. And you doing lean.
Bro, he be bugging. And he had a blunt too. He's wildin'. I forgot about that.
$173 million over 5 years, so that's $34 million a year.
Oh, yeah, nah, bro, you out of here.
And
You're
Bro,
not
it's
really
really a
dedicated.
contract year, and he really
not
posted that
dedicated to the
himself.
game.
Nah, he's
bro.
wildin'. He
He's
be
like, bro, it's pink
rapping.
lemonade.
Nah.
I'm just like, bro,
He
you
said
are
pink. It's pink lemonade.
Yes,
Nah, he's
bro.
cap. He's cap.
Purple.
League personnel is a I just lost it here, but it says that league personnel expects the Hornets to match any offer for Miles Bridges.
A $34 million
$34 million
contract.
for a dunker.
He averaged 21.
Chill. He can shoot. Dunkers like
he's
that's
good,
rude.
but
That's
it's not
rude.
That's one of the decisions. The other one is in the draft. They have to hopefully land Jalen Duren or Mark Williams.
Jalen Duren is a grown ass
We'll pick it
man.
13.
13. They could get
They could
Duren
get
for
somebody
sure.
They can get somebody good.
If they get Duren, then they don't have to go and spend money on DeAndre.
Bridges
Ayton.
sharp.
Yeah. Damn, 34?
That's
He's
crazy.
wildin',
That's crazy.
bro.
He's not wilding.
He is wilding.
I mean, get your money, but he.
Get your money, but get your money. Not your.
Nah, he's trying to get the most bread he can get, though. I respect.
And the
it.
Hornets also have Gordon Hayward on a $30
To be
million
fair, I don't
deal.
even think anybody's giving him $34 million though.
You'll be
Pistons.
surprised. You'll
The
be surprised.
Blazers could.
Would though?
They have 2 max cap spots.
No, I'm saying like you think. Yo, let's build.
Imagine
Dame,
that's
let's
one,
go get
yeah.
Miles Bridges. I don't think so.
Not ideal.
It could be one though.
Anthony Simons
I
is
hope they
there
ain't that
already.
dumb.
It could be the Pistons.
I was gonna say the Pistons actually.
I hope they ain't that dumb either.
Houston maybe.
They got Jeremy Grant at the 4.
So you don't trust in Miles Bridges' development then? He just averaged 20 points per game.
I know.
So you don't think he's getting better than this?
Do you think this is him?
This is him. Is
I mean,
crazy.
he's not a bad
What's
player.
his defense like?
No, it's bad. It's bad. His defense
I mean,
is trash.
Everybody on the Hornets.
His defense is
I
horrendous.
just searched in Miles Bridges and Pink Lemonade came up. That's hilarious.
I don't. Nah, 34 is crazy to me. I wouldn't give it to him. He hasn't earned 34. And I
You
understand
saw
you pay
that
on the
rating,
development
right?
part, but
It's not, but it's like it's not great.
You're banking on him to.
pretty much, I wouldn't
Be
bank on.
great.
I'm cool off that. No,
Would you
that
give him-
money
would
to
you give him
Ayton
34?
instead of him?
hell no.
Well, given how the league is about to expand in 2 years, and given how the contracts are getting bigger and bigger, and the cap space is getting bigger and bigger because of TV deals,
So you're fine with it?
I'm not totally opposed to it. I mean, when you're a small market team, you have to give out these type of contracts to players.
Yeah, but to him,
And Gordon Hayward is probably leaving after next year. I think his contract is up, so
Still got Rozier's
You-
contract though.
yes, but
I like Rozier.
you need a core to build around. I feel like Hayward and Rozier aren't long-term building blocks.
Nope.
I think the long-term building blocks in Charlotte is LaMelo, Miles Bridges, and Buck Knight. Outside of that,
And
really, there's
PJ
no
Washington?
building blocks.
No,
Like
he's
PJ Washington is okay,
he's
but
mid.
like he's
He's
not
not-
really
yeah.
a building block.
no, he's not.
Like I think LaMelo and Bridges are both part of that building block for them.
I agree.
That they want to keep.
34 is a lot. It's a lot.
That's Zach LaVine money.
Do you think that Miles Bridges can be just as good as Jaylen Brown?
No.
You don't think it's a question?
Jaylen
At
Brown's
all.
defense has always been
Jaylen Brown's elite on defense.
really,
bro.
really.
so mad.
I know.
He just averaged
No,
25
let me
this
ask you
year.
that question.
I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
How old is Miles Bridges?
22. Jalen's like 25, 26. Something.
So you're putting the cap. This is him.
Oh, I don't just like. Come on.
I mean, Jaylen Brown.
And
I mean, we're
Jaylen
talking
Brown
about, so
still
wait,
can get better.
wait, but
'Cause
what do you
you-
think Jaylen Brown is? You think he's a top 20 player?
Miles Bridges is 24.
Oh,
they're the
nah,
same- they're
nah,
the
nah.
same.
He
I think
turns
about the
turns
same age.
25 next year.
Jaylen
though.
Brown's ceiling is an end of the line top 10 player.
Like 15.
10 to 12.
So I
there-
don't see Miles Bridges
so-
ever being that.
So you're saying he turns 25 at the end of this year?
at the
So
end of
they're-
next
so
year.
Oh, at the end of next
So
year.
they're
Okay, so
a
he's
year
a year.
apart,
He's
year
a
too
year
apart.
younger, and Jaylen Brown is
Significant.
Way
yes,
better.
like not even a question.
That's way better. Yeah.
Miles Bridges is in the top 30 NBA. Player.
Okay, well look at this.
Could he be a Chris Middleton?
If we compare their first 4 years,
you think
no, listen.
I'm listening.
Their first 4 years, Miles Bridges in his 4th year averaged 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and block a game basically. Shot 49% from the field and 33% from 3. Jaylen Brown's 4th season
With
in the
Kyrie and
NBA.
Hayward. Don't forget
No. This actually isn't with Kyrie. It's 2019. So I think that was
that was
Kemba.
Kemba
Okay.
and Hayward.
he averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 0.4 blocks, shot 48% from the field, 38%
He
from
was the
3.
4th option.
Third.
Third.
Tatum and Kemba were getting more touches than him that year.
Oh, why did I think was Hayward still on the team?
No.
In 2019, the team was Tatum, Kemba, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward,
was there.
Marcus Smart. But Jaylen Brown was,
Was
the
the fourth then.
option over him.
But it's still
though.
like somebody.
Oh, so then he
else.
was a third option then. Yeah.
Yeah, but still okay. So that's a stacked team. Okay, in terms of getting touches.
They were good.
And then we
Yeah, what are
just
we doing
saw.
here?
I'm just saying, Jaylen Brown's 5th season. That's when we saw him take that
Well-
4-point jump.
When they
He's
did the,
already
went from
but
3 to
a
2.
Big part of it
when they,
was
went-
his
yeah, when he
defense.
went when they did the more
Early in
less
his
thing.
development, we knew he was a really solid
Well, I'm saying
defensive
that-
player.
Why can't Miles Bridges next season average 24 a game?
But was it
is
gonna
that
be-
totally
but-
outside
but-
the
but
I
question?
think
Wait,
a lot of this is predicated off the defense.
No.
End of the
I
ball
think we're
too,
just
though.
looking at it number. Is it a meaningful 24 like Jaylen Brown's?
Well, this year his 20 was meaningful because they were 43 and 39.
And Jaylen Brown's was obviously more meaningful as in terms of what he's doing in the playoffs. Miles Bridges hasn't made the playoffs yet. Jaylen Brown has made about 4 ECFs already.
Oh,
In the
Charlotte,
finals.
he's been Charlotte hasn't been a good team.
I understand, but
They
Jaylen
have
Brown- Jaylen
right
Brown
now
has been
they
a
are
part
they
of
are in the
development.
midst they are in the midst of their largest playoff drought in franchise
But
history.
Jaylen
right
Brown
now.
has been a part of the development of Boston Celtics being
Correct.
a prime time
Celtics
contender.
weren't great before he
Yeah,
got
but
there.
I'm just saying.
If you switch spots, Jaylen Brown would be much better for Charlotte.
Definitely.
Do they still make the playoffs? Do they make
possibly?
the playoffs?
Yes.
Possibly.
I'm not too sure about that.
I mean,
I'll be honest.
Boston drops off with Miles Bridges. I'll tell you that.
Again, Jaylen Brown's the thing you're not taking into
he's
question is
just-
Jaylen Brown's defense. Like that's
You're not.
Look, I know
Jaylen
Jaylen
Brown's
Brown is an
straps.
exceptional defender,
He's a really
but
good
I'm
playoff
just saying,
player, too.
Straps.
it's not
he gets buckets.
Miles Bridges. I'm not saying Miles Bridges is like surpassing Brown.
Is Miles Bridges a top
but
40
he can
player
be a
to you right
similar
now?
player to
Yeah, is he
Jaylen Brown.
a top 40 player?
If
to you
we're
right now?
projecting to next season, I can say I am confidently saying I think he's top 40 player.
like
Miles
top-
Bridges
Do you-
fan right here.
Do you think?
I am just saying. I don't know why we're so low on
know-
Miles
do
Bridges.
I'm not even trying to-
Wait, so look,
do you think-
wait, he's a year younger. You said you're projecting he'll be top 40. Jaylen Brown's like top 20, so he's 20 spots lower than Jaylen Brown. He's a year younger.
Okay, do you think Jeremy Grant and Mikal Bridges are better than him?
This is
Do you think Jeremy Grant and Mikal Bridges are better than
comparing
No.
Danny
Miles
Granger
Bridges?
to Corey Maggette.
You
But
think they're
Jaylen-
better?
but the thing is, though,
You think Mikal and Jeremy Grant are better players than
He's saying
Miles
Mikal-
Bridges?
Mikal.
Oh, Bridges.
Mikal? Yeah.
He's such a weird player to
Nah,
analyze.
but for real, like, can we stamp say that he's better than them too, though?
he is better than them.
Because I feel like that's
I
his
don't know
tier.
if you can stamp
Better
like
than Jeremy?
100%.
Yes.
I feel like that's his tier, bro.
Come on.
That is
bro.
undoubtedly his tier.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's
undoubtedly
his
it's not.
tier.
That's
You
not.
think he's a
his
step
tier.
above them?
He is
He's a
above
tier
that.
above them?
Can I ask you a question? If he goes to
Jeremy
Jeremy Grant on a playoff team
Jeremy
is 12.
Grant-
Is averaging 12 a
Miles
game.
Bridges on a non-playoff team is 20.
They
What
made
is-
the play-in 43 and
They got
39.
smoked.
Yeah,
You
they
didn't
got
make the
smoked bad
They
all
playoffs.
time.
but they made the play-in.
So that's
and he
accomplishment.
averaged
They
20
have
points.
a lottery pick.
Jeremy Grant's
They have a lottery
Jeremy
pick.
Grant's averaging 18 on a bottom team in
They
the league.
They both have lottery picks.
But the Detroit Pistons were one of the worst teams in the
But
league.
they both have a lottery
and Grant
pick.
averaged 18.
They're lottery teams, bro. Whether you make the play or not,
Okay,
it's cool,
they're
but
a lottery team, but the difference, the Hornets are in the playing position.
They got
and
smoked
Detroit is at the
twice.
but Detroit's at the bottom of the
Bro, I'm not
barrel.
gonna lie, they're the same, bro.
They're the
Jeremy
same-
Grant's
they're
putting
the
a
same
22,
tier,
5, and
bro.
3, bro.
No,
And he's
bro.
a better
They're
defender
not-
than him.
they're
They're
not
like
the
the
same.
same,
So
bro.
what's the
They're not
difference
the
with
same,
Bridges
bro.
and
Bro, they're like the
with
same,
Miles and
Drew. They're
Mikal?
not the same, bro.
They are.
Miles is a significantly better offensive player than Mikal.
Really? Or is he just a better creator? Because Bridges is a much better shooter.
No, Bridges
He's
is a- no.
he clears
He's a
on
significantly
defense.
better
I can't say
offensive
Bridges
player.
is better because they bought Bridges. Miles Bridges is a better offensive player, I think.
Mikal
sure.
clears on defense.
Significantly.
What are we doing
Clears,
here? What are we doing here?
clears.
Well, of course. You asked
do
me
you mean, of course?
offensively. You asked me
No, I
offensively.
said- no, I
he
did
said a
not.
better player.
I
He
said
said a
better
better
he
player.
said
player.
offensively.
No, I didn't.
No,
Yes, you
no,
did.
no.
I
You
said
said,
better
what does he
player.
do better offensively? I said he's a
No, I
significantly.
said who's a better player, and you
said
said he's
yes.
a better offensive
I feel
player.
like
Correct.
that's his tier, bro. That
That is.
I
I
could
mean,
be-
Bridges-
He's above that. I think he's above that.
Wow.
What's
I do.
above that? What is? Isn't it an all-star?
Keep,
What
oh
is
my
the-
God.
what is
Am
the
I
step
going to
above
have to
that?
start
I
the
know.
Miles Bridges agenda?
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, is that,
Oh my God.
a step
agenda.
above that has to be like CJ
Low end-
McCollum.
low end, yeah, like
CJ McCollum. You think
is-
he's there
he's not
on
in that
CJ's
tier.
level?
He's
Hell
not
no.
Brandon
on
Ingram,
CJ's
low
level.
key.
What? No.
Brandon Ingram's tier 3.
Brandon is a
No,
tier
no,
above
no.
that. He's a-
Brandon,
he's a
Tier
tier
1.
Nah, Brandon Ingram's
What
top
are you
25.
doing?
Brandon Ingram's a tier 1 guy.
Your tier is insane.
No,
What are we doing here, bro?
not tier 1.
I don't know
Not
what
tier
you're saying
1.
to me.
No, all right. So you have
said
tier 1 guys. You have
Superstars is tier
No,
1.
Bridges-
Tier 2 is
the two
borderline
Bridges-
all-stars, borderline
no, look, the two
superstars.
Bridges
Tier
and
3 is
Jeremy
all-stars,
Grant-
role players.
So,
Tier
no,
4.
tier-
Tier 4 is look,
No, no,
what
no,
tier
no,
are
no.
right at?
Low end all-stars
Let me-
have their own tier.
Let me get this started
So
off.
was he a
because-
low-end all-star?
No, the Bridges in the Jeremy Grant tier, those are good player tier.
Yes.
That's a good
No,
player
that's
tier.
what I agree.
Up is low-end all-star.
With CJ McCollum.
Yeah, and
He's never made an all-star.
top-
but he's a low-end. You
from
still
like a low-end
talent-wise a
all-star, though.
low-end all-star.
From like
Also-
17 to 25. That's like tier 3. That's where Brandon Ingram is, in my opinion.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I
Also,
don't think he's on, I don't think he's on Brandon Ingram's tier.
Can we also be fair to Miles Bridges? Because when Jaylen Brown averaged 20 points per game in his 4th season, you mentioned all the offensive options like Tatum and Gordon Hayward
Kemba.
and Kemba. But the Hornets have LaMelo, Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre. Montrezl Harrell came in midseason. They have a lot of offensive options too.
Is Harold
Did you just
It's not-
compare them to
offensive?
Kyrie Irving?
No,
I mean,
Kemba.
No, Kemba Walker. LaMelo is better now than that Kemba Walker.
Nah, he is.
What are we
I mean,
talking
He
about?
is better, but LaMelo is a playmaker.
He's way more of a
Kemba's
playmaker.
scoring
Terry
guard.
Rozier, this version is better than that Kemba.
You're
19
doing
points
better
per
than
game.
that.
This Gordon Hayward's better than that.
you're
Gordon
looking
Hayward
at it
coming
wrong.
off an
You're
injury.
You're looking at it wrong. I understand why you're looking at it wrong.
It's
LaMelo's
really Tatum, the one that clears.
No. LaMelo's a play-making point guard. He's going to pass the ball. Kemba is a scoring guard. He's looking to go get a bucket. It's a
it's true.
different playing.
I know
with
what you're saying,
LaMelo
but-
feeds Miles Bridges, bro. That's what he does.
He has a lot of
Miles
transition
eats a
points.
lot
He
because
feeds-
of
He has a
eats
lot of
because
transition
of
points,
LaMelo.
though. He
He
scores
eats
a
a
lot
lot
of
because of
transition
LaMelo.
points.
Why are we arguing about Mr. Lehman? Like, why are we doing this here, bro?
But I'm
He's a
also
good
saying
player.
that what you're missing the point though.
Can he be an all-star?
The point. Yes, he can be an all-star.
Oh my
He can be an all-star.
You're reaching.
Yes, he can be an all-star.
No, he can't.
Why can't he be an all-star?
Be.
Why can he?
De'Aaron
'Cause
Fox is
because
De'Aaron Fox going to be an all-star?
in the West? Hell no.
So can
Hell
he
no.
ever?
That's in the
Miles
West.
is a forward in the East.
He's
In the
never
East,
touched an
jump
all-star
the
game
forwards.
ever
You
in my
don't,
life.
hold up.
Huh? What?
You don't think he can make an all-star over like Siakam? He can have a better
No.
season.
Siakam
he's
just
not
put up
better
a
than
smooth
Siakam.
23
Bro,
threes.
Miles
not
Bridges
better
can
than
have a
Siakam.
better season.
Bro,
than him,
no.
I
You're
swear
trolling.
he
You're
can.
trolling.
No, I'm being dead serious.
trolling, bro.
I am being dead serious.
Can't be that
No.
serious.
Yes, I'm being dead serious.
Yo, how about let me? You know, I'm not
You
even
gonna say
ask.
Chris Middleton?
No,
I
I'm
did?
not. No, I'm not gonna ask.
But you're missing the point. The point is that the Hornets had a shitload of offensive options. They had
They also-
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They had 7 people average double figures.
Gordon got hurt also.
Gordon got hurt, but he played 49 games.
Yo,
nothing.
Rev, 25 points per game season Sexton or this guy? Is that the
Who the
tier
hell
he's
is this
in?
guy?
Miles Bridges.
Yeah, they're the same player.
That's what I'm saying.
They're good.
So
They're
it's
good
all-
players. They're nothing more. Nothing more.
Context included.
Nah,
on, bro.
He used to violate when I used to say Dinwiddie, LeVert. Call him a regular player.
Who?
Miles Bridges. He's a regular player.
He's a regular player. He's
I
good.
bet.
Like he's cool. Like 20 is cool. You dunk, highlights, flashy, cool. You don't guard anybody.
Is he better than Desmond Bain?
No.
No.
I'm just asking. Why are you
I'm
mad?
sorry,
It's
bro.
just more to him.
Yeah.
Is he
You
better
asked
than
the
Desmond
question.
Bain, Joel?
Yes, he's better than Desmond Bain.
They're the same tier.
Desmond
They're the same
Bain
tier.
can fit more teams because of what he offers as a floor
I wonder
spacer.
why.
But Miles
He a better
Bridges is the
defender.
better player. Like if I were to pick between one to lead my team, like if I had to pick one,
You wouldn't
gun-
pick either.
If I had to pick one, gun to my head, who do you want to start a franchise with? I'm going with Miles Bridges over Desmond
You're
Bain.
gonna pick the dude that LaMelo feeds all day, as opposed to the other dude.
Well,
who's
that's
shown
funny
without
because
Ja Morant.
actually that's
He can
funny
get one.
because right here I have that Miles Bridges without LaMelo Ball this season averaged 22, 7, and 6.
So a point more. A point more.
What about Desmond Bain without Ja Morant though?
He averaged.
What
But
about
that's because they had
Yeah,
mad
what about
offensive options.
Desmond
That's
Bain?
what I'm telling you.
What about Desmond Bain without
Morant,
John Moran? Because the Grizzlies won a lot of games without
He
him.
averaged. I swear to God, he averaged 18. I will guarantee you money. He
Nah,
did.
you say you swear to
I
God,
don't
it's
know.
crazy.
I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna want to ask to make sure I don't say.
You
nothing
better
dumb.
hope that you're right, because if God strikes us down right now and be sick,
Us. God aims.
bro. Desmond Bain, come on.
He
bro.
averaged 19, 4, and 3
You got it.
in his
I
second.
didn't know his
No,
numbers
not
that
in
far
his
off, bro.
second
in
year.
23 games.
In his
It's not that-
second
it's not that
year,
far, bro.
In second year he's doing this,
I can't believe we're arguing about
and he's
Miles
great
Bridges.
defensively. I
So
know.
look, so Miles Bridges without LaMelo this past season averaged 22, 7, and 6.
How many
And
games?
shot. It was a let me
7
see.
games.
7 games. LaMelo's healthy. What can I say?
Nah, weak ass.
He shot 57, but he shot 57% from the field and 42% from 3. Now
That's
great.
elite.
in
That's
thir-
great.
in
That's good.
33
You can have a good
this
little
year, 33 games without Gordon Hayward, he averaged 26 and 4. So not only is
Gordon Hayward.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward missed a
He
good
gets
amount
more
of games.
touches
Yeah.
than Gordon
So
Hayward.
he averaged 20 with Gordon, without Gordon, 20 with.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he
no,
stays.
no,
you know.
I
Wait,
thought you said he
you're-
averaged
you're
25.
confused.
You
I'm
said 25.
No, I said 20.
Oh, yes, I'm
25 and 5.
20.5, 6.6 rebounds,
Ah,
2.8
okay,
assists.
okay.
But you know what? You're also sleeping on Miles Bridges' playmaking ability. Without
I'm
LaMelo, he
sleeping.
averaged 6 assists.
I'm not sleeping on anything.
He's an all-around player. He can rebound, he can assist, he
guard?
can get
I
to the
didn't know
basket.
that.
He
His
can't-
defense-
no, he cannot guard. He can't guard. He
He's
can't guard.
athletic enough to guard.
He can't.
Don't give me that athletic.
if he
bro.
wants- if he wants to put the effort, he can guard.
Yeah.
Athletic. No,
Man,
He can't guard,
I swear,
bro.
Y'all just be talking. Y'all just be
guard,
talking.
bro. He's not
Y'all
a good
just be
defender.
talking.
He's athletic enough to do it. That's funny as hell.
Don't give me that, bro.
I'm actually like
Does he do it?
I'm not gonna laugh at that because that's pretty true of some
I
players.
understand, but
though.
does he do
Yo,
it?
you know who we were saying that about before?
Wiggins
He did.
for 5-6 years. He's athletic enough to guard, but does he do it?
Wiggins?
No. That's what I said. But then
No,
that's
that
what
was
you're
he
saying.
couldn't guard in
We
Minnesota.
were saying that for the majority. He's athletic enough. He should be guarded.
And now he's one of the best
Oh,
defenders.
now
so
he's
that's
an
what I'm saying
elite
with Bridges.
wing
Does he
defender.
do it? No.
But so he can.
You can't tell me that. I have to
But
see
why
it.
though?
You have to see it because
I'ma
Wiggins
see
showed
it.
us.
I got to see.
Come on, bro.
Wiggins showed.
Nah, he did though.
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just
Wiggins showed us
saying.
Miles Bridges can jump out the roof.
Listen,
yeah,
they
but
said
he
the
has
same.
fat
They said the
penguin
same
feet.
thing about Tatum, right? Oh, he needs to get better on defense.
Also,
Tatum's always been a good
You
defender.
know-
Not
bro.
always.
No, he always has.
Not
Tatum
always.
is
Coming
cold.
out of college too.
Tatum's
Also,
always been a
Miles
good
Bridges
defender.
isn't a bad defender, bro. You're just saying that because you think it. He's actually a good defender.
His defensive rating is average.
no,
is it?
of course, because the Hornet,
It's
everybody's
horrible. You're right.
defense rate on Hornets is going to be
First of all,
bad.
First of all, you know
No,
what's
but it's
sad? You know
114.
what's sad about
It
what
was
you just said?
114.
You didn't know what his defense was until you looked up some numbers, and then you said,
No, I
this is
didn't
what
look
the
up some
defense was.
numbers.
You
It's
did.
just since his position changed, he switched from small forward to front court.
Yeah.
He's been a significantly improved defender.
Yeah, you just because you looked up some numbers.
Okay, so
You didn't answer my question
well,
until you looked up some
that's a
numbers.
smart thing to do. When I'm not sure, I look it
I
up.
don't disagree.
Unlike
I don't
you
disagree.
saying
How?
he's not a good defender.
But he's not a great defender.
You just
No,
told me
he's really not that good on defense,
Okay,
though. He's
but
not
you
anything
just
to
you
rate
called
him,
you
though.
basically called him a cone.
No,
that's not what he did.
He basically called him a cone.
No, he said Kenny guard.
Asked you Kenny guard. I not asked him. I said Kenny guard.
He's not a great defender.
You said he couldn't guard.
You
said he couldn't guard.
You telling us that you've been watching Bridges.
Can I ask you a question?
I asked you Kenny guard.
Tell me how he's a good defender. Because the stats you're reading, what stats are impressing you right now?
Yeah,
okay, let me tell you. It's this.
Who has he locked up? No,
it's this article from Hoops Hype that says that.
What's the date?
It's 2021. In
last year, not this year.
Month?
Yeah.
Joel is funny. He's athletic enough to guard.
He
Joel
is
funny as hell, bro.
So
His defensive rating this season was 114.
Bro, defensive rating is not a individual
you can look
stat.
up numbers, so can he, man.
It's not an individual stat. It's
But
a
that's what I'm
team
saying.
stat.
All right, give me the stats. I'm giving you the one that I had.
I mean, you just told us Ayton could fix that, so.
I like Ayton a lot, though. Respect. Throw some respect on his name, please.
If they get Ayton,
Can
they're
you-
making the
Mr.
playoffs.
Number 1 pick.
Right?
Yo,
Mr.
they get
Stinky.
Ayton, they're making the playoffs.
If they get Ayton, I think they could hit a 7.
They get
Better than Atlanta.
Ayton's putting up 20
They
and
could
10
be.
with them.
Trey Young.
Okay. LaMelo.
Ayton clears Young.
Stop. Trey clears.
Ayton clears Young, bro.
No.
Now,
Ayton, Young clears. LaMelo
Oh my
Ball.
God, clears right now, but bro,
Easily.
I'll be honest.
They're
I'll
close
be
in
honest.
age. I know.
I
I know.
most what do you know? You know what? What am I
I know
going to
they
say?
look bad. I know they look bad.
No, they're not bad. It's just for defense. It's
Let's go. You gotta go for what
look.
you watch.
No, this I'm about to say something important. So
watch it,
listen
man.
up.
you know,
and take
guys,
notes.
you know what? Everyone, shut up.
Listen up and take notes. When it comes to defense and talking about defense with players, a lot of it is about reputation. And if a player gets labeled as a bad defender, that reputation sticks with them for a while. Like, for example, Luka Doncic before this season and last season was known as a bad defender. A lot of people still know him as that. But if you look at the film,
playoffs?
he's a good defender. Luka's a significantly improved
He's had
defender.
Wait, does defensive-
But guess what? I can't tell you that in stats. It's just something you have to watch in the film. That's why I can't. There's no stat that measures how good somebody is defensively. That's why I can't just
Why
give you.
defensive rating is like the only thing.
No,
you could
defensive
really
rating is a flawed stat.
He's
to
right.
use
I
for
can't
that.
look up defensive field goal percentage and look at what Miles Bridges has. And
what is
tell
it?
you
What is it?
60% in less than 6 feet, 57%
Nah,
in
that's
less
quiet,
than
bro.
10
He gets
feet, and
cooked.
36% from the 3-point line.
Nah, he gets cooked.
So he's allowing a pretty.
Nah, he gets cooked. He
But
gets cooked. He
I
gets
do
cooked.
understand
He
what you're
gets cooked. He
saying.
gets
Defense
cooked.
is really a watching thing.
60% is what?
At
less
the
than
rim.
6 feet. That's pretty much at the rim.
No. But like, what's the average league average for that? Because 60%, like 60%, that's basically saying somebody making a layup on you is a coin toss. That's pretty good.
A little
No,
bit better.
50%
A little
is
bit
A little bit better, yeah. But that's pretty good.
10% better.
Let me look at the average.
Yeah, like
And
you
you
know,
say
what
there's
is
an
Rudy Gobert? It's like
Nah.
I think in the 40s.
Nah,
Bro.
it
Rudy's-
probably is, but
Rudy's
he's
is
an
in the
elite
40s.
level defender. Like
I mean, he's 20 spots from Rudy Gobert. If
20
Rudy's in the
yeah,
40s,
20%.
Rudy probably in the 30s.
He might be.
Yeah, Rudy. I heard Rudy's all time great at protecting her.
Hell
I hate
yeah.
him though. He's so trash to me though.
It's because he's boring. That's
dumb
really all
whack.
that it is.
yeah.
I don't like bro.
His game is boring, I should say.
Let's get off this topic though and talk about the.
So are you
Brooklyn
pushing
Nets.
this Miles Bridges agenda?
No, I am. Next show, I'll be more prepared to talk about
Okay,
it.
here we
Bridges.
go.
Yeah,
Alright,
you know what?
man.
I'm gonna make a film analysis on this just so.
You're gonna be
look. If
screwed.
I'm
Send it to
look,
me.
I'll be honest. If I'm wrong about Miles Bridges defensively, I'll admit it.
Just make
but
put it in the film analysis.
but if he's actually a good defender, I want you to apologize.
I got you.
I want you to be the first one to apologize.
that's one thing. We apologize.
I
You
just think
don't
I
apologize.
apologize all the
I've
time.
never heard you
What are
apologize.
you
One
talking
time
about?
you
What do
apologized,
is
and you
hear
said it was
it
the
and you
biggest.
be like, that's not what I said. And then you start hitting up this.
Yo,
if you
he's
are right,
exposing
if you
you.
are right, I will apologize.
No,
on live.
Didn't
I
I
will
write an apology to Bulls fans?
And that's what I said.
And
That's
you
the one
flipped on
time you
it.
ever did, and you said it was the worst mistake you ever made in
That
your
was your
life.
only apology in life. But I got you. If you find some Miles Bridges stuff, from what I've seen, and it's not a lot, but from what I've seen, he gets cooked.
He's hilarious,
religiously.
though.
But the whole
Yeah, me
team,
too. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, he gets
team
fried.
gets
I
cooked.
do think you guys are underrating Miles Bridges though.
The
In
whole
terms
team
of what?
gets cooked.
What
As a
if-
player?
Like maybe I don't think he's worth $35 million. Like
That's
that's a
what I'm
lot.
at. That's
Jaylen
all
Brown's
that it
getting
was.
paid $28 million.
Yes,
but
like-
then again, if Jaylen Brown was up for contract right now, he'd get that. He'd get more.
He might
than
get
that.
more.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Miles Bridges.
I think Bridges 22,
let's
23
not
million is good for him.
I just don't. Let's not act like he's capped out. He can go next. He can next year. He can go and average 23,
He's
24
a
game.
$23 million dude.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he's not a 30. Nah.
35. No, not 35. 35 is a lot of money, bro.
Imagine his agent come up to me, 35.
His agent is Rich Paul.
I'm gonna look at him like, what?
Now we have to
a
throw
good
respect
agent.
on him. All right.
Nah, Rich Paul be wildin'.
But you think he's better than Grant, though, right? For sure.
Grant, who?
Jeremy Grant?
Hell yeah, he's better than Jeremy Grant. Come on,
Even
Oh, bro, I don't
Jeremy
know.
Grant is such a
what?
whatever
about to
player.
violate.
I mean, what is Bridges?
He's not a whatever player. He's a human highlight reel.
I knew it.
Yo, he said Jeremy
So
Grant's
because
such
he
a
really can
whatever
do some
player.
crazy things in the air.
Well, he's a better playmaker than Jeremy Grant. He's
don't
the
disagree.
same rebounder, and he's a better scorer. Jeremy Grant
Isn't
scores because
necessarily-
he's on the worst team in the NBA.
Jeremy Grant averaged 22.
The only scoring options on the Pistons is Cade and him. There's nobody else in score.
I can't say that. Who's the only other? Because the Hornets have
The Hornets have like
they
7 guys.
7 is crazy.
PJ Washington, Kelly
no,
Oubre, LaMelo Ball,
no.
Terry Rozier,
Yes,
Gordon
yes.
Hayward, Montrezl Harrell.
No, they do have more
Stop
scoring
with the
options.
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell is nice, bro. Let's not act like he can't get his
Don't
own
put him
bucket.
in as a bucket, though.
He could get his own
He's not
bucket.
a
Don't
though.
put him in
He's
as a
not a
bucket, though.
bucket.
Those other guys
What
you
do
need
you
to
mean?
affirm, though.
All right,
Montrezl Harrell would be the third best scorer on the Pistons.
That's not saying much, though.
I know. That's
Sadiq
right.
Bey?
Now, he's not a better
He's
scorer.
a better scorer than Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is
Sadiq Bey had a 50 ball this year.
Come on, bro.
Sadiq Bey had a 50 ball.
Montrezl Harrell is a better scorer than Sadiq Bey.
Sadiq Bey had a 50 ball this year.
Stop.
Sadiq Bey.
All right, let's go to the
Sadiq
next
Bey had a
topic.
50
Next
ball.
topic. Next topic. Next topic.
Sadiq
Next
Bey
topic.
3 and
Montrezl Harrell.
Next topic.
Those are
Next topic.
6'5"
Next
big
topic.
man.
Next topic.
Get out of here, man.
Bro
Next
can't dribble.
topic.
Sadiq averaged
Can't
16.
shoot.
And he had a 50 ball.
See, they made tough, boy. You sleep.
You are asleep. You're asleep.
Miles Bridges is
You're
significantly
asleep.
better than him.
Sadiq Bey will be better than Miles Bridges. I swear to God in my life. Sadiq Bey will be better than Miles
Let's
Bridges.
see about
Sadiq Bey is nice.
Sadiq Bey
I
will
like
be
Sadiq
better.
Bey.
And I'm locked in on
He's the
that.
next Robert Covington.
We can get back to that in a
Sadiq
couple
Bey
years.
is just as old as Miles
Okay.
Bridges.
I don't care.
He's
That's
just as old
even
as
more.
him.
That's
That's
even
the-
more even comparison.
Now we here. He gonna be better.
On to the next
He's a
topic.
way better shooter.
The Brooklyn Nets have some tough decisions to make. Are they going to bring back
at this
Kyrie
team.
Irving? What's the future of their
Sick of
team?
this team.
JC, you haven't talked about the Nets since you've been on the podcast. So this is your opportunity to just vent about everything your team has done to this point, the playoff disappointment. The floor is yours to talk about the Nets.
Okay, so what's the question again about Kyrie Irving? Should we extend him?
do you think he should come back? Should the Nets bring him back?
Man, Kyrie Irving has the Nets in such a dilemma / chokehold right now, to be honest with you. Because essentially, if you trade him, you run or let him walk, you run the risk of losing Kevin Durant, and he's probably the sole reason that Kevin Durant is there right now. And then another thing that you punt away is your championship aspirations if you were to give up Kyrie Irving as well. The Brooklyn Nets, first year they were together, it was a redshirt year for Kevin Durant coming off an Achilles. Kyrie Irving essentially ended up playing 20 games that year. And that was just a throwaway year. Every Nets fan knew that was a throwaway year. The next year, Kyrie Irving was one of the most healthiest seasons that Kyrie Irving played. I believe he played about...
It's one of his best seasons also.
No, that probably is his best season
the 50,
ever.
40, 90?
The 50-40-90, he was available. If he didn't take off those a week or 10 days, he would have been probably cracked close to 65, 66 games, which is like unheard of for Kyrie Irving because he's a really injury-prone player.
He played 71 in Cleveland.
Yeah,
And 75.
that's an anomaly.
And 67 in Boston.
So, as far look,
He must hate Brooklyn.
That's quiet. It's quiet. But anyways, so I mean, look with Kyrie Irving, like I said, if you let him walk, you run the risk of losing Kevin Durant, and then you're essentially punting your championship aspirations. It's been difficult for the Nets because the second year, I do believe, you guys can get mad at me all you want, I do believe if the big three were healthy, I do believe they would have beat the Bucks and ran through the East and beat the Suns in the finals.
Are we talking about 2 seasons
No.
ago,
But this is
JC?
not a debate. You guys think what you want. I think what I think.
That man said.
All right. So then last year, obviously the vaccine mandate messed him up, which is another reason he missed about 80% of the season. In the games that he did play this season, he averaged 27 points on 46%, 47% field goal shooting on 42% from the three. So he was good.
And then he hit the playoffs.
And then hit the playoffs and was bad against Boston. But my only thing is the Nets, it's crazy because every year they've had something going against them, whether it be one year, the redshirt Kevin Durant season where we punted it away, Kyrie only played 20 games. The second season when we were all intact going into the playoffs, catastrophic injuries happened to Kyrie Irving and James Harden. We lose that series. Then this year, the vaccine mandate and everything, the roster construction, everything was bad. James Harden leaving in the middle of the season. Now you have a chance to add Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving. Joe Harris missed last year as well too. He's a great shooter, solid defender too. We missed him. He's a great shooter. Don't even disrespect him though.
Bro, he's
he was
amazing.
shooting. He was shooting. Now you making faces because he was shooting 46% leading
Yeah,
the
then
NBA.
he drops off in the playoffs and becomes stinky.
It's fine though, but it's fine. We got Seth
That's
Curry
true,
for that.
'cause against
we
the
got,
Bucks, bro, he
we
was
got Seth Curry.
ass.
Yeah, he's the reason we lost. But I mean, to be honest with you, I think that you have to sign Kyrie Irving. I think that you have to give it a shot. I think you have to put all your chips in on this season. I think you have to put your chips in for Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Joe Harris, everybody coming back being healthy. The Nets also have 2 first-round picks and a couple like a Nick Claxton, solid young players that you can trade to. a team like Detroit and hopefully pry someone like a Jeremy Grant. Obviously, that's just a big what if.
Miles Turner's
good too. I like him. So there's a lot of options for the Nets. So I'm of the mindset that you have to bring Kyrie Irving back, because if you don't, essentially you're going to lose Kevin Durant. And let's just say you lose Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Who are we stuck with as our building block? Ben Simmons and a bunch of just nobodies. Let's just be honest. Just call it what it is. We're a bunch of nobodies. So I think the Nets have to get more. I think the Nets have to get more defensive depth as well. Ben Simmons is definitely going to fix that, but I think a role player too, a 3-and-D wing. Hopefully Claxton takes a leap. If not, hopefully we can ship him for Miles Turner. But I think you just your misfortune the first 3 years, whether it be the injuries the first 2 years and the vaccine mandate, team chemistry all being messed up. I think that this is the last chance for the Brooklyn Nets to make a push for the championship. It sucks that the Eastern Conference, as we know, used to be bad. Now it's just as good as the Western Conference, so it's not going to be a cakewalk like it was supposed to be the first year or the second year when they was all healthy. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition. But yeah, I think that you have to sign Kyrie Irving. He has you in a chokehold right now. You don't want to lose Kevin Durant. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you still have aspirations. I mean, you're deep into the luxury tax. You just have to go all in. This is your last chance to win a championship with this 3. You trade for Ben Simmons. It'd be a shame if you don't at least give this 3 a try with everybody hopefully being healthy. But I'm of the mindset that we have to give Kyrie Irving this contract. He has us in chokehold, and if we don't sign him, Kevin Durant's gone, and then everything's just gonna go downhill. We don't even control our own destiny or have our own picks. We have a lot of pick spots for Houston. So if I'm a Nets fan, I think we go all in this year. If we don't win, it's life. We get rid of all of them. But you have to give it one more chance. You have to go.
You want to go, bro?
You have to give it a shot.
Yeah, okay.
And don't disrespect, because Ben Simmons is like that.
You know,
Wait, that's your man's, bro. You better.
No,
Your
so
man's
I
better
didn't
not.
laugh.
Your
I
man's
didn't
better
laugh.
not be trash.
I didn't
bro.
laugh.
I'm a
When
good
you said Ben
I had
Simmons, I
no
didn't laugh.
I don't
idea.
even like Ben.
I had no idea like this show we were gonna get into this Miles Bridges thing. So
He's still
I
on
quickly
there.
just
No, bro. Come on. We're on the Nets.
This is gonna take
No,
30
bro,
seconds.
come on,
This is gonna take 30
man.
seconds. He had a better defensive field goal percentage than Jeremy Grant, Scotty Barnes, Dorian Finney-Smith, and he's actually right with Dylan Brooks, 45.3% defensive field goal percentage.
So
I think those guys guard better players though on opposing
He also
nights.
has a better defensive field goal percentage than Mikal Bridges. Not saying he's a better defender.
He's not a better defender than any of those
All
guys
right,
you
bro.
just named.
So I don't know if this is.
No, but I'm just saying that's like the stat. You know, I didn't know I was.
where'd you find
supposed-
this?
no, but
NBA.com.
But you have to look who he guards every
we
night.
can easily debunk that by saying Bridges guards the best player every night.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Mikal.
Oh, I
Mikal.
thought Miles Bridges.
Miles
no.
doesn't. Dylan
Okay.
Brooks also.
Yes,
Scotty Barnes also
That's what I'm
as
saying.
a rookie. The Jeremy Grant one, I can't.
I still
defend
think
that.
Jeremy Grant's a better defender than
Well,
him.
what I'm saying is that that's still a good defensive field goal percentage.
Oh, when you're guarding nobody. Okay, interesting.
Miles
Third and
Bridges.
fourth
I mean, you don't
options?
know if Miles Bridges is guarding nobody.
See what I'm saying?
Who do they stick on? What player on the Hornets do they stick on the best player?
I doubt it's Miles.
Well, you would do it? Rozier would be the guy.
I think
LaMelo would be the guy.
I think LaMelo.
Gordon Hayward would be the
LaMelo
guy.
just go up
LaMelo
and
might
match
be the
up.
best defensive player.
I think
I don't
just
think
go
they
up and
stick him
match
on the
up.
best
That's
I think
player.
they
not
match up and
I
just
think
go.
Gordon Hayward goes on the best player,
Yeah, I
bro.
think they just say whatever. We're not going to guard anyway.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that's just a stat to show that at least defensive field goal percentage wise, he is good.
Really, that's interesting.
Yes,
It's funny how you had to look that up instead of just telling us what the back of your mind.
I didn't know we were
Still
going to
do
get into
that
Miles
film
Bridges
analysis,
debate.
though.
Yeah,
Still
I
do
didn't know
that
we were
film
going to get
analysis.
into Miles Bridges debate.
We didn't know
If I
either,
see
bro.
him guarding
Alright.
Max Struss and these other guys who don't mean anything,
Can we
I'm
talk
gonna
about
be
the
like,
Nets,
fake tight.
please? Let's
Go
talk
ahead.
about the Nets.
JC.
Oh man. Oh man.
Bro, I'm sick. I'm sick. You were not here when y'all got swept.
I'm happy I was.
You missed.
Nah,
I missed you.
I caught a brunt of it everywhere I went.
missed
though.
you, bro.
I work with like a bunch of Celtics fans. I ain't hear that. I still don't hear the end of it.
Should the Nets bring back Kyrie? Of course. You know, I think that's duh. You know,
Have
Kyrie's
to.
he's still a great player. You know, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, they haven't played together.
Joe
You know,
Harris.
you still got to bring some guys, and then you know, you still got Joe Harris, Seth Curry. You got some spacing. Drummond, I feel like you guys should try to bring him
He
back.
doesn't want to come back.
Well, there's that.
I'm
Claxton
not-
is
he
still
might,
a
though.
good young player. Cam Thomas is still cool. Kessler Edwards, he's shown signs. He's okay, maybe. You got another pick, so you can probably bring in somebody who's more NBA ready, you know, maybe a vet in college.
Yo, real quick, I'm just throw this out there. The Rock Never Stop said that this guy Kessler Edwards could be Miles Bridges. That's all I'm gonna say. Mikal Bridges, pardon me.
So like I was saying,
Dumbest
'cause
thing
that
I've
was
ever
dumb.
heard.
The Nets are.
Crazy.
Can you guys
Bro,
compete for a
He really
championship?
said that, bro.
I think so. Ben Simmons is under contract. Kevin Durant is under contract. If you sign Kyrie, he's under contract. So you have those guys for the next 2-3 seasons. So you always have the opportunity to possibly compete for a championship. It really just depends on Kyrie's health, Kevin Durant's health, and
Availability.
who's the rest of the guys
Ben
on the
Simmons'
squad.
availability too, because that's been in question.
Yep, but it's like it's really everything that happens to you guys is a lot of internal stuff. You know, Kyrie's whole vaccine stuff, Ben Simmons not playing, Kevin Durant getting hurt, Kyrie getting hurt. You know, it's a lot of internal stuff. But I do think that the Nets have a chance to make the championship. Still, I do think these.
Championship?
I think they have a chance.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I still think when you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie, I still think you have a chance. So I think they will go. Like I wouldn't pick them, but they have a chance.
We have a puncher shot.
The thing is, I would agree with you if KD and Kyrie
Excuse me.
played well and still lost. You understand what I'm saying? Because then maybe
I mean, outside of the Celtics, I don't think any of the defense was going to do that to them in the East. To be fair, I don't think Miami's defense was doing that.
Me
to them.
neither.
I don't
I
think
think the
Bucks defense
Celtics, they
was
just
doing
ran
that
into
to
a
them.
very
I don't think
elite
Philly.
defense.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God!
disagreeing.
I don't think Philly's defense was doing that to them either. So I think that was just a bad matchup.
Kyrie was bad.
Very bad
KD
matchup.
was
I think-
bad for the first couple.
I think
No,
that
KD was
just a-
bad for every game except the last one.
I think
I
that
thought he
just
was
a-
decent game 3 also.
I thought
No,
it was
he
just
was
a
bad
was
outside
it
of
three-
game one.
Game 4,
No,
he
game
had
4.
37. That was his
Oh,
only
you're
good
right.
game.
Game
Talk about
four,
KD,
no, game
KD,
one.
KD, talk about KD. Talk about
No,
KD.
talking about KD.
Yeah,
KD.
no, Kyrie was great
Yeah, I
game
think
1 and after.
if they fill out the roster, they can still be a competitive.
It was still a
ass
close
team in-
series.
in-
Oh, every game was close. Go ahead.
The excuses, though.
Come on, bro. What did I say that was an excuse,
You
though?
got to stop with the hypotheticals, the if this, if that. Oh, we would have won if this guy
Rib,
was hurt.
you
this
don't
guy
think
was
we would've
injured.
won if we
It
was all
doesn't
healthy?
Matter. We're 2 years in. The Bucks have a chip. It doesn't
No,
matter.
no.
It doesn't
I hear
matter.
it's a fact.
You guys got to look at yourselves.
No, but that ties into my Nets point. I think no. I said they've had a lot of misfortune happen. I said the first year KD redshirted. The second year when the big three was, they all went down with catastrophic injuries. Game 2 and in the season 3.
What's
Kyrie
misfortune
misfortune-
about KD going
no, but
over
also
8 in the overtime?
over 6.
What's
Misfortune
I'm
also-
not blaming him, bro. He had 49 that
But
game,
misfortune
bro. It's not his
also
fault.
is a synonym of an excuse.
No, but then again, you know what I will say that will help your points? We signed
was
these
no
guys.
helping our
No. We signed these guys knowing that this was a possibility to happen with the injuries.
true.
So,
You
I'll
went
leave
on.
it
You
at
went
that.
on. You went on a ceiling for sure, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But are you're still going, bro? I'm sorry.
I mean, it's like signing Kyrie's the obvious move, but like
What else is there to do?
I literally
Who can
my
we
notes.
replace him?
My
Where's he
notes
gonna go?
are exactly that. What are your other options?
where's he
Outside
gonna
of-
go?
Maybe, not bringing back
Kyrie for
Kyrie,
Dame?
trading him. Maybe just getting Miles Bridges, man. Get a significantly better defense.
The market is low, surprisingly, for a star like Kyrie.
Who wants him though?
Exactly.
Even
I
if
was
it
actually
high.
I was actually reading this article on Hoops Habit by Jack Simone. Well, I think he also writes for Enjoy Basketball. Shout out to them. And he did a trade that would involve Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Maxi Kleba, and picks to the Nets for Kyrie Irving.
KD's gone.
I actually think that Nets team is better.
No,
Wait, what'd you
I'm
say?
saying,
What-
but
what'd you
KD's
say?
gone.
Jalen Brunson, Finney-Smith, and Kleba
KD's gone.
for Kyrie. I
I
think
think if
that
Kyrie-
Nets team is better.
I agree with you, but I think if Kyrie leaves, KD's gone. That's just me.
Fake,
though.
I think so,
KD's.
But then again,
wanted to-
KD did sign a
K-
5-year
K-
extension.
KD,
Brunson, 20-point per game scorer.
KD went to Brooklyn just to play with Kyrie. I personally don't think he cares about the winning aspect.
Dorian
of it all.
Finney-Smith.
I think he just wants to go play basketball with Kyrie and play hoops. If Kyrie leaves, I don't see why he stays in Brooklyn. Honestly,
And that's really what I was saying too. Is if you're gonna let Kyrie walk, then that's
You're
it.
punting
You
it.
go. You really laid it out perfectly. You let Kyrie walk. You have to trade KD following that, and you basically have to go into full rebuild. You're
With no picks.
Your two options.
Well, a lot
get
of pick swaps.
but you
KD
get
back.
but you'll get picks for KD.
and Ben.
Oh, that's a smart thing
Yes,
to do. Yeah.
and you're probably signing
Very
trade.
smart.
You're probably signing trade Kyrie also.
So you get some picks.
Your two options are you either bring back Kyrie and you try to run it back with this roster,
Or be
or you completely rebuild. There's no in between because there's no way that I see KD playing with someone out that's not Kyrie Irving next season.
Yeah, me neither. I agree.
Because I can't see a world where KD wants Ben Simmons to be his number 2.
I want to know because I want you to speak on this a little bit more. What's the like? You're gonna re-sign Kyrie. I think that's pretty obvious.
We're just playing hardball with him right now.
How do you fix what happened to you guys against Boston? Like, what do you think are the keys to that?
Dorian
Like,
Finney-Smith.
You need defenders. That's essentially what he's saying. You need defenders
yeah,
that can shoot.
guys
You need
like
3
that,
and D
like-
players.
We need.
You
And
need
we also
3 and
need
Ds.
we also.
but more in what does KD and Kyrie need to improve on?
I don't think it's more so that they need to improve on. I think the pieces around them needed to be better. You have to
That's a fact.
you have to remember that with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, that was a top heavy roster.
Right.
You didn't really need to have role players filled out because you were like, yo, these 3 are gonna take us all the way. The role players are whatever. With James Harden leaving though, you had a bad team. You had Kyrie, Kevin Durant, together around subpar role players. Bruce Brown, Seth Curry's he's a really
Throw
good
some
player.
respect on Bruce Brown.
No, Bruce Brown. No, look, let me start because I was really low on Bruce Brown during the year. He definitely stepped up and turned his game around. But my thing is the roster. Sean Marsh went into the season thinking that it was going to be his big three.
What did you say?
Nah,
What did you
Nothing.
say?
He didn't say anything. It was just a noise. But yeah, like I said, Riv. Like I said though, they went into the season with a constructed roster around the big three. But Kyrie,
Then you made the trade mid-season. You got some good pieces back.
we didn't get any defensive players. But I think had
Traded a non-defender
got
for
Ben.
non-defense.
he didn't
But he
play.
didn't play.
But
That's what
I'm
I'm
saying-
saying.
No,
Now,
saying he
to
didn't
be
play.
fair, the Nets like this offseason,
And
I
we
don't
didn't have a
think
big man either. Bro.
I don't think this offseason the Nets have to do much outside to get like maybe like one player because the additions are Joe Harris and Ben Simmons to the team.
Yeah.
Basically.
So Seth is coming back, obviously.
Yeah, he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna start though.
Backup big. Because
Yeah, I agree.
Gone.
I don't know if LaMarcus
We're
Aldridge
starting.
is coming back. He's kind of old.
I think you need to try your hardest to get Miles Turner. Yeah, I,
like
think
Miles
if
Turner.
you're the
I
Nets,
was-
It's not acting like Miles Turner's a fix.
I'm an
for-
advocate.
he's a
I'm an
great
advocate.
stretch five,
He
and he
doesn't
can
play.
rim protect great.
He's always hurt.
To be honest,
It was this last
He's
season.
a very good rim protector.
He
He can
still
stretch
was
the
one
floor.
of the league
he's
leader
he's
in
not a bad
blocks.
player. I would like to have him on my
For
on my
sure.
team as my
I feel like his name gets thrown around for
but
every
a
single
lineup,
team.
but a lineup,
because he fits more. He
Specifically the
fits
Nets.
a lot of teams.
But let me
does.
ask you a question: a lineup of Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Seth, Ben.
No,
and
Seth's
Joe
not
Harris.
starting. Joe Harris
No, I'm
is
saying
starting
that's
over
probably
him.
gonna. That's probably offensively. That's probably your best line. But
That's
defense,
gonna be a great
That's
offense.
kinda hot.
defensively, you're not worried about that lineup. Kyrie, Seth, Joe, Katie, Ben.
I wouldn't start Seth. I'd bring
Kyrie,
Seth up
Kyrie,
I
front.
don't think he's gonna
Kyrie,
start.
Joe, KD, I'm not worried about.
Kyrie, I'm
Joe
worried
Harris
about.
is a solid defender.
against
Kevin Durant's
bigger
good.
wings, not against
Ben
his
Simmons is
position.
gonna take that
And Bruce Brown's going to be in that rotation also. So defensively,
Yeah,
But offensively,
it
putting
depends.
Bruce
I don't
and Ben
know.
is
I don't.
weird.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He can
I
at
don't know
least
about
hit
that.
jumpers.
Who?
Bruce.
Oh yeah.
He's got improved. I don't know.
He improved on it.
He's
But
improved,
that's
but
still
I
a
don't
weird.
know.
That's
I wouldn't
still
run that
double-teaming
lineup though.
Kyrie and KD essentially.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
That's still going to be double. Seeing
The key-
KD and Kyrie are going to see a lot of.
So
double
that's
teams.
fine, but this a
The
lot
key
of
for
a
the
lot
Nets
of
is
their
getting a stretch five, bro. You're
100%.
right.
So a big issue that they had in this playoffs.
I think
also
KD and
is
Kyrie
that
need a 5
with
out lineup.
Seth
agree
wasn't
too.
hitting jumpers. Seth is going to be back next season. I doubt we
Seth
see
can't
the
be
same
the
Seth.
only other guy.
No,
though.
I'm
Joe
not.
Harris
I'm not
Bruce
there.
wasn't being
All right,
guarded, to
Joe
be fair.
Harris. Joe Harris is still going to come in. He's going to knock down some jumpers.
Hopefully.
Bruce wasn't getting
No,
guarded.
during the season he will.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
I
don't
understand.
even care
Very
about the
true.
regular season.
But Bruce,
y'all are a playoff team at
now
this point.
you're saying Bruce wasn't getting guarded. Is he going to get guarded next season?
Is he going to hit shots like that again? Do you trust that?
Probably.
Do you trust
Pro-
that?
I have to see it more.
I have to see it more
I don't,
too.
But he
I don't
did
disagree.
improve, though.
But he showed it for a good stretch of games where I can at least go into next season relatively confident that he can do so. Is that not fair?
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. Well, we have to see what the Nets do going forward. I think as long as they have Kyrie and KD, then Kyrie is a good nickname.
That's a
right?
cute ship
fire.
name.
That
That's a
is-
cute ship name.
That is a pretty good nickname, Kyrie. I'm
You're
about to just
you're
start
a
saying
sick human being.
that. Well, why am I sick?
You want me to tell him or
No,
Dude, I need to know. I need to know. Please.
can I expose you?
I don't really care.
This man farted.
in the middle of my monologue. You didn't hear it in your ear? In the middle of my monologue, I heard
What
it.
he did was he farted and just stared at me. He just stared like that. He just stared at me, knowing I heard it, and then he just starts laughing.
Yo, but I heard it
While JC's
too.
talking,
I heard it too, but I ignored
Yeah,
it.
and I'm
though.
just like, this guy, man, he just keeps staring at me, laughing and shit. Like,
then he
didn't
started
just fart.
bugging.
Yeah, like he's not gonna say excuse me or nothing. He just sat there laughing.
Yo, do I look weird holding this mic?
No,
I'm only doing it so we can see JC.
I'm just
24/7.
I'm just feeling a bit gassy.
Yeah,
JJ
bro,
Redick
say
like that.
excuse
JJ
me.
Redick holds
Thanks,
his
bro.
mic like that.
So this week in the
You're not gonna
NBA,
say excuse me.
for what?
You farted.
Bro,
It's
come on.
natural.
It's natural.
Just say excuse me.
No, stop it.
That's rude.
I would have said excuse me if it like right when it happened.
You did it.
but-
when
Also,
he
bro, it
talked.
didn't. It
It's
didn't
quiet.
stink.
Now they're gonna look out for
didn't
it, though.
stink
No,
either.
it did
No,
not
it
stink.
did not stink.
My
It just
farts
the
don't
noise
stink.
was insane while JC was chopping. Like he was talking and he just farted.
Well,
I heard it in
Drew
my
could
ear.
barely hear it though.
That's
Drew
insane.
didn't hear it.
Me and JC heard it very.
I was
loud
right
and
next to
clear.
bro.
Yeah, like
You know what I do whenever I have to fart, I mute my mic so you guys don't hear the fart.
Nah, I still
But
heard
I think
it.
you heard it because JC's mic is closed, so it picked it up.
It
Nah,
definitely did.
I heard it because it was just loud.
It was
shit was
rumbling.
funny as
It
hell.
was
Yeah,
rumbling.
it's like
So this week in the NBA, you want to know what we learned after doing some research on NBA.com?
Oh,
my
my god, yo, he's
God,
still
bro.
on this.
So Riv said
I just read you
Miles
some numbers. That's
Riv said Miles Bridges' defensive field goal percentage within 6 feet is 60.9, which is true. Well, Bam Adebayo's is 61.4, and he gets tested within 6 feet 4.5 times a game, while Miles Bridges is at 5.6. And he also has a better defensive field goal percentage within 6 feet than Jaylen Brown as well. So yeah.
Interesting.
So
does that take into account?
No, it does not take into account who's guarding who.
No, but no, I get that, but
it also has frequency. Like the
Bam
amount of
did
times
miss 6
people,
weeks.
the amount of times players test you at the rim for Bam is 36%, Brown 34.4%. For Miles Bridges, it's 35.3%.
So what you're telling me is Miles Bridges is him.
Miles Bridges holds his own. He's
him.
not a bad defender.
Are you saying he's him?
He is him.
All right.
So he's a good defender.
Miles Bridges is not only one of the better offensive players in the league that can do everything on offense, outside of consistently shoot 3-point shots, but he also is a viable defender.
It's crazy how he's using the stats he just said.
Yeah.
Don't really show defense. He's now using them to bunk his argument. It's insane how that flips.
Well, that's how you use it. That's how you cultivate an argument.
No, I understand. You cheat.
Yeah.
Is that how you cultivate an argument?
It is. He told you, for one, you mentioned during the segment, tell me some defensive stats.
I did. No, I won't.
I didn't have it on deck, but
No.
I came back.
No. Don't
I
skip
came
steps.
back.
I asked you, can he guard? That was the main question.
And
You
I said he's athletic
No,
enough.
yeah, that
was
never
funny
answered
as
me.
hell,
It was just
bro.
like he's athletic enough.
was
I mean, I
funny
can say
as
that
hell.
about a lot of guys.
I mean,
yeah.
the reason why I say this because I remember 2012, the Knicks when they won 50 games. J.R. Smith was never known as a defender, but Tyson Chandler was like, he can defend at a high level if he wanted to, and then that's when he really ascended to one of the better.
Can I ask you a
have to
question?
do
A
it
quick.
now?
I'm just saying,
Ability
if
means you can do it.
if you have the athletic ability to do something, you can do
It's
it.
true.
It's just the effort.
It's true.
So
I
if you,
agree.
so
If had Miles Bridges been one of the worst defenders, which he's not, he
So you
has
think
the athletic profile. to
the
be
same
one.
for Donovan Mitchell could be
To
said
be
as well. So a player like Donovan
It
Mitchell.
depends because he's 6'1", so
well, no, he
has
actually
he
was
came into
a good defender.
he has height
He came in
limitations,
as a
though.
defender.
He was actually a good defender.
Can I ask you this question? Because just a defensive rating question, because it seems as if defensive rating, we throw it away now at the Pick Aside podcast. Rudy Gobert is surrounded by a bunch of mediocre to below mediocre defenders. He still is amongst the league leaders in defensive rating. That's not taking into account his team clearly, because he is still one of the best defenders in the NBA, regardless of his team's defensive output.
Okay.
So my question is, why is defensive rating in the trash if Rudy Gobert's is consistently so low and his defense, the rest of his defense, is bad? That's an honest question. I'm not trying to start any crazy like you're wrong about defensive rating. I'm genuinely curious, because if Rudy Gobert is amongst the lowest defensive rating in the NBA, it can't solely be that the team defensive rating is the end-all be-all.
Because Rudy Gobert is a generational defensive player.
I don't disagree with that. But
That's
then
why.
if the team's defense is so trash, then shouldn't it negatively impact his defensive rating? Or to a degree, defensive rating holds some weight?
They're trash without
Does hold
him.
weight.
That's the thing. That's the difference.
They're not good with him.
No, they're good defensive with him.
Against the Mavericks, they were not good.
Well, you're talking
Jalen
about
Brunson
In the
you're-
playoffs,
43.
specifically.
You're
in the
taking,
playoffs,
You're taking it. Yeah, okay. In the playoffs, what is Rudy Gobert's defensive rating?
it's probably low.
It's bad. And
Because,
if you
yeah.
look at
Let's
that
see.
They run him off
playoffs,
the
it's
court.
bad.
Let's see. I'm curious.
Nah, I think it really is though. I ain't gonna lie. Terrence Mann scored like 40 on him. No, but it wasn't on him. But he was his defender, bro. He was just helping and giving up open threes. I mean, that still counts.
Like, for example, the just going off of defensive rating, this is why it's a flawed stat, because you mentioned Rudy Gobert, but other players.
Wow, you're right. It's not good.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Dude, it's 110 in
It's
his
bad.
playoff career.
That's horrible,
You
bro.
look at other players.
That's ass. Well,
They run-
compared to what he normally is, that's like 93.
Because they know how to scheme against him.
Nikola Jokic had one of the better defensive ratings in the NBA, but we know he's not one of the better defenders in the NBA.
I mean, you
Yeah.
constantly tell
You were
me
pushing that
reasons-
agenda, low key.
The reason why defensive rating is a flawed stat is because defensive rating, they say within 100 possessions, this player allows this many points per 100 possessions. That's how it's measured. The reason why it's flawed is because at any given time, a defender, a player, is with 4 other players on the floor. So that defensive rating is really with other lineups.
Couldn't that be used for bigs though, since they're technically rim protectors?
Say that again. What's your question?
Couldn't that defensive rating be used heavily for bigs though, because they are essentially the backbone of the defense and rim protectors, so they are tasked with helping the 4 other defenders.
That's why big men have better defensive ratings than guards. Like if you look at guards' defensive ratings, they're not that high. But that's why like defensive field goal percentage is a stat that
Seems pretty accurate.
better. It measures defensive performance
Individually.
better because it's you individually. What do you hold somebody to? Right. Even also on and off stats. Like if you look at certain players on and off stats, you can see if they're positively impacting their team's defense. Because if this player, when he's on, their defensive rating is like, or they're defensively, they're like +5 versus when he's off, they're like -2. You can see he's positively impacting his team defensively. Defensive rating just has to do with like lineups. So that's why the Celtics, everybody on the Celtics has a pretty high defensive rating. You know, Max Strus, these playoffs, had the second best defensive rating. He's not the second best defensive player in the playoffs. He just played with lineups that were ridiculously insane defensively in the playoffs.
My boy's solid though.
Yeah, he's solid,
He's
but
solid,
he's not the second best defensive player.
See,
Not
I
the
would.
second best
I don't.
anything.
I don't disagree with that statement, but you can still use it to their benefit.
Yeah, but I just don't like using defensive rating for a player. I like using it for a team and for certain lineups. Because for a player, that's what you're essentially doing. Like, when this player is on the floor with these other 4 players, this is his defensive rating. But it measures that across different lineups. So, like, Rudy Gobert, you know, his lineup with anybody is he's great defensively in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But when in the playoffs, they scheme up
Yeah,
for
it's
him.
not great.
It's bad.
It's the last couple of years. This season was 112. The year before, where you were saying that Terrence Mann violated 117. Year before that, 115, basically
How
116.
about the year he guarded Jokic?
That's 2020, right? Yeah,
bubble?
115.
He got killed.
115.
He got killed.
116, basically.
That was bad.
All right, so thank you for that. I
Like,
just
Rudy
wanted to go.
Gobert is not a bad defender. Like,
Of
even though
course
those stats show that defensive rating-wise he was bad, he wasn't bad defensively. He just had to cover for a bunch of mistakes. That's why I think defensive rating is
What
low.
is a bad defensive rating, really?
Well, it's defensive.
number, specifically.
Defensive rating and offensive rating is measured off of like per 100% possessions. So basically, when he was on the floor, Rudy Gobert was allowing 116 points per 100 possessions.
All right. So,
So,
112 still not
Like
horrible.
100, I would say like
It's not great.
if I were to like just say it off the top of my head, I think an average defensive rating is like, or a very good one is like 104 to like 106
I'm with you.
points per possession.
I'm with you.
You know,
All right, sweet. All right, that was a cute little enlightenment. So for my this week in the NBA, we spoke about it a little bit before, but I have 2 now. My first one's going to be about Anthony Davis saying that he hasn't picked up a basketball or shot a basketball since April 5th. And that genuinely disheartens me 100% because I need to see a motivated Anthony Davis going into next season. Anthony Davis is the key to the Lakers having any type of success come playoff time or even us making the playoffs at all. LeBron's going to be LeBron. I never have to worry about LeBron and his work ethic and whether he's going to play good or not. Anthony Davis has gotten to the point where I have to worry about that, unfortunately. And for him to not be working diligently to avoid any issues is very, very disheartening, like I said. Now, for my other this week in the NBA, LeBron James becomes the first active athlete to become a billionaire. This dude's not only the greatest basketball player to ever grace a basketball court, but he also is a genius when it comes to investments. We see when he invested in Blaze Pizza. It is now a multi-million-dollar company. We see where now he has he has a small stake in Liverpool that was worth $2 million at the time. It's now worth $40 million. And the biggest of all, Beats by Dre, where he became a minority investor, and a silent investor. And it's gotten to the point where before taxes, he made $700 million when they sold to Apple. He's a genius when it comes to basketball. He's a genius off the court with his investments. Shout out to LeBron James.
I think him and MJ are the only 2 billionaire athletes.
Yeah, but LeBron's the first
Tiger
active ever.
Tiger Woods actually just became the second athlete to become a billionaire. Active, excuse me.
So now 3, they all black.
Shout out, man. Yo, that's facts.
what's up?
That's facts, man.
You know, LeBron
That's awesome.
also is trying to be an owner of an NBA team.
Vegas.
He will.
He says that's exactly what he
He'll
said.
be
He
here.
said he wants to own in
He's
Vegas.
also been doing a lot of Golden State, Steph Curry handle wagon.
You know what's
stuff
funny?
lately?
He
You know
wants
what's
to play
funny
with
you
him
say
badly.
about that? He wants to own a team in Vegas. He actually says that his worst purchase by far was buying a house in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that,
Why so?
why is it his worst purchase? Because he's never there.
Oh,
He just bought,
He's very cheap. I heard.
he was young. It was summer league. And he
His
was
house
like,
is
"Yo,
fire.
I want to buy a house in Las Vegas." He says that he's maybe been in that house twice,
He's
3
very
times.
cheap. His friends say, like D Wade, Kevin Love.
I remember that interview with Rachel
Very
Nichols.
cheap. Smart man, though.
frugal.
Yeah, he's a very smart man.
His crib's fire.
Shout
LeBron's
OD.
OD.
Shout out to Bronny though.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Bron. He wants to play for the Warriors, so don't slide over here. If he won another ring.
Maybe you could trade Clay and Wiggins.
Not Wiggins, but I'll trade. I'll give
What?
you guys
For
Clay.
LeBron?
Stop it, bro. You
You
give up
train
that.
Clay
You
and
give up
LeBron for
anyone
I'll
that's not
I'll
Curry.
give you Clay Wiseman, and you can take Moody.
Kaminga.
No, 2 picks.
No.
2 picks. That's valid.
For LeBron.
That's firm. He's 38. Come on.
I want Clay, Wiggins, and Kuminga.
Hell no. You're losing the hell. I'm not giving you them 2
Nah,
Killers.
Clay Wiggins and Kuminga is
Wiggins
crazy.
and Kuminga. Nah.
You
For
just
LeBron?
jump started their rebuild.
Yeah, right.
Nah, for LeBron, yeah, I guess I would do
Who's
it.
gonna guard?
No. It's
LeBron.
LeBron's 38 though.
Yeah, who's
bro.
gonna guard now? Now we got
LeBron.
Poole guarding freaking.
Riv, you would
Draymond-
do it if LeBron was 32.
Duh.
Yeah, but now
He's
it says LeBron 38.
Oh,
yeah.
bro, we're talking
What, the
LeBron.
Lakers
Yeah,
do
no,
it?
duh.
Of course they would.
I don't know.
We'll give you guys Clay Wiseman and Moody. You give us AD.
Decline.
Stupid. This week in the NBA, I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. Steph Curry has walked into elite company while dominating this Boston Celtics defense. There have been 3 active players averaging 30 points per game on 50-45 shooting in a final series. The greatest player ever, Michael Jordan in 1991, obviously. One of the greatest scorers in NBA history, Kevin Durant in 2017 with Steph Curry. And the only 30-year-old on this list, Steph Curry at 34 years old, is doing it against the best defense in the NBA. So this is just another thing to show that he's been completely dominating Mr. Depoy and all his comrades.
He
in
hasn't
this-
been dominating
in this
Marcus
series.
Smart. Stop it.
Let me have this moment.
All right.
He's been dominating Mr. Depoy and all his comrades. And 2-2, we're going to win Game 5.
So my this week in the NBA is 31 years ago to this very day. Michael Jordan won his first championship in 1990 against the Showtime Lakers.
Oh.
Michael Jordan in that series averaged 31 points, 7 rebounds, and an astonishing 11.4 assists per game with 3 steals.
My God.
You didn't
And
know that? Of
no,
course you didn't. You're
11
casual.
assists. I didn't know
11
he averaged. I knew
Yeah,
in
he
his
averaged that.
debut he had,
Yeah, you're
what was it,
casual.
12 assists?
this guy.
Casual.
With 3 steals and 2 blocks a game. I highlight that because that jump started the greatest dynasty in NBA history right now. He won 3 in a row there, retired in the middle of his prime, came back and won another 3. But that championship against that juggernaut of a team, a lot of people try to underrate that team and say all these things.
It wasn't that
Showtime
good.
Lakers were still a good team, though.
It wasn't that good.
How wasn't it good?
It was James Worthy. It was Magic Johnson.
That's it. That's all I need to hear. James Worthy, Magic Johnson.
They made
That's
the
great
finals.
enough.
They were old.
Did you
They
see
were
what
old,
Did you
man.
see what they did to the Western
same
It's
age.
past
Conference?
their prime. Nah.
But did you see what they did to the
were.
Western
It
Conference?
was 91.
James Worthy was.
They
James
wanna-
Worthy and MJ are the same age, right?
Yo, Riv, if I'm not mistaken,
Magic Johnson, though, we're
Riv,
talking
Riv,
about.
2 years old.
Riv,
Listen, I'm not belittling that
Riv,
Chicago
how
Bulls were a
how
way better
far
team.
removed were the Lakers from winning a championship after that, before that appearance against the Bulls? Look that up for me, because if it was the year they won a chip coming off a year
They
before,
lost
that's
just
valid.
they lost in the WCF the year before that. Like, it was literally the year before. He's just hating because we whipped
I'm not
their ass.
hating. I'm not
Nah,
hating.
What are you searching up right now?
I'm
The
just-
last time the
no,
Lakers won a
just the
championship
roster.
before that appearance.
Before this one?
Yeah, when's the last time they won a chip?
Probably, what was it, 88?
Okay.
89?
And how old was
I
Magic?
got it right here. So they lost. Oh wow, they lost. So they lost in the finals in '91, and then
To MJ.
the year before that they lost in the West. The year before that they lost in the finals.
Magic was
Yeah,
31.
so they were 2 years
Nah.
removed from that.
Yeah, he.
And what was Magic Johnson's
You'll
statistics
put
for
your,
that
mic
series?
you'll put
Pardon
your
me.
mouth close on the mic.
Hey,
He was 31 years old. He averaged on 43% from the field.
Uh-huh. What do you average? Should be right there.
18.
18, how many assists? 12?
Yeah, 12.
Are you guys ready?
no,
Yeah.
it was
For your
it was
this weekend
19 and
NBA?
13 that
Yes.
year.
19 points and
Worthy
13
was
assists.
at 21. Perkins was at 14. Byron Scott was at 14.
MJ happened.
Divock was at 11.
MJ happened.
He had a good team.
So that jump started one of the, probably to this day, the best dynasty in NBA history.
So are you guys ready for
For
this
your
week's?
7 this week's in the NBA?
It's
Or
gonna be
No, I actually just don't have
Miles
any. I
Bridges?
just have the
really?
would you rather.
I'm stunned. All right.
Oh, Mr. Show Off doesn't have it.
So, no, Miles Bridges was enough for me.
You're gonna
He
put
was enough for
the
me.
elite defender agenda now.
Hey.
He was enough for me.
You said it.
Are you guys
3 times.
ready for this? Would you rather this week? The would you
Yep.
rather this week?
Funny.
Okay, this is gonna be a good one because this is a player who's currently getting a lot of backlash.
It's your guy.
He's getting a lot of pushback. He's currently been on a big tour in terms of the hype surrounding him via Colin Cowherd, calling him the 16th best player in the last 20 years.
Listen,
He
I
is
respect the slander towards Colin because that was an egregious statement, but we can't pretend like you haven't been Draymond Green supporter.
Not top 20 all time.
I'm not saying that, but you've been a strong advocate of Draymond Green.
Real quick,
I love Draymond.
Real quick for you. Was he over Tracy McGrady in that list?
You should
He
be.
probably was. He was over James Harden.
Should he not be?
Over James Harden?
No, Tracy.
Peak Tracy's way better than he ever was in his life. But anyways,
I thought he was going off accomplishments. That's why I was like, I think
He's going out player, bro. Go ahead.
Well, I think maybe the list might have been accomplishments.
Oh, if it's accomplishments, all right. But if it's
player,
players,
I don't think team
never.
top 15.
He was over.
No,
James
but he's
Harden.
over. He's over
He was
Draymond.
over Tim Duncan,
That's
I think. Too.
He's over.
Was he over Dirk?
I
If he's
am
over
not
Tim
sure.
Duncan,
We had to look
he's
at that.
definitely over Dirk.
We had to look at that.
If he was over Tim Duncan, Colin Cowherd should not be talking basketball.
I
Regardless,
think it was one of those things. But okay, would you rather Draymond Green
It's
edition?
about to get hot.
First name up, Karl Anthony Towns,
Cat.
Cat clears.
Rudy Gobert,
Oof.
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Dre.
PJ Tucker,
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Damn. If Draymond could shoot a little bit, bro, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
This really shouldn't be.
I'm sorry. All right, fine.
PJ misses wide
Draymond
open
Green.
layups.
Draymond Green.
Marcus Smart,
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Draymond Green.
Julius Randle.
1 second. Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. We can
Come
talk
on,
about
bro.
it after. Let him go through the
No,
list.
but we can still have discussions. Like we'll still chop it up regardless of. Like this is still getting posted, bro. How is he better?
They're both defensive guys. I think Draymond's better.
But shooting, offensive output,
Shooting,
Marcus is
smart. Playmaking, Draymond. Pretty clear.
Smart got better at
Pretty
playmaking. I just want to
clear.
throw it out there.
No, I agree, but I think Draymond's still a clear better playmaker than Smart. Draymond's like the engine for a really great offense.
but
and
we're seeing
elite
Draymond
defense.
get played.
But we're
out
talking
of
about
games.
at this very moment right now. I'm taking. Smart.
I'm not gonna let a series diminish what I think of Draymond.
I don't disagree.
Draymond
I,
has
this-
bad-
And Draymond is the anchor for that defense. Smart is the anchor also, but Robert Williams is
Because
also right there.
if Draymond was real, and I'm not saying that Marcus Smart could have done this either, but I'm just saying if Draymond really was the player that he is sought to be, last year the Warriors would not have been as bad as they were.
They were top 5 defense in the league with Kelly Oubre.
And they didn't make the
and
playoffs.
They lost. That's fair.
That has nothing to do with defense, though.
I understand, but your impact can still lead to.
I
winning
seriously
games
doubt
and
if you
making
put
playoffs.
Smart in and take.
That's what I
Draymond
said.
out.
That's what I said. I don't necessarily mean this, but I'm just saying like Draymond Green's impact defensively is great, but we're seeing that his offense be such an issue that he gets
I mean,
unplayable
Smart has
to a
lapses
degree.
too, though. When
But-
he shoots the ball more, you lose.
What are you talking about?
No, yeah.
Stops
When
it. When he
Smart
shoots
shoots
the
more than
ball,
Tatum
yeah.
and Brown, they almost always
And when
lose.
Smart shoots a certain amount of field
Yeah.
goals, you guys lose.
I mean, they just had
when he shoots less, you win.
the trio had 20 points each, and
No, I understand, but it's
It's
like
one
a
of the
little
best
stat
outputs
for
of a
that
trio
that shows
in
they have
NBA
a
Finals
losing
history.
record. Like it's not like
I
Smart
don't know. I
isn't
think
just
Marcus Smart
offensive.
this year was kind of.
he was really good.
He was, yeah.
No, he was really good. I agree, but
All right,
So you saying Draymond?
yeah, I got
All right,
Draymond.
so we got
Draymond got hurt. That's what really happened, and people forgot.
I'm not disagreeing.
Julius
I can't
Randle.
use that excuse.
No, you definitely.
Julius Randle.
We'll go Draymond.
Oh, Draymond Green.
Draymond.
Wendell,
Julius.
Wendell Carter Jr.
I'm not answering that.
Draymond
I'm
Green.
saying Draymond. That's
Draymond.
crazy.
I got Draymond.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
I would go Ben Simmons as well.
Ben Simmons, bro.
Ben. I don't even like Ben too. Yeah,
I'm
Ben.
going Draymond. Were you guys serious? Why would you go Ben Simmons?
Better playmaker, better rebounder.
They're all about this. They're about.
They're on the same
They
tier. That's
both
the
can't
hilarious
shoot.
part.
Ben Simmons has more talent, but Draymond Green's intangibles clear. I'm taking a guy with the intangibles in this.
You know what? Fair.
I'm going Draymond.
You're right. I'm flip.
saying
Draymond.
Ben.
Draymond.
John Collins.
Draymond.
Better player. Draymond. I think Draymond's better.
I was thinking about mid Collins.
I like John Collins'
I
game.
know you do.
I like him.
I know.
I'll go Draymond.
Lonzo Ball.
I'm taking Lonzo.
If I didn't, Dre.
I would rather. Who would you rather? I would rather Lonzo Ball.
It is who would you rather?
That's pretty tough, bro. I don't know.
That's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. Lonzo can stroke it.
He can, bro.
Stroke
His
that
shot
thing,
is
boy.
crazy.
He can go bananas.
He
Like,
can, bro. His on ball is crazy.
Dre's intangibles though. He's too smart. I got Dre.
I got Draymond Green too.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
He didn't foul too damn.
I was gonna
much.
say, bro, he's too
too
aggressive.
undisciplined.
Yeah, I
Dre.
agree. I'll go Dre.
Dre.
We're gonna get cooked on TikTok.
OG Anunoby.
Dre, bro. Dre.
I
Dre
like
all
OG a
day.
lot, bro. I'm gonna go OG.
Dre all day.
I would rather OG.
Dre. OG tough.
What about Bruce Brown?
I gotta say Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
I would go
1000%.
Draymond Green,
Draymond
but it's
Green.
close.
You are an
Close.
idiot.
Let me finish. Let me rephrase that. Let me phrase that so this can get properly edited.
Mm-hmm.
It is closer than people might think because Draymond is almost unplayable offensively.
You watch
at least
Never
we're going based off this past season. Bruce Brown at least can hit jumpers.
Draymond's jump shot
And
gets
he is
worse
a
every
good
year, bro.
he's a good playmaker, nothing more than that. Decent playmaker and he can rebound pretty well.
Oh,
Okay.
Bruce Brown.
yeah, Draymond Green's a way better playmaker and way better rebounder.
Aaron Gordon.
I would go Draymond.
Draymond.
All right, now let's throw in some bonus questions for this. Well, actually, a couple
Do
more
that prime one.
because I have a lot of comments on my Twitter right now about names that they want us to mention.
Okay.
Tobias Harris.
Midi.
So make this snap.
Draymond.
Miles Turner.
Draymond.
Oof.
Make this snappy.
Draymond.
Clint Capella.
Draymond.
Draymond.
DeMontis Sabonis.
Draymond.
Draymond Green.
I'm not thinking
DeAndre Ayton.
Draymond.
Draymond.
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal.
They're gonna violate us.
I bet you that was a Raptors
There's none to get violated for. Pascal Siakam's
Nah, but I'm talking about
13
the other
All NBA.
ones.
Oh, they're gonna
Kayvon Looney.
Draymond
Green.
Okay, now bonus questions. This is a prime one now.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah, I love
prime
this one.
Draymond Green.
So
Okay.
2016.
So Draymond
Brings me
Green's best.
2014, 2017 Draymond.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Draymond Green at his best, him or Dennis Rodman?
Dennis
Draymond
Rodman.
Green.
Dennis
Draymond
Rodman.
Green.
Taking Rodman.
Him or Pau Gasol?
Ooh.
Powell.
I would go Powell.
Powell.
That's a nasty one. I got Pow.
Powell.
That's a nasty.
It's close.
Because now
though.
I have a question. Is Draymond Green filling Powell's shoes 2010?
No.
Is
No.
Powell
No.
filling Dre's shoes? Shut up.
Yeah, he could.
You didn't believe that.
We're talking prime Powell.
We're talking about peak Draymond defensively. Powell ain't filling that.
Yeah,
Not
but
defensively, I
Kobe
don't
needed
disagree.
another scorer.
No, that's why I said
Draymond Green
they're both.
Yeah, KG would have locked up Dre.
He doesn't
That's
need
who
to.
he need to
that's
lock
who we
up.
went up against in the finals.
I agree.
Yo, do the Blake Griffin one, bro, please.
Prime Blake Griffin.
Or prime
Or
Prime
prime
Dre.
Draymond Green.
Prime Blake Griffin.
Prime Draymond.
I'm taking
What?
Blake.
Prime Draymond.
Blake.
What?
Blake, bro.
Prime Draymond.
Bro, that's
Blake.
all right. No, explain it.
Blake.
What is there to
Explain it. What is he better at? Defense? Okay. Offensively, it's not even a question.
Offensively,
Well,
Blake
for one,
clears.
whenever Draymond played Blake, he locked his ass
No,
up.
bad. Like that was his foot. Like that's like the LeBron toe. That's how Draymond looked at Blake. Like he locked him up every time they played. It was never
We're talking
like,
as a
every time.
so all right, fine. We're saying one-on-one matchup, or we're taking one
I mean,
player as they
impacting
are.
the game. Draymond impacts the game defensively. He impacts the game as a playmaker. His intangibles are there. He's
Blake
smart.
Griffin's a
He's
very
usually-
good passer too.
He
Don't
is, but
sleep on his
Draymond's
playmaking
usually
ability.
the smartest on the court every time he plays outside of LeBron and maybe Chris Paul. Like I don't
So defensively, it's clear Draymond's better.
Clear.
Offensively,
Offensively, it's
it's
Blake
not
Griffin,
even a
bro.
question.
scoring. It's not a question.
It's really not a question at all.
Scoring is not a question. It's not. You have that.
No, offensively,
No,
it's not
scoring.
No,
It's
offensively,
scoring.
Blake Griffin has 7. I just want to throw this out there. Blake Griffin has 7 elite seasons. Just throwing that
Is
out there.
Draymond ever going to finish top 3 in MVP voting ever in his
I
life?
don't-
Ever.
Blake's done that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When?
I want to say it was the
That's
year
such
that.
a fraudulent year.
What do you
Joakim
mean?
Noah was the most fraudulent.
That
year,
that
though.
was pretty
What did he
fraudulent.
finish? Top 5?
What do you think? Prime Joakim Noah or prime Draymond Green?
I would
That's
go.
that's a
I'm Draymond.
good comparison.
Draymond.
Yeah, I'll go Draymond.
I mean, you guys are just going heavy offense. I'm
Yo,
just going
how about
defense.
how about prime Aldridge or
I mean,
prime
that's-
Draymond?
Prime
We had
Draymond?
a.
I would go
LaMarcus
prime LaMarcus Aldridge.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
I think so too.
LaMarcus Aldridge was nasty.
You know what? That's actually really good one. Prime Aldridge was fucking.
But this is a
nasty.
would you rather. So would you rather Draymond at his best or Charles Barkley?
Charles Barkley, bro. He's an
Charles
MVP.
Barkley.
Come on.
MVP, bro.
He led his team
People
to the
think
chip.
it's a debate.
Nah, they're
Who's
wilding.
debating that?
They're wilding,
A
bro.
lot of people.
Are you debating that?
They ain't do their
You can
research,
make
bro.
a case for it.
For who?
For Draymond over,
Draymond.
get the.
I don't think. I think
It's impossible
not
to
even
do
close, bro.
Actually, that is pretty hard to wrap. I'm actually getting a headache trying to make.
that. I'm mad.
No, I'm gonna keep it 100.
I think in terms of like fit and
Prime
team fit,
LaMarcus Aldridge or prime Blake.
I asked that the other day. I
Wow,
had so many different
great
answers.
question.
Aldridge.
I'll tell you what, I
I'll
take
go
Aldridge
I'll go
because he's a better
slightly
jump shooter.
Aldridge.
Aldridge is a more polished player
I agree.
Definitely
I'm
better
gonna go-
offensively.
I'm
and
Aldridge.
better defensively too.
He's a cone now, but before he was.
Blake can't guard, bro. That's what's killing me. But Blake cool though. Blake nice.
I like Blake.
Blake was nice.
He
So
was
you
super
thought that
exciting.
there was a point in time Draymond was better than Blake,
More impactful, yes.
but was he better? Because we had that argument about Cat. You said he's more impactful than Cat, but he's not better than Cat.
Same thing. Yeah.
You think so? You think Blake was better, but Dre was more
Yeah,
impactful?
Blake is a better basketball. I like impact sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know why would anybody take the better player in certain situations over the more impactful player.
I don't know. Draymond Green's tied to really just one team. I don't know how he would be on any other team, but I think a person who can play for more teams and do more is the better player. That's what I think.
To be fair though, Blake's success is tied around one team. Success. The word success.
Wait, success
Detroit
as a
was
player?
not a success.
No,
So can I ask you, Russell
he had an
Westbrook,
All-NBA season
Russell
in Detroit.
Westbrook,
Just saying.
That's not a success.
He averaged 24, 10, and 5.
That was a successful.
No, I'm
season.
talking about success in terms
Individually.
of winning. In terms of winning.
okay.
Can I ask you? Because you're saying you'll take the better player over the. No, excuse me. You'll
Sometimes
take the
I'll
more
take the
impactful.
impact
So
over-
Russell Westbrook and Caruso. Westbrook's the better ball player. Would you rather Caruso because he's more impactful?
What the hell are you saying to me?
I'm asking that question.
I'm talking. Okay, let me rephrase it. So just to put more in terms of all-star versus all-star, sometimes I would prefer impact over talent. Not in terms of role player versus damn.
But right now, you
superstar.
take Caruso over Russ.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
Oh, right now I would take Caruso because Russ ain't what he is.
Okay.
Russ LA is very.
That's
stinky.
exactly what I was saying.
Oh yeah. Caruso easily, undoubtedly
Okay.
over Westbrook. You would too.
Right now?
Yes.
I miss Caruso every single day.
I know.
Like, it's
Which
not
is a
even
weird
question.
thing to miss, but I get
Are you kidding me?
No, no.
You saw it firsthand how great he is
missing
defensively.
Caruso is just crazy to me.
Why?
I don't know, just people miss like Harden.
You
people miss
you
like Kyrie.
listen.
I
You
miss
as a
Curry.
Bulls fan,
you miss Caruso.
You missed
I just think
Caruso
that's
when he
weird.
was out.
I mean, but not you miss him every day. I don't.
Come on, bro. I mean,
That's what
I'm
I'm
using
saying.
hyperbole. Is that okay?
You wasn't. I know you. You wasn't. You were serious.
I'm being
You
exaggerative.
probably wake up, look at the Lakers. Damn, Caruso.
I look at a picture of that.
like,
Like,
I miss Caruso dearly. Like I understand. You really probably do that. I get it. You know what I'm
fair
saying?
enough. Fair enough.
On to the next topic. Because the Warriors made the finals without Kevin Durant, it is now a growing discussion about how Kevin Durant probably wasn't needed during the Warriors' run that they made with Kevin Durant. But CJ McCollum said this on First Take. He said there's no debate about who was the best player on that team. We know it was Kevin Durant. Steph knows it was Kevin Durant. Draymond, deep down, he knows it was Kevin Durant as well. I've been seeing a lot of propaganda retweeted out by JC on his Twitter about how Kevin Durant is more valuable than maybe you would give him credit for. So, JC, I want you to start this off. Do you agree with CJ saying that everyone knows KD was the best
Why'd
player?
you point me out?
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I know that he agrees with him too. It's just going to be hard for him to admit it.
You don't agree?
I don't agree that
Look, so-
Steph thinks KD's the best. I think when you're at
No,
the top
he's
of the
talking about
level-
us, like everybody, like the people who
Nah,
watch.
he said that. CJ said
Everybody.
Steph knows.
Yeah, that's,
Even
you
Dre-
asked if you agree with that. So I don't agree that Steph believes.
Steph knew?
No, I don't think. I think
Actually,
Steph
nah,
believes
I
he's the
mean-
best on the team.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I think when you're at
because
the top of your game like that,
Kevin
you
Durant
think you're the best player in the league.
Kevin Durant outperformed him in both
I feel
finals,
like
really bad.
Go ahead, JC though.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna say yes. Kevin Durant in his first playoff run with the Golden State, when they went 16-1, he averaged 20.5 points per game on 55, 44 shooting splits, and then in the finals he upped it to 35 points per game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on 55% from the field and 48% from the three. He was absolutely the best player in that series. He hit one of the, I believe it was game 3 or game 2. He
Game
hit
3 back-to-back years.
Back-to-back years. He
Game
hit a
3
huge
back-to-back
shot,
years.
and I think Steph Curry came out flat that game as well, and Klay Thompson, if I'm not mistaken, back-to-back years. He won them that game single-handedly, and I mean, like you guys heard the statistics, 35, 8, and 5 on 55 to 48% splits is absolutely unreal. I think there's no doubt that Kevin Durant was the best player, and defensively, that's when Kevin Durant started to up his defensive side of his game when he had less of a scoring responsibility like he did in OKC. He could hone in more on the defensive side of the ball, and we saw how elite he was on that side of the ball. And in 2018, the next year, and in the playoff runs, 29, 8, and 5 on 49, 35% from the three splits as well. Really good that entire postseason. Defensively, again, Kevin Durant was, I believe that year, Kevin Durant, There was a point in time where Kevin Durant was leading the defensive player of the year race. Obviously, it didn't last long enough, but he finished that season with, I believe, 1.8 blocks per game, which is a career high. Then he went into the finals, averaged 29, 11, and 7 on 53% from the field and 42% from the three-point line on 5.5 attempts. Again, outperformed LeBron James, and I believe it was Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. They had one of the worst shooting nights of their entire career. Again, he hit the same shot from the same side a little deeper in LeBron's face and iced them. And basically, I mean, we knew that series was already won because the Warriors team was they were just completely outclassing the Cavaliers team, who I thought had absolutely no shot other than maybe the game one performance that LeBron had and the team choked away. But other than that, I mean, I think Kevin Durant was the best player in both finals. In the playoff run, we can say they were even, but when it mattered most, Kevin Durant showed up on the big stage on both sides of the ball and hit two of the clutchest shots as we've seen in the finals in quite some time. So I'm going to say, yes, Kevin Durant was 100% the best player, and he got finals MVP both those finals as well. So that adds to my point.
Bro, I'm going to defer because you're a Steph Curry guy.
I want to go next.
Yeah?
I want to flip this one.
All right, bro. Well, listen. Yes, Kevin Durant was the best player on the Golden State Warriors. Offensively, we haven't seen a player as dynamic as as Kevin Durant maybe in our lives. The fact that he's 7 feet tall, they say he's 6'10", he's 7 feet tall, and the ability to dribble the way that he does, the speed that he has underneath him, his ability to work in the post, get to the bucket, be as efficient as he is from three, his impact for the Golden State Warriors, you could say that Steph Curry might have had the defense gravitate more towards him because of his three-point shot. And you'd rather give up KD's mid-range game as opposed to Steph Curry's three-point shot, for sure. But there's no doubt in my mind that KD is more unguardable than Steph is. And that's not rude to say. Listen, let me just throw this disclaimer out. Steph is the greatest shooter in NBA history. He is an all-world scorer. He's one of the best scorers in NBA history as well. But he's not Kevin Durant at scoring the basketball. And I say that respectfully. And I'm not even a KD fan. I'm just speaking truths. Kevin Durant came to the Warriors, and Steph Curry deferred to Kevin Durant down the stretch. He knew come that time, it's KD time. Steph Curry acknowledged that, which is why what CJ is saying is facts. Curry was great when KD was there. I'm not taking anything away from how great Curry was during KD's time in Golden State. Not at all. But they knew when it was that time, get the ball in KD's hands.
Absolutely. There's
done?
no debate about it, bro.
So you touched up on it a little bit, before the finals.
Playoff runs.
Then the playoff runs.
I included that.
Kevin Durant, 2016-2017, averaged 29, 8, and 4. Steph averaged 28, 6, and 7. The year after that, Kevin Durant averaged 29, 8, and 5. Steph averaged 26, 7, and 6. So in the totality of the run,
pretty close.
They were close. They were top 5 players on the planet at the same time. So it was great. They both benefited from each other. Of course, they both won a chip. I don't think. Like I said before, though, we were talking about it a little bit. I don't think Steph Curry believed that, because I think when you're at the top of your game like that, I think you believe that you're the best player in the league. When you like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron, of course. Now I feel like even back in the day, Charles Barkley, I think he said it one time. He was like, "I believe I'm the best player in the league." Like I think when you're at the top of your game at that level,
Jordan.
That's what he said. He said, "I thought I was the best until I faced him."
Yeah, that's what I said. Like so, it's like I feel like people at that certain level just feel like they're the best, and I don't think CJ can say that. I don't think Steph believed that. Maybe Draymond, he has his own mind, so I'm not going to touch on Draymond. He kind of be on
CJ
Steph
played
a
him in the
little bit.
playoffs, right?
CJ hasn't. He's played them before Kevin Durant, after Kevin Durant, with Kevin Durant. So it's like, but I don't think Steph ever believed that. Do I think Kevin Durant was the best player on the team? Yeah, Kevin Durant was the best player. Did he defer? Did Steph defer to Kevin Durant? Of course, but did Kevin Durant ask Steph? Like he needed Steph's approval for the team? Absolutely. Draymond Green talked about it when they was in the Hampton. Kevin Durant wanted Steph's approval to get on the team. Kevin Durant wanted Steph's approval. Draymond Green said it. If Steph said no, that's how it's gonna be. Kevin Durant wasn't gonna join this team. So I think that's just to say, did Steph defer to Kevin Durant? Of course, Kevin Durant, is he the best ISO scorer maybe in NBA history?
Yeah,
of course. Is he more unguardable than Steph? a topic for another day. I don't know. They're both pretty unguardable
Defensively,
from the way I look at
was
it.
at his peak there
Defensively,
as well.
it's easy to be at your peak when you don't have to do much on
No,
offense.
I
No
alluded
cap.
that too.
No cap because it's evident in
It's
Brooklyn.
really easy to be at
Yeah.
your peak. But in terms of the Kevin Durant versus Steph Curry thing, we just see who's really a leader and who's not, in my opinion. I think we see when these two guys are on separate teams, Steph Curry is the engine that runs his team. Steph Curry is the guy that wills his teammates. He may not be the loudest guy like Draymond. He may not be the guy who talks on the court like PJ Tucker, but he's that guy in the locker room that wills his team and he lifts his teammates up. Kevin Durant is just not that type of guy. He's a guy that's going to go out there. He's going to get his 40. You know he's going to give you 120% every night. But I don't think he's that type of guy that's going to will his teammates like Steph does. Steph does it in a soft, methodical way.
Has he been willing his teammates this finals, in your opinion?
Yes.
Really? Even though they've been struggling?
I think 1,000% he's been willing his teammates. Even though they've been struggling, I think he's put that confidence in Jordan Poole. He's put that confidence in Klay coming off for 2 years. He's put that confidence in Andrew Wiggins.
Most of
So I think even Looney, he's put that confidence in him. So I think like people can say all they want, was he the best player on the championship teams? Yeah, they allowed him to be that. They wanted him to be that. But when you separate the two and you put them on their respective teams, Steph Curry has cleared Kevin Durant in the past. At their peak, Steph Curry has made the finals. He's won the finals. He's been a unanimous MVP. He's been a back-to-back MVP. Now he's back in the finals. I don't think Kevin Durant, respectfully, he played amazing against the Bucks. He has not done anything since that whole stint with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's back in the finals. So I don't think, in terms of together.
He did go to the finals before linking up with Steph, though.
Yeah, he did. 2012. Lost in 5.
Yeah.
Steph Curry did back-to-back. It's like, I respect Kevin Durant as a basketball player. I think he's one of the 15 greatest players in NBA history. But we really have to sit here and make it understand, like, peak for peak, when they're both on their separate teams, I think there's a certain level that Kevin Durant is at. But I think Steph is a little bit above that.
So Steph's peak's higher than Kevin Durant's?
Yes.
Ooh.
I think so. Just a little bit, though.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
insane. Like,
All
it ain't like.
Would you
I don't overly disagree.
I think it's.
Would you be
It's a
looking
fair
at Kevin
statement.
Durant in a different light? Let's just say, had he won the championship last year?
No doubt. Of course.
Why would that matter, though?
No,
because I'm saying that
He wasn't close.
No, but now that I'm saying,
He's saying
now
not-
he's
no,
got a
it
chip
was.
without Steph Curry.
It was close.
Now that he has a
Last
chip,
year, Kevin Durant wasn't close.
No, I mean,
Wasn't
he
it?
was like a centimeter
No,
away
I'm saying-
from
I'm
going
not-
to the next round.
They beat the Bucks. They beat the Hawks, bro.
Correct.
No, but he didn't beat the Bucks.
No, I don't disagree. But you understand why?
no,
he was
we're
a centimeter
saying,
away
I
from.
said, let's say
we're
he
throwing
had,
a hypothetical.
Yeah, just
That's
a
it.
hypo. Just
That's
I just
it.
want. It's obviously
Come
not
on,
a
don't be
fact,
a
but I
bastard.
just I
No,
just want to
I
hear.
was confused.
I'm
that's
living in
why.
the
No,
hypothetical.
hypothetically, obviously it's not what happened, and it's never gonna happen. But let's just say he won that championship last year. Would you be looking at this conversation differently? Would you give Kevin Durant the nod if he had won last year without Steph?
Even if he didn't win and Steph didn't make it, I would look at this conversation different. The fact that Steph has got back to the finals, of course I'm going to look at this conversation differently because he's already shown I don't want to say he didn't need Kevin Durant. He obviously need him at that
They
moment.
did win a chip without him.
And everybody,
LeBron
I hate when
was
people
hurt.
do this. Everybody wanted Kevin Durant that summer. It was just the Warriors was able to get him. Everybody was trying to get him. Boston, Cleveland was trying to make some room to go get Kevin Durant. Like everybody was trying to get Kevin Durant that summer. It's just that the Warriors got him, and it was easy for them to get him. But the fact that he got back to the finals, I think that's something that shows that Steph Curry, they didn't really need him to be a championship
They
team.
were already a championship team.
Yeah, so
without
it's
him.
like I don't like people like CJ McCollum saying that
He didn't lie.
he lied in the sense of you can't tell him, you can't go up to a media and say what another man thinks.
Yeah.
That's
He's just being too forward. For
you
your
can
liking.
you can say I think Kevin Durant is the best player. Okay, that's fair, CJ. You can say that. But you also have to understand that you are also the guy that's never beat Steph Curry with or without Kevin Durant. So it's like you saying that. Maybe right message, wrong messenger.
But
I want to say
he's never beaten KD either, for that matter.
yeah, but he's never beaten Steph before even teamed up with KD. Like it's never been
I
a
know what you
race.
mean.
Like actually, remember when Kevin Durant got hurt and they swept them?
Yeah.
Like they like this. You acting like you.
Curry
you-
averaged 36 that
He's
season.
never
He was
really. He's
bonkers.
never really played Kevin Durant like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's played Steph a lot.
I just mean in a sense, like I didn't think that it was a personal dig at
Nah,
Steph
it wasn't.
Curry.
It wasn't personal. It was just weird.
Yeah, fair.
It was just weird.
I
But
feel like he was just being very strong with his wording.
Why do you think it was weird?
just like I think it would be weird if I come out and say like, oh, JC is a better basketball player than Joel. Joel knows it. Joel's teammate Drew knows it. Like that's what. How do I know what you think?
Yeah.
Well, you said that you feel like Steph didn't think it because when you're at the peak, you think you're the best.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that statement.
But at
That's
the
fair.
same time, is Steph not him deferring in the fourth quarters and giving it to KD also signals that, yeah, he's the guy who does this.
Wait, so Giannis defers to Middleton. Does he believe Middleton's the
different
guy?
situation?
It's not.
Because
really not. It's
Middleton
not.
is nowhere near Giannis.
No, but that's my point.
Kevin
though.
Durant and
That's
Steph Curry were
you're literally
you know?
proving my point. That doesn't
How?
just because you defer.
Wait, but how
to
does
a
that tie in if Middleton's nowhere near him?
I'll say it really quick. So are you just automatically giving up the fact that come down the stretch, Curry's not on KD's level?
in the fourth?
Yes.
I don't think Kevin Durant and Curry are on the same. I think Kevin Durant's a better clutch
Correct.
player.
I agree.
I think he's a better
I
clutch
agree.
player, but I don't think Steph is going out there. Yeah, I got Kevin Durant. That means I'm just going to completely defer to him. No, Steph Curry has hit big shots.
And he still
just
averaged
like
a lot of points.
Kevin Durant, Steph
Yeah,
Curry
but in the
has had-
finals, he definitely deferred those 2 years.
He
1,000%.
He didn't really. I don't.
And
think
I
he
get if it was a
deferred,
one
bro.
game sample size, but it was 2 games back to back where he
What's
just
2 games?
the game
2017.
the year before and the game
2017, he deferred.
2017, he averaged a damn near triple double.
But
He just had one bad game.
I'm not saying he had a bad
In
game.
2018,
That
he
was
had
a
one bad game.
No, yeah,
I'm
that's what
not saying he had a bad
But that
game, but he
Kevin
deferred
Durant
to
took him
KD
home.
because KD was wilding.
And
he had 45
that's-
that game.
Steph Curry, okay, so this is my thing. We call it deferring, but Steph Curry defers to Klay Thompson too when he's hot. When he gets it going, Steph defers to Klay.
When he's hot.
Steph has deferred to Jordan Poole. That doesn't necessarily. He's just that type
He's
of
a
player.
selfless guy.
He's a selfless
But
guy.
you
He's
can
a
defer to
selfless
Kevin
guy.
Durant at any time. You don't have to wait for him to get hot.
But that's what
I'm saying.
Steph defers when he's like, okay, Kevin Durant.
When it's
gotta
money
go.
time, Steph is deferring to Jordan Poole.
Hell no.
No, but Klay when he's hot, Steph is
Game
deferring
7
to
in
Klay.
2016, did Steph Curry defer on that last possession where Kevin Love strapped him? Did he defer on that last possession?
2016.
2016. That's what I said. 2016.
Klay didn't have it going. Steph got to
That's
get it
what
going.
I'm saying. That's my whole point. When Clay's hot, he defers. But when he's not hot, Steph Curry's taking that last shot.
Against OKC, when Klay was
Game
hot,
6
Steph was deferring.
in Game 6?
Yeah,
Oh,
against
Steph
OKC,
did have
Steph-
32 that game. I'm saying.
Klay was deferring. though. Steph was deferring.
He was.
Like,
That
this
game.
whole notion that
No, that's one game singular,
Just because
yeah.
you defer, that means I'm deferring because you're a better player. No, maybe he's just got the.
But
hot
you
hand.
do,
That's weird, though.
but then it's weird because you do think Kevin Durant's a better clutch player. So
Doesn't that just because you're a better clutch? I think Kyrie's a better clutch player than Steph too.
really?
Off of
It's
one
pretty-
moment.
Nah,
No,
no.
because he tells me all the time. Y'all live on that. What has Kyrie done as clutch outside of that moment?
No. Kyrie, I think is a better. Kyrie statistically, I think is a better clutch player.
And
than Steph
listen,
Curry.
outside of let's look at this final specifically.
I think Curry's more clutch than Kyrie.
I don't think.
You
so,
think
but I
Dame
it's
is
a
more
debate.
clutch than Curry?
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Outside of Game 4, we hadn't seen Steph Curry hit a shot in a fourth quarter. Outside of this last game, this was the first game we saw Steph Curry hit a shot in the fourth quarter. That's facts.
That's not facts.
No, it is.
No, it is not.
Wait, time
That's
out.
not
No
facts
way
at all.
that could be
Yes.
facts.
No, that's not
absolutely
facts.
not,
Dude,
bro.
I'm telling you.
He was literally in game 1. He hit a couple layups going back.
Oh,
and
I
forth.
apologize. I meant I apologize. You're
Yeah, you
100%
said
right.
it
In the
wrong.
last
You said it
five, 4 minutes of the game, he has no buckets.
I was about to say.
It was the first time in Game 4. I apologize. You're 100% right.
You're good.
Sorry.
I understood what you. were saying.
Thank you.
I understood what you were saying.
But in Western Conference Finals in 2018, KD led the team in scoring 3 times. Curry just did it once versus the Rockets. I'm talking about like in terms of all scores. And then in the second round in 2019, when they faced the Rockets again, KD averaged 33 points per game on 46-44 splits. Steph averaged 23 points per game on 40-28 splits.
KD was better.
Way better.
Significantly.
KD,
Way better.
KD was better when they played the Rockets. KD was definitely better. When they played the Spurs, though, I think Steph was better.
So the only issue you have with this statement is that he's saying that Steph knew. That's the only issue.
It's not an issue. I just think that's weird. Like, in terms of the Kevin Durant, like, people are going to make this a story probably for the rest of their careers, Steph versus Kevin Durant. Oh, but I just, like, it's, like, people, like, they're close in the sense of all-time ranking. They're going to go back and forth for the rest of their career. But one thing we all need to understand is Steph is back in the finals without Kevin Durant.
That's true.
Kevin Durant just got swept by the same team Steph got 2 wins on.
That's true.
Is Clay the X Factor?
Who?
Clay?
Nah, Steph's the X Factor.
Right. Fake.
How? He
I
plays
mean,
bad in
but
almost
I'm
every
not saying
final.
you're wrong, but I'm just saying
what
Clay's
I
come
will
back
be
and
willing,
now they're in the finals.
But I think everyone should be willing to concede in this. If Steph Curry wins this championship and wins a Finals MVP this year, I think you have to put it to bed. Like I think it's
Put what
over.
to
That he needed Kevin Durant and all this other
I
no.
think it's already to bed. He's in a finals.
No, but I'm saying if he wins this, it's completely over. Like there's just nothing you can say anymore.
I mean, why don't nobody say KD needs Steph and KD has yet to make
They
it?
definitely say
I
that.
don't think anybody ever.
They
I've never heard
definitely-
anybody. say
That's the whole story around
What?
my team. Kyrie needs
I-
Braun, KD needs
No,
Steph. That's
No,
the whole
I've heard,
story.
I've heard the jokes, but what I'm saying, like when
You
people
started that trend.
no, but listen, I've heard the jokes, but I've never heard like they go up on media and they be like, oh, Kevin Durant was the best player.
Keep it a stack. Have you ever heard me say that? More than once, at least.
When I say like heard, I'm not talking
mainstream
about
media.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
the lame stuff.
And I think that because Kevin Durant has just got swept, he hasn't made even the Eastern Conference Finals.
But that's because KD made the finals 3 years prior to Steph Curry making the finals in 2012.
So,
and he was one of the best players in the world at the time.
He averaged 30.
So it's not like KD showed that he can get to the finals as the main guy.
No,
he doesn't need another guy.
He's done it already.
I don't.
He showed that he could get there. That's why people don't say that KD needs Steph.
But that's weird though, because you say that, but yet people still say it with Steph when he actually won a ring and went back.
Well, there's a difference because
there is no difference.
Yes, the difference is that
how is there?
The difference is that people say Steph and the Warriors needed KD to be overwhelming favorites to win those championships, and that's a fact.
No, KD definitely made them overwhelming
If
favorites.
KD had not gone to Golden State, they probably don't win another championship in that span.
Wait, but how? But I don't understand what you're saying.
No, he's saying that the addition of Kevin Durant to a 73-win team that was one game short against the Cavaliers, they lost in Game 7. Adding Kevin Durant to that put them. Everybody knew that they were going to win a chip the next 2 years. Like it was a stamp.
I don't get the difference. Kevin Durant got to the finals. Steph showed he can get to the finals. He did it twice. So what's the difference between KD has shown it, but Steph has shown it twice?
No, but KD has gone to the finals before that. So.
But I'm saying Steph did it twice. So I don't
KD
get the difference.
did it once, and
I don't get the difference. I think y'all just making it because I really don't understand the difference. If Kevin Durant did it, he did it in 2012. Everybody respects it. They lost.
I honestly forgot
OKC
about
was the
that.
favorite too, if I'm not mistaken.
They were,
but OKC was the favorite. They lost in 5.
Yeah.
Steph went in 2015 and 2016. He went back to back. So and on top of that, he beat Kevin Durant. This is not like he actually beat the same dude that just went back.
I'm not disagreeing.
No, I'm not disagreeing either.
I don't get the logic of it.
Also,
not saying y'all made the logic of it.
Golden State's team was just better than everyone else's, outside of clearly the Cavaliers.
Well, 2015 they came out of nowhere.
Agreed.
So 2016
they were dominant.
Fair.
They were dominant. They're the best regular season team of all time.
That's understandable. But that's why it's like people throw up this hypothetical, right? Oh, if they don't get Kevin Durant, they might never win a championship again, right? Okay, that's fair. But I think we can all agree they're probably going to go back, right? Next year, they might go back
to back now
to the finals.
They're back now.
Golden State?
Yeah, the same year.
It doesn't matter. They're back now.
They're back now.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's just weird how this media puts up this whole thing for Steph Curry, like, oh, they make up all these things. Like, I don't understand it.
I don't know. I think Kevin Durant deals with more scrutiny than
Steph Curry barely gets scrutinized.
By far,
bro.
he never gets scrutinized. Actually,
he's been getting scrutinized.
Nah, not to love Kevin.
The Finals MVP thing it's been pretty loud.
Is that it?
That is
That's
it.
Okay.
That is it.
I feel like Kevin Durant's whole career has been scrutinized.
Well, Kevin Durant going to State, he did that to himself.
No, obviously.
He put that on.
Well,
listen,
without him doing that, Curry doesn't have 2 more championships.
I don't feel
Without him doing that, KD doesn't have one.
I don't
see
know.
how you tried to. You see.
No,
you
I
see,
know that.
You see the back end. You see the
KD was free to go to whatever team he wanted in free agency. He
This
didn't have
be such a different
overwhelming
conversation if they had one last
How
year,
is
bro.
it so
but
easy for you to say
that's so stupid, bro.
if Kevin Durant doesn't go there, Steph doesn't win, but it's Kevin Durant's still gonna win a ring if he doesn't go to Golden State, he'll go somewhere else. Like, how is it that easy for you to say that? I don't understand that.
We'll say he gives any team a chance he goes to a chance to win the championship.
He does, but Steph Curry gives them a chance to go to and win a finals too.
Like
So
at that time, the rumors at that time was him going to team up with John Wall and Bradley Beal in Washington.
Is that winning a championship?
That's not beating LeBron.
Bradley Beal, John Wall, and KD.
That's
That can be LeBron. Yes, it can be LeBron.
I don't think so personally.
It can be.
It'd be a
LeBron.
great series.
It would be a really good series.
It would be an OD series. I don't know if they'll be in. Nah, no, I don't know. The 2018 team, I think they can beat them though.
Okay.
That's it, but that's because LeBron's team was
was
bad.
ass.
Yeah,
John Wall, Kyrie at that time were neck and neck at that time.
To be honest, they
At
were.
that time,
At that
To be
time,
honest,
they were.
neck
They
and
were.
neck.
That's
At
when
that
John
time?
Wall was at his peak, bro.
That's when he was 20 and 10 with
10
all
great-
NBA defense.
Yeah,
It's
he
not,
was elite.
listen, not
I
that
never-
this is facts by any means.
So that team could beat LeBron, but Steph can't.
What do you mean? Steph lost to LeBron.
No, because he said what he's saying is if Kevin Durant would have went to Washington, they have a chance to beat LeBron. But Steph Curry wasn't going to win another. Not true.
oh.
I'm saying he's saying Steph Curry wasn't going to win another final. So what you're saying is that
The
Washington
Wizards were
Wizards
getting worse though because Harrison Barnes had just signed with the Mavericks.
yeah, because
they were
Kevin
losing,
Durant.
but they lost-
because
they lost
Kevin-
Harrison Barnes because Kevin Durant
So
came.
essentially, they weren't going to lose Harrison Barnes.
I mean,
so
that's
you're
a team
saying
that won
if
73 games,
If
though.
if Kevin Durant and the Wizards could beat LeBron, Steph Curry definitely couldn't be able to beat LeBron.
I mean,
think
he was
that's
up
unfair to
3-1.
say.
I'm not saying he couldn't beat him, but
That's
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
But I know I never said that. I never said that once. No, I did not. I didn't say it once. What I'm saying is that Kevin Durant at that time when he was choosing his team free agency, the reason why people were so mad about it was because he made the league unfair. He could have went to any other team and made them a viable contender, though.
I agree, but I mean, he goes to Washington. He has to see LeBron. We don't know how that'd go. You know, we can play the hypothetical.
It'd be good.
Game.
He goes to San Antonio with that team.
That's an unfair team. Again.
Oh my God, that'd be Kawhi and Kevin Durant.
Puts him in a bad light.
I still don't think he would have got as scrutinized as bad as going to San Antonio.
Beat him. But if he goes to the East, who's beating the Warriors? They're going back to the finals. Steph's career still goes up, regardless.
Yeah, because honestly, the Rockets weren't competing with them. They were the closest one. They
didn't
went to
compete
7
until
to 6.
next year when they got Chris Paul. So that year, 2017,
2016,
they would have beat those Warriors teams without KD though.
2016, how did they do?
So. Come on, bro.
No, with Chris Paul or without Chris Paul? I'm talking about 2017.
That 2018.
Oh yeah, that would have been that would have been. They could have probably
lost.
Who?
The Warriors would have lost.
They could have.
I think there's a world where Warriors could win 2 straight.
There's always a world with. This is why I get so.
It would have been
upset.
fun to see it though.
All these
Imagine they would have beat them that year, bro.
Steph losing, and every hypothetical, it's Steph's losing. Every hypothetical.
But nobody scrutinizes Steph like that though. That's a fact.
Nah, but
he's the most pampered superstar of our era.
No, he's not.
Who's more pampered than him?
No, he's not.
Who's more pampered than him?
Superstar?
He's not. I don't think he's pampered.
No, he
Okay.
is.
I don't think he's pampered.
Okay,
I don't
pampered's
think
the wrong word.
I don't think he's as scrutinized as everybody else, but I don't think he's pampered.
Nah, bro, he gets a binky in a bottle.
How?
What do you mean?
Yo, I'm not
how?
gonna lie. Look, I know, like for what it's worth, nobody really cares about what he says if you really know about the game of basketball. But Stephen A. Smith literally said the other day, he's a main advocate at killing players. He literally said the other day, like, he's like, why don't you scrutinize Steph? He's like, I can't because I like Steph Curry too much. Like, I'm not going to scrutinize because I like him too much. That's literally words that came out of his mouth. So
we're using Stephen A.
No, I'm just saying that's the
face
of the narratives.
Face in media right now, sports media.
He's also the one that's been getting cooked for the past 3 months.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
I literally just said that if you watch basketball, you don't take what he says serious.
Bro, we get cooked all the time in comments.
He's been getting cooked for like 5 years by Nick Wright.
Yeah,
bro,
because
we
he's
get
at
told.
the top.
Bro, every single week we get told that we need to be replaced on the show.
Nick Wright's killing Kevin Durant right now.
No, but he's been
Nick Wright be tweeting about Kevin Durant all the time. Don't be doing anything.
You're thinking I'm saying this is a back and forth between Kevin and Steph on screwing. No,
Shannon Sharp kills Kevin Durant all the time.
Skip Bayless kills Steph too. You do know that, right?
No, Skip is the only one that keeps it honest about, keeps it 100.
Skip kills LeBron, bro.
He kills LeBron,
kills Steph.
but he kills Steph.
Skip goes overboard sometimes with Steph, but a lot of stuff he be keeping it 100.
I ain't gonna lie. He actually predicted Steph's career. Like he predicted Steph to be a great player.
So why is it? So it's 100 now. You see what you're
it
doing.
Is 100.
You see what you're doing.
Some of the things Skip says is facts.
I don't know about that.
When it comes to the fourth quarter,
just like
when I need facts, I'm gonna go to Skip
Steph
Bayless.
Curry. We don't. The mainstream media
Absolutely.
But even you know what's crazy? Even when y'all don't coddle Steph, there's really nothing crazy you guys say because there's really nothing crazy that you can really say.
All you can say is down the stretch, he's not it.
Or the finals MVPs.
That's
huge.
my point. That's my point. You see how you guys want him to be scrutinized, but then you've admitted there's not much to scrutinize.
That's not
We
true.
just said
care if he's
scrutinized
scrutinized or not.
No, but I'm saying like even when we come
I don't want to
here,
scrutinize everyone.
no,
I'm
but
just
even
saying
when
I
we
can
come up
acknowledge
here
when
and
someone isn't.
it's a topic about we got to diss Steph, not diss, but like
No.
Steph played bad. We got to scrutinize him, not scrutinize, but you know what I'm saying. Like we got to criticize him. They don't go cook him because it's really like not much to really say about it. Honestly, it's really not. Kevin Durant going to go to stay at the team. That's something you really we gotta dig in deep on that. Like there's stuff Kyrie, there's stuff that other players just do that you really gotta dig in on.
Did Steph get cooked when they missed the playoffs last year?
Steph got not cooked, but he got violated.
No,
bro, he was
did
top 3 in
not.
MVP voting.
Yes, he
You
was.
said he deserved it.
Nah, he.
I'm not. Bro, hold up.
He led the league in scoring,
hold on.
right? 32 points per game.
What he's about to say is facts.
Oh my God.
What he's about to say is facts.
Let's see, bro.
My criteria is different from other people's criteria. Let me finish. Curry finished at the top of MVP voting for me, top 3 for sure. But that was Steph Curry finishing as a top 3 MVP candidate, despite being a play-in in the play-in, is the first time that's happened in a very long time in the NBA landscape. Nobody finishes in the top 3 and is a play-in team or outside the top 8.
Well, first of all, because I understand your mind is messed up. That was the first time the play-in happened.
But they were still the 8th seed.
No, they
No,
weren't.
it happened in the bubble. It happened in the bubble.
No, but listen, this is what I'm about to say.
They finished as the 8th seed.
No, yeah, because the reason why who's the last player that finished as an 8th seed and was a top 3 MVP No, see,
candidate?
this is what you're missing.
Russ?
Russ was
Or
the
was he
same.
six?
No,
Six.
Russ was the same seed
Six
as
seed.
Steph. The difference is that was the first time the play-in happened. Steph was a 6th seed. Pardon me. Steph was a 7th seed. Westbrook was a 6th seed. They had this around the same record. The difference is Steph got that was the
And
first time
Russ
the
averaged
play-in.
triple-double.
Yeah,
Something that hadn't been done in a while.
Steph that was the first time the play-in happened. That's why you can say this is the first time. Yeah,
But he finished as
but
the
he
eighth
still
seed,
was
though.
getting cooked in the media. He didn't win the play-in.
No,
he just
he
lost to the
finished-
Grizzlies.
he
That was
finished-
a lot in the media though.
He finished as the 8th seed, lost to the Lakers, and lost to Memphis.
No, I agree, but people were still. He just lost to the Grizzlies. He lost to the Lakers. He just choked. Like people were saying that a lot. So I don't know what you're
But
saying.
he finished top 3 in MVP.
But you can't say that because you had him in your top 3.
No, I can say that
No,
because
you had him.
this
in there.
whole thing.
So you truly
no,
believed he
no,
should have been in there.
No,
What
because
you mean?
this whole thing is about how Steph Curry doesn't get scrutinized.
But
to the
he
level
did
of
get
other
scrutinized for losing to the Lakers,
athletes.
and he got scrutinized for losing to Memphis.
Well, hold up.
And
This
playing like he
this
played
this
bad.
is about how Steph Curry doesn't get scrutinized as much as other top NBA stars. How many games did Steph Curry play last year? You do you have the number by you?
I got
No, I
it.
don't.
I
It's
got
like
it.
in the
Just
60s.
go. Give your.
Okay. Well, Kevin Durant this year, when the Nets were healthy, had them as the 1st seed.
Right.
He got hurt. I guarantee that he played around the same amount of games as Steph Curry last year. KD still finished with a spectacular season. He is not even in the top 10 in MVP voting, was he not?
Curry played 63 games.
Okay, KD played 56 this past year.
I believe KD was number 9 in MVP race.
KD didn't even finish in the top 5.
Whose season was better?
Curry's.
Curry's season
By
was
far.
better.
Whose team was better?
KD's.
No, statistically,
Well, it
Steph Curry off the floor. Statistically, the Warriors were the
That's
worst
what
team
I'm
in
saying.
50
Nah,
years.
but when
correct.
KD was out, the
Well, when
Nets were
KD
like,
I
agree,
went,
but that's what I'm
went
saying, like,
7 and
When
24
KD was
or
healthy, the
something
Nets were
like
the
that.
1st seed, and KD was one of the
He was-
favorites to
no,
win
he was the
MVP.
number 1 MVP.
So how come he gets hurt, the Nets drop off, he comes back and still plays great, and nobody gives him that credit of he should still be he should still be at the top of the MVP candidacy. Nobody said that. With Steph,
because
he
wasn't
finished in the
having an
top
historic
3.
season. That's literally it. So that's you got to use another argument.
I'm
Steph
not
was
gonna lie.
having an
Before he
historic
went out,
season.
he was averaging 31.
No, but I'm saying he didn't finish
career high in
having,
assists,
like he didn't finish having an
rebounds.
historic.
And Curry,
You're talking about
Curry,
career high.
finished with 32 last season.
Steph was having a historic season.
KD was at 32, believe it or not, or 31 before he went out.
But he
KD
averaged
was
this
having an
over a
historic
whole-
season, but they were also there's one thing to acknowledge it, and another thing for everybody was pushing Steph for MVP last year, bro. It's not like just a me thing. Like everybody in the media was pushing Steph for MVP over guys like Jokic.
But to
everybody
Giannis.
was doing it.
No, I agree. But to say just because he doesn't get, what's the word?
So that
Scrutinized as
example,
Kevin he's not gonna get scrutinized.
he doesn't get as
much
scrutinized as Giannis.
He doesn't, but he still gets scrutinized as a
Ooh,
basketball.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. He's so right.
Giannis?
Giannis
Yes.
was getting cooked those first.
Let's not talk about this season or this
When he
past
got
season.
killed by
Let's
Kawhi.
go 3 seasons
Giannis is
ago.
like the
The
baby face
bubble.
now.
The bubble, he got ripped. Kawhi, he got ripped.
Really?
Yes.
I don't
And I'm not
remember
gonna lie.
getting
Look,
ripped.
they ended up winning, but had he lost to the Brooklyn Nets, he would have got cooked too.
I really don't think
He
he
came
would've got
crazy
cooked
against
too.
the
I'm
gonna be
Nets.
honest,
He
I
came
don't
crazy.
He
against
would've
them.
got cooked too.
Ripped.
He did.
He would have got
I
cooked
really
too.
He did get cooked.
I'm being honest though. I'm telling you, he did.
Bro, they was talking about not making an MVP a regular season award because he lost in a bubble to the
Bro,
Heat.
and think about it. Last season, he had basically the exact same stats that he won MVP with. He wasn't even in the top 3.
Yeah.
They had Curry over
You
him,
didn't
right?
even think he could ever win a
They
chip
had
either.
Curry over him
Curry
despite
wasn't- wait, who was the top 3?
It was
Jokic,
Jokic, him, and
Steph.
Embiid.
Yeah,
Jokic,
Giannis,
Embiid,
Steph.
Steph.
Embiid was in the last year?
Yes.
No, wait, this
Oh, I
past
thought-
season?
No, 2
this
seasons
past-
ago.
two
2
seasons
seasons
ago.
ago.
No, Giannis. It was Jokic,
Giannis and Steph.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Giannis
Jokic,
No,
was in the
no.
top
It was
3.
Jokic, Embiid, and Steph. It wasn't Giannis. Giannis did not.
I'm
finish
almost
in the top 3.
positive.
Check, bro.
What was that
Yeah.
year?
2020. 2021, excuse me. Because 2020, he won it. And there was voter fatigue, even though he had the exact
It
same.
was Jokic, Embiid, Curry.
All
That's
right,
what
sweet.
the top
I
3
thought I
was.
was right. I thought it was right.
Giannis was 4th.
And
Chris
Oh,
Paul
Giannis
was
was right
5th.
there.
But they had voter fatigue because
Damn,
playoffs
How
came
many
around.
games did
He
Embiid
wasn't
play?
it. He low-key didn't get it because he missed 2 weeks.
He played 51.
Oh, that's a
Wasn't
little bit
James
more
Harden
than 2 weeks.
leading the MVP race too before he got hurt too?
He fake was.
How many
He
ga-
was at one of the
How
top.
many games did Giannis play?
Giannis played 61.
Giannis should have dead been over
For
Embiid.
sure.
LOL.
For sure.
All right, anyway.
He had the
That has
exact
nothing to do
same
with
stats
Steph,
as
though.
20.
No, but I'm just saying,
he wasn't
Because
in the
Steph got cooked for 2016 badly.
He deserved to, though.
Yeah, wait. So okay,
He deserved to,
this,
though.
This is my thing though. We get upset about Kevin Durant getting scrutinized, but
Nobody gets upset.
Some of it he deserves it.
Nobody gets upset.
No, if you get scrutinized 9 times out of 10,
Nobody gets
9 times
upset.
out of 10.
Kevin Durant got cooked for this past playoff run.
But
they're still talking about it.
Just because he don't get scrutinized like other players doesn't mean he's pampered.
No, they say he gets less scrutinized.
I say
And I agree, but he doesn't get pampered. He gets cooked
I
a
never
lot.
said
I
pampered.
definitely think he's a special teamer from the media.
He only gets he just doesn't get cooked
He's a
like
media
other
darling.
guys.
He doesn't get cooked because he's more liked than other
Westbrook
guys.
gets way more cooked than him. I mean, deservedly
Rightly
so,
deserved.
but it ties in with like how the media perceives them.
But you can't
If
say
you're
somebody rightly
If
deserves
you're an
to get
asshole
cooked
to the
more than
media,
others and then
but if you're an asshole to the
I don't
media, they're
have
not
to
going to
say
mess
LeBron
with you.
because that's obvious. LeBron gets way more scrutiny.
Giannis and Steph don't get cooked because they're people in the media like them. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, a lot of people in the media don't like them, so that opens the door for more criticism for them.
If you rightly deserve to get blamed more than the other, you can't be upset at that. You can't be. That doesn't make sense. You can't be upset at the other guy. You deserve it.
No, but if you're both superstars and top 5 players, it should be even. But anyways, everybody's situation is different.
That part is true. I do agree with that part.
On to the next topic. Donovan Mitchell, potential destinations for him. Where can he go next? Utah, they fired Quinn Snyder, so now it leaves the door open to maybe Donovan Mitchell getting traded to maybe a big time market, maybe like the New York Knicks. We never know.
Sleeper.
It's always a possibility.
That'd be cool. I'd definitely go
But
tune in.
what do you think? What do you think was the downfall of the Jazz all around? And just name me a couple Donovan Mitchell destinations or your favorite one.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Downfall of the Utah Jazz, they don't have any perimeter defense.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think that's pretty simple.
I have one, that's literally the only thing I wrote for them.
They're pretty much I think they're a little bit too Donovan Mitchell reliant on offense. They don't have a lot of guys. They have Jordan Clarkson.
Bro, I was about to say your boy Jordan Clarkson. You love him,
but he's a 6 man at the end of the day.
But that's your guy.
That is definitely my guy. But he is a 6 man. Tyler Hero.
He's mid.
Agreed. But perimeter defenses, they don't have anything to help Rudy Gobert in the perimeter. Spots for Donovan Mitchell, I like Miami. I really do like Miami. I think that's the spot that can definitely, turn Miami into a championship contender if they don't give up too much. I think that's a place that Eric Spoelstra can get him back to defending. And they need another scorer. I think that's somebody who can definitely come in and give them something to – that's the best place for me personally that I think he can win. The Knicks is a good spot, but I don't think they're in win now mode. I think Miami is in win now mode. You have to save Jimmy Butler's prime. He's getting older, and his game is very reluctant on his athleticism. So I think Donovan Mitchell to Miami seems like the destination if he wants to win.
All right, so Riv mentioned the perimeter defense, and that's 100% a fact. That is their downfall because Rudy Gobert was being put in situations where he had to extend beyond the protecting the rim, and it allowed Dallas and other teams that they've faced in the playoffs previously to have a ridiculous amount of open jump shots because Rudy cannot guard the perimeter. And surrounding Rudy with a bunch of guys that can't guard the perimeter either only led them to giving up a bunch of uncontested three-point shots. The perimeter defense was a huge liability last season and this past season too. A couple of locations that I can see D-Mitch going, 100% the Miami Heat. You mentioned the Knicks. That's fair. Another team that is a sleeper that I feel like hasn't been spoken about enough is Dallas. Now, Dallas defensively is a great fit for Donovan Mitchell because there are pieces that he can fall back on that can protect him defensively, and offensively, they need an upgrade next to Luka. A potential sign-in trade where you see a Jalen Brunson package with a Dinwiddie and some picks for Donovan Mitchell. I feel like that's not too far-fetched. And Dallas gets better. You get a severely better offensive player in Donovan Mitchell, and you can shade him defensively. I feel like that's a great fit.
So you're picking Dallas as your dark horse team?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Miami's top. I feel like Dallas needs to enter that conversation.
I just don't see how they can get Donovan Mitchell.
The only thing that came to my mind is you sign and trade Brunson, you package Dinwiddie in that. I don't know if I want to put Dorian Finney because that's the defensive part of the team for the Mavericks that I'm looking forward to. Correct. And you throw in picks. If I'm Dallas, I understand. Listen, I want to be a contender. I have Luka before he even's entering his prime, and he's already made an All-NBA team 3 seasons in a row. I need to capitalize while I have this team, and I feel like Mitchell definitely adds their chance of being true contenders.
The platform that you guys both laid down sounds really good. I'm a big believer that I think the best fit for Donovan Mitchell is Miami. I mean, if we saw them throughout the playoffs even just this past year, pardon me, They went to Game 7 with a Boston Celtics team, played them really well down to the wire. I think if they had a Donovan Mitchell level scorer who is amazing when it comes to postseason basketball, he is an elite postseason performer. I think that's enough to take him over the top in a series like that and maybe going on in the long run. But where I think it went wrong for Utah, I think obviously the defensive players that you surrounded Rudy Gobert with. But another underrated reason that I think that it didn't work out was I didn't think that the bond between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert was really that good. I mean, I think they've had problems that I've been reading since I think the bubble when Rudy Gobert
when COVID
coughed
broke
all
out
over the mic.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that their friendship and everything fell off through there, and I heard that even up until this point, they're not as close as they used to be. I mean, think about it. They last year when they were the number 1 seed, albeit they lost to the better team in Kawhi Leonard and all them. That was their peak season, and I felt like that was the year that they were supposed to win, but I always felt like there was a rift between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. I mean, Joel laid out a stat a couple of months ago that Donovan Mitchell didn't pass the ball a lot to Rudy Gobert. Their games didn't fit each other. And, I think when you have a mixture of a failure of a number 1 seed season, not getting to the Western Conference Finals, coming back next year with the rift between your two superstars and the perimeter, the lack thereof, the perimeter defenders for the Utah Jazz, I think that was just a recipe for disaster. Now they lost Quinn Snyder. And I just think now it's time to just blow it up. I think this team peaked last season. Obviously, they lost. Donovan Mitchell twisted his ankle. We could sit here and say injuries, this and that, but at the end of the day, they ended up losing. And I think the best situation for Donovan Mitchell would be the Miami Heat. I think he is a player that can put them over the top. And I think had he been present in the Heat series, because we know the type of player performer he is, alongside with Jimmy Butler playing well, Bam Adebayo, I think that's the type of player that gets them over a series like that and gets them in the finals.
The biggest problem is that they don't have any perimeter defenders. They don't have wing players. And I think that they just have a lack of lineup versatility. They play one way and one way only with the traditional big men. You would think that this past offseason they would have tried to acquire players that maybe would fit a small ball approach. But they doubled down on the Rudy Gobert traditional approach. And they went and got Hassan Whiteside, who's basically offers what Rudy Gobert does, but at a smaller scale.
He's a poor man's Rudy Gobert.
Literally.
Extremely poor.
It was Rudy before Rudy, man.
Very true.
Okay.
With Donovan Mitchell, though, I mean, the best destination is the Miami Heat.
No doubt.
Just because that is a team that can compete for a championship. That's a team that needs his scoring output. But a unrealistic, fun destination I have is the Orlando Magic. I think it's a fun destination. I think the Orlando Magic, Donovan Mitchell, of course, they're not like in a win now mode, but what if the Magic, I mean, this is not the greatest draft to have the number 1 pick. It's a lot of question marks. What if the Magic say, we'll give you the number 1 pick, give us Donovan Mitchell. And now you have Suggs, Mitchell, Franz, Wendell Carter, Jonathan Isaac coming back. Like, that's a good, fun, young team.
Jonathan Isaac.
He hasn't played ball.
Well, you're high on Jonathan Isaac. I don't know why you said that.
How high am I?
No, I feel like
he said he's a great defender.
No, I
He
feel
is,
like
though.
Riv's been very adamant in saying, why are we even mentioning Jonathan Isaac's name anymore?
What about you? What have I been saying? I'm just going to let people say what I've been saying and then figure it out from there.
No, I know
You talked about Jonathan Isaac being a breakout candidate when we had the 6-man show on.
Interesting. Breakout candidate for what?
Just be a breakout player.
Like, what you mean? Like all-star?
You talk about he could average like 16, 18 a game.
I don't throw numbers out like that. Caught him. I don't ever throw numbers out like that.
All right, we could go back and rewind the clip.
I'm very confident in you saying, like, why do we even mention Jonathan Isaac anymore?
You talked about him being a breakout.
You called him a
candidate,
lost cause, I think.
Look
Exactly.
At that. Just 3 different answers.
No, I mean, that's exactly.
Yeah.
You called him a lost cause.
That's the same.
This guy. He's trying to catch you.
No, I swear that's what you said.
I don't throw out
Maybe
numbers.
you said that as of recently, but you've definitely been high on Jonathan Isaac.
No, I've said he's a great defender.
But you're high on him as a player too.
Like, what are you doing?
Bro, he's been hurt forever, bro.
You don't want me to get the clip, man.
Get the clip, man.
You also said
time-
Gobert
la-
can lock up Jokic. I
did say
that
that.
either.
And I was wrong.
That was
I did
crazy.
say that. That was early, that was a minute ago.
I know.
That was bubble.
That was the bubble.
Damn, we've been doing this since the bubble. Yeah, that was the bubble.
He was like, I seen Gobert
You
lock up
also said Knicks
Jokic.
3rd seed. Yeah.
I said
Yeah,
that.
we
Oh,
want
right.
to keep doing
Come
that.
on, stop
yeah,
it. Let's
that's
stay
what
on
you wanna bring.
See
topic.
how he
Stay on
so that's
topic.
what you wanna
Stay
bring.
on
I
topic.
said Nets chip.
I'll be
You know what,
honest.
fake? That was off topic. You mentioning Jokic.
Thank you.
Dog.
No,
and
this is
Gobert.
a Utah Jazz.
I understand,
topic.
but we were talking about Jonathan
Donovan
Isaac.
Mitchell.
So we're in the realm of elite
You know what, fake?
defensive players.
He's fair. Fair.
You mentioned my team.
There's a small correlation. Low-key, in this small window of correlation,
I think saying
the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell do correlate.
I think Nick saying third.
No, because then you
me saying Nick's third seed is better than me saying Gobert can lock up.
I think they're both equally garbage.
They're both garbage.
Because I went off. You went off topic and brought up a bad take, so I just brought up a bad take to steer with your topic list.
You also said in that segment that Jokic can't win you a playoff series.
I don't remember saying that part. I can't.
Or it might have been Jokic or Jamal Murray, but either or Jamal Murray did go on and win playoff series for them.
He matched
definitely
Donovan Mitchell.
It was Jamal Murray.
It
was Jamal Murray.
Has Jokic? Yeah, he beat the Blazers. Respect to him.
Respect.
He did.
Cooked them.
That man.
Utah was hurt.
He didn't beat the Blazers. They lost in 7.
No,
the next year they beat him in 6.
I'm talking about last year.
Yeah, he
beat
him in 6.
Talking about the first time in it. To
I
get
didn't
to West
say that,
Conference
though,
Finals.
so don't let him.
Okay.
I didn't say that. I said the Jamal thing.
I went to like.
But you don't like Donovan Mitchell to Orlando?
It's fun.
He said goofy, fun. So it is goofy and fun.
Who's the package? What's the package? You really would give up the top 3 pick?
No, he said the number 1 pick for Don.
Nah, yeah, that's where you lost.
You wouldn't give it up for Donovan Mitchell?
Who would you draft number 1?
For them, Shet.
And question, then you have
You
to
wouldn't
trade
trade
Rudy.
Chet for Don?
You have to trade Rudy.
Yeah, of course.
You like Don way better, bro. You know you're taking
For
Don
Orlando,
over
I
Chet.
don't. Nah, I'm good off that. I thought you were gonna say like something else.
I like.
So
Jabari.
you think Shet has a higher ceiling than Donovan Mitchell?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Whoa.
Ceiling?
If everything pans out, yeah.
I do.
You think he'd be a superstar, right? I mean,
He's the number one
Donovan
pick.
cannot be a superstar.
Since we mentioned Stephen A. Smith, do you remember when Stephen A. Smith said that Donovan Mitchell was
Donovan
already better,
never
the
been a
best
superstar?
Utah?
Donovan's never been a superstar.
Whoa.
even when he elevates in the playoffs at an
He
all-time
plays at
rate,
a superstar
Bro,
level. He's not a superstar.
Last year
though.
he was a superstar.
No, how do you go from being a
Number
superstar
one
to
seed.
not being a superstar?
dude, I don't
I
know.
still
I
think he
think, I
is.
think he's.
Is Donovan Mitchell the top
I think
13 player in the NBA?
I think he's on the border of
He's
it.
top 15 for sure.
I don't think he's a superstar.
If this was another draft, like if this was the Zion draft,
Oh no, you don't do it then.
or
never.
the
LeBron James.
or like the Anthony Davis
I
draft.
just think
or
like
something
LeBron
I don't know.
James
Put
draft.
Donovan Mitchell, Jalen.
But Chet Jabari.
Who
and
you said
Paolo.
first pick, and what else? Because
That's it. Just the first pick for Don.
they don't have 30. They have 30 million cap to just.
They should have.
I like Jabari.
Who's on their team?
Isaac gets paid.
Jabari
Fultz gets
Smith?
paid. Wendell.
He's dumb
When they
nice.
just got paid, but none of them are like on maxes. They're like on like
Bunch of
pretty cheap
16s.
deals for them.
Number 1 pick for
Outside of
Donovan?
Isaac.
Nah, I would just gamble on Shet.
And what about Deandre Ayton? Where do you think he's gonna go?
Charlotte.
So we mentioned this a little bit in my This Week in the NBA last week. I like the Pistons. I like Charlotte.
Good one.
And as a sleeper, Toronto, because they really do need a center.
Oh,
really
they
want him in
definitely do.
Detroit. I really do want
And
him in
you,
Detroit.
I think last week you mentioned the Nets. That's a huge fact also. If the
If
Nets
the
were to
Nets
come
can
into
get
play,
DeAndre Ayton,
that would
oh.
be crazy.
That'd be elite.
Yeah, the trade package I actually have trade packages for each scenario. So if he goes to Toronto, I think it's a sign and trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Raptors trade OG Anunoby and Precious for DeAndre Ayton.
I wouldn't do that.
Why not? They
I
already
like
have
OG.
wings.
They do.
They definitely do. Yeah,
But their
they're
starting
very
lineup
Phoenix
is
do at the
Fred,
5, though?
but it's
Huh?
What does Phoenix do at the
JaVale
5?
McGee
So they bring him
or
back?
Precious and then Precious off the bench.
Precious starting is crazy.
But Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Ayton.
Yeah, bro.
That's
in
a
the
good
West,
team,
you
boy.
can't have Precious starting, man.
He's not going to
And then
start.
for the
They'll-
It's a good
Pistons-
five. It's a good
For
five.
the Pistons, the sign and trade would be Kelly Olynyk. So Phoenix gets Kelly Olynyk and Jeremy Grant.
So then
Something
we're
else got to give.
Kelly Olynyk,
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant, a
Their
first.
defense is going to be OD.
I would just give him Kelly Olynyk and Jeremy Grant. I'm not
the
giving him
Suns.
first for
Uh-huh.
him, to be honest.
It's already good though, but
That one's cool.
And then for the Nets, which is like my super unrealistic one, is KD and Claxton for Ayton, McKell, and
Why
Cam
does everybody
Johnson.
think KD's
We
going
said
to the
this
Suns?
last week. I'm out. If I'm the Nets, there's no way I do it.
Why does everybody think KD going to the Suns?
you're not going to attach
Because they think that
you wouldn't
Kyrie's
a-
gone, and
you
if
wouldn't
Kyrie's gone,
attach a
KD's
pick to
gone.
that?
Why the Suns?
I would
though?
attach a pick to that.
You got to
Because that
attach
gives
at
them the
least
best
two
chance
picks.
to win.
Why? You said
And they're
what?
expecting KD is going to.
Oh no, if Kevin
run
Durant's
for
on the
grind.
Suns. It's real lit for them.
It's lit for the Warriors.
I get my future back.
Worried.
It's lit for the Warriors.
Nobody's
if
worried
KD
about
goes
that
to
bald
Suns.
point guard. He's cooked.
Who's the ball point guard?
Chris Paul.
Oh wow.
CP0, bro.
CP
The
donut.
second he turned 37, he lost his skills.
Yo, MVP Kenny, what happened to him?
He is quiet.
Ooh, that was my midseason pick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's a shit ass pick.
Who was yours? Yours was like
His is DeMar
freaking
DeRozan,
Luke
bro.
Kennard.
Fuck no.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Mine was Giannis.
I think I picked.
Yours was Luke Kennard.
Mine was.
I don't remember. Who I picked. I think I picked the Joker. I don't know. I don't remember. It wasn't freaking Chris.
I know
Paul,
at the
I'll
start
tell
of the
you that.
season, I picked Durant.
Had to be Embiid.
Might have been
You
Embiid.
picked Devin Booker.
No,
I think mine was Durant.
I
but
picked
it
Devin
didn't
Booker
work
over
out.
Tatum. That's what I did.
Stop being biased.
Bold.
You picked Paul George.
Nah, he wasn't playing. You picked Chris Paul though. Like you did.
Joel, what did I tell you about lying on our names on the show? You know people care about what you say, man.
You think so?
People will amply believe you. And
They will
then at
believe
me
you.
about the shit. Like,
It's
yo,
true.
You said this.
It's true, bro. You gotta be mindful of that. Our reputations are on the line, bro.
Our fans are smart. They fact check. So
I hope you're right.
I think that whatever I say is getting fact checked. I hope people go back to that video of him talking about Jokic versus Gobert though.
That would be unfortunate
That's
for
gonna be
Riv.
funny as hell.
It's actually a video of the title of it is called Mike Malone should be fired. That was coming from me. I did that quote. But within that video,
Damn, yo, he's
said
really outing you right now.
What?
He wants people to find out that you said Gobert, Cam.
Nah,
No, I did say
Nah,
that.
nah,
I know,
like yo,
I know.
if we're all doing some insane takes, like insane, this man said Boston wasn't gonna make the playoffs this year. That turned out really bad.
We all have our bad
That
takes.
was
You
terrible.
see how he's not admitting it though? And I
my-
admitted.
I've admitted it like
My
episodes
I think
ago.
mine was. I think I said that Giannis will never win a ring in Milwaukee, and that looks really stupid now.
I'm just gonna stay quiet here. I'm staying
I'm
quiet.
about to
I'm being
close
smart.
you.
I know
so
people
went
are
back to our whole
expecting.
episode. I'm
they're-
like,
I'm
Giannis
being
is never
smart.
winning a ring in
Smart.
Milwaukee.
People know my bad
I've
takes.
talked
That's
about.
it.
I've said
Lakers.
it a bunch of times on the show about Boston. How I was wrong about Boston.
Yeah.
At least you admit it, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still, yeah.
As long as you own up.
Yeah.
Riv, you had a chance, man. You had a chance to be the Boston guy.
I'm about to win.
Are you?
Yeah.
I know you're nervous.
I'm never
Still
I
nervous.
too,
know
bro.
you're nervous.
Never nervous.
Think about it like this, and this is how we'll end the show. It's 2-2 with Steph Curry playing some of the best basketball of his career, and Jayson Tatum's playing some of the worst of his career. And the series is 2-2.
Shit doesn't move me.
Really?
I'll be honest
Doesn't
with you.
move you?
Yo, that didn't move me.
It's
one bit.
2-2, and the best player on your team.
No, the best player in the court.
Is
Be
playing-
respectful. The best player in the finals. Pay
Right,
homage.
fine.
Tatum's
'Cause,
better.
Yo, I remember when you looked me in my face. You was sitting like that, and you was like, outside of Giannis, I'm taking Tatum over everybody in the league. And I just
Going
was like-
forward, yeah.
And I was just like, yo, that was the stupidest thing I've ever
Is
heard
that?
in my life.
I mean, he's 24
'Cause now
years
I'm
old.
watching this series.
24 years
I'm
old.
watching this series.
He leads
And
the
it's
playoffs in
over-
points
you're
and
taking it
assists.
over
I'm watching-
Embiid?
Yeah.
Forget Embiid. I'm
Years
watching
down
this.
the line.
Yeah.
Jokic?
Yeah. No. Oh, that's
No,
that's
no,
the
you
debate.
said- no,
I
you
know.
said-
I know.
yeah.
I know.
No,
I know.
don't double down.
Because he's two-way. You can't.
Mr. Two-Way.
I love that.
Yeah.
Over Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
in
that's
that.
that's gonna be the
Over
conversation.
Trae Young?
That's gonna be actually a great rivalry.
He's not
one
even
day.
better than a few O heads
It's
right
not a
now.
rivalry.
No, I'm saying it's going to
Steph
Better
be.
and
than
KD.
LeBron?
Oh,
No, not that.
Could Jayson Tatum not
I would
better?
love to see that finals. That finals would be lit.
yeah,
still-
Luka
he's
would
still got-
cook.
He could. He could.
Luka would cook.
He could.
Who?
Cool.
I'm saying that
Tatum.
I think that that's gonna be a great rivalry. Tatum and Luca.
Oh,
They'll
Luka's
meet in
gonna,
the finals.
That ain't a rivalry.
Tatum's strapping that.
Luka's gonna cook him.
Tatum's strapping that.
To be honest with you.
He's
And
strapped
who's,
Kevin
who's
Durant.
holding Tatum?
Himself, it looks like. It's fucking
Come on.
trash.
Chill, Dorian
he
Finney-Smith.
leads the playoffs in points
Dorian
and
Finney-Smith
assists.
gonna hold
So
him
did
down.
Paul George, bro.
And Paul George was really good last season.
Yeah, that's his guy. They're the same guy.
Of course. And he
Tatum's highs are like PG highs, and his lows are like PG.
No,
lows.
his-
You stole that tweet.
I did steal it, and it was really great.
Do you know the name? Acknowledge it.
I fucking forgot. I'm gonna send it
All
to
right.
you later.
You said his highs?
Yeah, his lows are like really
Nah,
like
his highs are
Ugh.
OD.
his old stink.
His highs are crazy, bro.
Yeah.
How many 50? He has like 4 50 balls in a 60-point game. Like his highs are insane, bro.
You know, we can say what we want to say, but Jayson Tatum probably has the most defining game this playoffs.
Over Jimmy?
Game 6 in Milwaukee. Fair?
Jimmy had one in the ECF.
Fair.
I gotta put the
Fair.
ECF thing ahead.
Okay.
No.
Fair.
And Steph's last game was better.
And Luka game 7 versus the Suns.
That one.
I don't know.
They smoked them
'cause
off
they
the
were-
court, though. It was bad.
I don't
You know
know.
what? Those are like on par.
But you understand, when, like, that Tatum in Milwaukee where Giannis is going
But
crazy,
Jimmy
too.
in the Garden.
No, he was
Games-
nuts.
yeah,
No, you're right.
games-
You're right.
Nah,
You're right.
yeah,
Jimmy-
Jimmy,
Jimmy was going
TD
crazy.
Garden was
He
crazy.
was going crazy.
And then Steph, I'm sorry, I gotta put the Steph
He always
over,
playing
bro.
Steph.
Stop, you're the only team that got swept. You're the
Oh my
only
God,
team that got swept.
Next season needs to pull up quick, bro. I'm sick
You're
of
the
it.
only team that got
I'm
swept.
not going to lie, bro. It took all episode for that to come out.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
man.
It's all right.
Should've
You'll
stayed
take it.
quiet.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it,
You
man.
you
We got
waited to
swept.
the end. You're literally the only
Hey,
team
but you know
that got
what?
swept.
We got swept, but I think we had the lowest point differential.
Yeah, you did. You
We
did.
lost by like only 17 points
got
the whole
swept.
series.
You didn't win a
We
game.
got swept though.
The Pelicans won a game.
all right, brother.
The Jazz
So
won a
good,
game.
man.
The Bulls won a game.
The Pelicans
You did
won
not win a
multiple
game.
games.
You know what they say though?
DeMar had a
Sometimes great
masterclass.
things take some time, man. We were saying break
I don't
up
think
Tatum
that's
and
the quote, but I
no.
get
We
what
were
you're
saying
saying.
break up Tatum and Brown.
Not I.
We were saying LeBron and AD, but wouldn't win.
What?
Remember that trade you had? The Deandre.
Why are we calling out bad takes now? Let's not do that. Let's
Yeah,
just
you
end
act
the
like
show.
you wasn't
I
the
know.
one on board to split them up too.
No, but that trade was just bad. Like I was on
Fox?
board, but that trade was terrible.
You just don't like
Hindsight,
De'Aaron Fox.
No, that was a bad trade. In hindsight,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Year
shitty
3,
trade.
man. Third
Year
time's
three
a
what?
charm.
You guys are freaking shambles.
This is
bro.
our last chance. I'm ready though, man.
It'd be
Lose.
alright, you know what I'm saying?
Pack them all
So
up.
wait,
Give
is
me my
Boston
picks
your
back.
team now?
No,
What do
he's
you
a
mean?
Lakers fan, bro.
Just good things never happen to the Nets.
Ever,
No.
bro. Ever, bro.
What do you mean is Boston my
No, I'm
team?
just-
And we're
is
not
that
even
your
like
East
an
team? I'm
asshole
asking.
franchise.
No.
We
No.
barely have
Oh,
any
okay.
fans, bro.
I don't have an East team.
That's why I was just generally
Like,
asking,
what the
a
hell,
Boston
bro?
fan.
No.
'Cause
Yo,
we all have a
we
East
can't
team
ever
over here.
have nice
He's a
things,
Nets
bro.
Fan, Knicks fan, Bulls fan. You got to join the party. Just be a Boston fan,
Bro,
Make it a little bit funner.
Aside from that not happening, I would be as already scrutinized as I get for rooting, quote unquote, rooting for the Celtics.
Because you're not really a Lakers fan. You're just a LeBron guy.
Nah, he's chatty. You know what I don't believe? If LeBron were to sign a contract with the Kings and retire, there's no way you're being a Kings
I
fan.
believe him. I believe
There's
him.
no way,
1,000%.
Drew, you're being a Kings fan, bro.
I really do
no way,
believe
bro.
he's going to
The Kings are so ass, bro. They have no future.
I'm actually praying to the good Lord that he goes and signs a 1 day with the Cavaliers. I would love to be a
You
Cavaliers
just want to
fan.
ruin the good
For
young
Colin
guys.
Sexton. That's going to be your boy?
Darius Garland, Evan Mobley,
Jared
Jared
Allen.
Allen. They have a roster.
I love Darius Garland, man.
That's going to do it for episode 187 of the Pick Aside Podcast.
He better
You
than
can
Kyrie.
follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast, on Twitter
Hit the applause.
at Pick Aside Pod. And shout out to JC for pulling up
miss?
on the episode. No, I didn't. I didn't miss.
Oh, I thought you was like.
I never miss.
Don't do that.
Get out of here. I never miss. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.